All right, chat. One more time. Fuck. Thank you, Husky. So, boys, thank God. All right, chat. One more time. Now I can hear myself. Fuck. Thank you, Husky. All right, so here's what we got going on. This is the Admiral Gibbs channel. Welcome in, guys, here on Twitch and YouTube. We're doing some special stuff. I know we're already doing pretty good on Twitch, so I'm gonna have some big announcements. One more time, going through what is happening now. Fuck, thank you, Husky. Thank God. All right, chat. One more time. Now I can hear myself. Oh, good. There it is. That's going through. All right, let's try third time, fourth time's charm. All right, so once again, the Admiral Gibbs channel. Here we go. We are having a comedy of errors here on this channel right now. But we're going to have a lot of big things coming up. Check it out. So today we're doing some new content, prime time debates. We're going to go panel hop a little bit. We're going to go, first we're going to go into Prime Cave's panel as an invited guest for the Reverie. Then we're going to maybe do some panel hopping after that. Or some other variety content. There we go. Jesus Christ. And so now what we're going to be doing, Thursday at 7 p.m., we're going to have a big show. So usually they give me a break day, and it's usually a panel, but we're going to be doing a special one-off where it's going to be just me, and I have a ton of announcements I'm going to be making. We got a lot of exciting stuff for live content. We're going to have some stuff for shows, like a new direction focus for Twitch, also some big new goals for YouTube specifically. We're going to be implementing some new stuff, show updates, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be exciting. So be here Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time, we're going to be on WIT TVs to talk about populism. Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time, we're going to be on Raging Tomato. Friday, we'll probably do gaming most of the day. But yeah, we're going to be doing all sorts of stuff that's coming up. But we're going to be doing a bunch of unique stuff. Make sure you're Thursday, though, because I got a lot of announcements. It's going to be really good. But like what I said, we're about to be on Prime K's here in a moment. For some stuff. But yeah, once again, Twitch and YouTube, Admiral Gibbs, as always, thanks for being here, guys. We appreciate it. YouTube said we need more unique content, so we're going to be doing some specific stuff for them. Once again, this is the logo, guys. Hey, check it out. We got the standardized stuff going here. Woo! Thank you so much, Paragon. I appreciate it. Feel free to join the Discord. But we're going to be doing some more politics here in a moment. Like I said, we're going to be jumping on primes here in a brief second. Let me just do the setup. But yeah, it should be good. Saturday, like I said, we'll be at the videos. We have what's it called? We have me and Tyler are gonna be going against somebody. So that should be extra good. That should be good as well. Is it against you, Husky? I don't think it is. Unless you're going to defend communism. Woo, H-Bear. Yeah, we got a lot of exciting stuff. I got a bunch of big announcements. Good stuff. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, H-Bear. Things about getting spicy. Guys, we're getting real close to Twitch partner. I'm going to announce some goals and shit towards that. So that's exciting. I'm hoping maybe we can be a consideration before this second GridCon event in July. Remember, it's July 24th. It's going to be good stuff. Sunday I won't be here. I'll be at anything, but other than that, we're gonna be going. We got big events coming up the rest of the month. Big events. All right, let me just put a pause screen up for a brief moment while I switch over to primes. Which microphone is it using? Okay, that's good. Okay, that shit is annoying. All right, chat. You're gonna have to deal with whatever this screen is for that he's got up until we get until I get the until he brings us up. I'm gonna mute it though, so we don't have to hear it for now. All right, to the music and whatever. That way we can talk, chat. Okay, this is not the right shape. I don't know what's happening, guys. You are seeing it in real time. Fantastic streamer skill level. Guys, this is what I thought. Oh, God. I want to move all that. Also, guys, Add on Discord. Yeah, you gotta add us. You just join the Discord, Papa, and we'll fucking get you from there. That's what they do around here. Sure. Mm-hmm. I guess. Copy. Chat. Well, I failed you. I was going to talk to y'all about while we were waiting, but I didn't even do that. I thought I was doing too much in the background. I fucking epic shooter skills. Unmute this.
I can't hear you. I don't know if it's me who's an idiot.
Well, I can hear you, Prime.
Oh man, I can't hear anyone. Okay, so
You can't hear me?
it's me. Let me figure this out.
I can hear everyone, even the music, unfortunately.
We know that's
I can't hear the music, actually. It's interesting.
What? Oh,
well, I can definitely hear the music. It's way louder than usual.
yeah.
It's the same volume. I've not changed nothing.
Okay,
No.
well, I figured
Much-
it out. I can hear
it's
everyone. Sorry, that was
much-
on my
It is much louder, right? Like, I'm not going crazy. Okay,
I've done okay. I've done nothing. All right. Well, if we can lower the. I can't hear it at all. It's interesting. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the
But I'm glad
Music is
the most
happening.
important people can hear, right? The true fans, right? That's what we do it for. That's what we do it here for.
are we the true fans or are the viewers?
I'm
the
not a true fan. I hate
True
the music.
fans.
I'm transparent
True
about that.
fan.
That's,
Oh, I'm not a true fan of the music for sure.
Yeah.
Mark me down as a
We're true
disbeliever.
fans. We're all the true fans. So I hear you.
Corey, we're on the same team.
yes. And you got that high quality camera and high quality mustache too going.
Hell yeah.
High
brother.
quality mustache.
Hell yeah.
Is that what that is? High quality mustache. I mean, he looks good, like in terms of like quality, the picture quality, but like it's showing that
Everything
like,
looks good except for your upper lip. That's the
that
Nah.
Thank you, Corey, for being a nice friend.
Hey, I think once it gets a little bigger, you're gonna look kind of like the guy from the Three Musketeers.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Gibbs.
maybe when
Yeah,
actually
it's gonna look
goes
good.
Being a
in,
nice
like,
friend.
right now.
That is
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's getting there. What are you talking
It's
about?
a work in progress.
Oh,
I
like-
only grow hair here and here.
You
so-
look like Athos or Pathos or one of those guys, you know?
I wish I
Or
could grow
Zorro, you can get a sword. Zorro's pretty cool.
Zorro's pretty cool. Good movies.
I have to like pretty aggressively.
Very
shave
well written.
right here.
I really
It's
like
even,
Anthony Hopkins'
It's a
performance as
little
Zorro.
patchy right now. I should.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's gross. I hate it.
I was watching a guy talking about that today. I guess this reminds in my head is like how good Anthony Hopkins is just by like with one word. He's like, well, but he does all these expressions and you like see his face. And it was like, yeah, that's really what separates the great ones, stuff like that.
Anthony Hopkins is a master class in acting.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I mean, there's
And-
several people like that, but he's a
Yep.
good one.
He's a legend.
He's a
And
little
Prime is
overrated.
definitely Frozen.
You're overrated.
No, Anthony
Yeah,
Hopkins
it's
is
fine.
good. Come on, he's good. He's not maybe the greatest of all time, but he's good. He's good.
Who's the greatest actor of all time in your opinion, Hunter? Let's hear this.
I'm biased towards Nicolas Cage, but
Dude,
Nicolas
I
Cage
saw
is pretty
Raising
wild.
Arizona recently. I was like, holy shit. I didn't realize one, he was hot, and two, he is a good actor. I
He's
was
an amazing
blown
actor.
away.
Cage
He's
is
got
He's
probably-
Probably
like
out there.
25 in the movie. Like I get it as like a 40-year-old. He hasn't like, but he had that suave charm in that movie. I was like,
Cage's problem is the Pete
it
Cage.
was him and Holly Hunter, and I was like, if I could Whoo! I'm gonna stop before TOS happens.
Nice. I was just saying, my issue with Cage, his Pete Cage is maybe like the best. He's like one of those guys. Like if there's like a sports thing, shot clock on the line, you want him out of the ball, right? Because like he's like that guy. But at this end, but he's also like very like inconsistent. Because he'll do like I don't know something
He's a crazy.
He'll do like
He's definitely done
face
some,
off,
like, really
and then he'll do something terrible afterwards.
something
Direct to
ass.
video movie.
Yeah.
Oh well, Face
not
Off
even
is
the-
a fantastic action
Okay,
movie.
here's the
Face
I
Off is,
agree.
like,
I'm so saying
Here's the
face off
problem.
like yeah, he's like doing it's like way like he does both characters like super well, but then you have like something like I don't know the one where he hunts people down because of his pig. And you're
I
like,
fully
oh,
agree,
pig.
but I'm tired. I am tired of people like because I think that if you're the greatest actor of all time, you can't be in like sloppy.
Sure you
act
can, but you can
movies,
you make sloppy movies good. Like look at what's his name in Mortal Kombat. When he fucking does he's like,
Ass.
oh, for Bison. That
Carl
was
Urban?
just Tuesday. Yeah, like that. He made that. He was actually a good character in that movie, despite how bad it was.
Oh,
you know,
man.
like his acting shined
Mortal-
through.
Mortal-
No, his
Mortal
acting
Kombat.
shined through with the original Mortal Kombat. Even though he did as good as you can do with the material he was given. You know what I'm
Anyway,
saying?
that's why I'm saying Meryl Streep low key sucks because she's
Are you
been
talking
in
about
a
Street
lot
Fighter,
of.
not Mortal Kombat?
Maybe whatever Bison's in. I think it's Street Fighter. Yeah.
Who's
Yeah,
Bison?
it's Street
I don't even
Fighter.
know who this
Yeah.
is.
You don't know this movie? I'm
Street
saying
Fighter.
the movie's cheesy and terrible. It's fine.
Why would I
but,
watch
like,
Street Fighter?
But hold on, but
I
the
have better
character
things to do in my
that
life.
plays Bison, the guy that plays
so
him,
above
he's so good. He gives like one of the coldest lines in history. He's like,
Oh,
"Today-"
David Dasmalkian. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah,
It's
I- yeah.
like,
well, are you talking about like the Street Fighter from like the 90s
Here,
with
I'll
Van
just send a
Damme?
clip to Prime
Yeah.
so he can
He's
share.
He's
it.
in,
Yeah,
he's in the Dark
Van
Knight,
Damme.
right?
That's
who you're
Raul
talking
Julia.
about?
Yeah,
No, no.
yeah.
Yeah.
Raul Julia.
Julia.
He
Yeah.
played whatever
Ron
the,
Julia.
Raul Julia in the Adams
R-A-U-L.
Family. He's the
Yeah,
husband
yeah,
of whatever
Of the-
Gomez, I think. or something.
Gomez.
Yeah,
That's it,
yeah.
yeah.
Gomez,
This is the
Gomez.
best actor that you can think of.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, okay, this movie's terrible. Right, I'm gonna send you the clip. I'm gonna get it in the
I'm
clip.
saying the greatest actor of all time can't be in so
No,
many
but
ass
but what I'm
movies.
saying is you can be in a
That's-
terrible
every actor
movie, and
has,
if you can
like,
like
a
take
bunch
a
of
terrible
missions. No.
movie and give like
Even,
a
like,
star
even
scene
Jodie Foster
despite
does.
it, that's like a testament to your acting. And I
Name
feel
a
like with
bad
Cage,
Marlon Brando
Cage like
movie.
goes so bad on the bad acting.
The
right?
Island of Dr. Moreau.
You know,
Oh, I don't know that.
You should
Okay,
look up that movie.
Low key,
There you go.
like, I mean, if
There it
you,
is.
you can have like one or two stinkers, but if you're hitting the like, I don't know.
yeah, but a good actor can take something shit and make it nice. Like
No,
that's
a
what-
good actor would just
True.
turn it down.
that's like listen. If you can take something shit and make it amazing, that's even more skill.
I
You know.
don't know why I'm watching something and it's like, oh well, the acting is good.
Well,
Like-
I mean, Street Fighter is sort of a classic cheesy 90s.
Yeah,
action
Yeah,
It's
that's
like-
just not my style at all.
No,
Yeah, but
actually,
the-
hold on.
okay,
I'm
I'm
gonna,
way
I'm
too
gonna back
pretentious
up
for that.
against
I
the
got
I'm too
you.
pretentious. Yes,
I'm gonna.
That's
I'm
correct.
gonna back
That's why
up
you're growing the
against a little bit
mustache.
here.
I get it now.
Correct.
Right, like, if it's if it's a bad movie, right? Let's say like the movie is just panned,
Black
like
Toys
all
here.
around, right? Like direction is bad, the screen, like the
I think-
setting, the story, all that stuff is bad, right? But then all the critics stop and say, yeah, it was all bad, but this guy here, like tore it up, right? Like he ate his scenes and he did the best he could
Yeah,
with his material. That I agree with Gibbs. That's the mark of a good actor, right?
No.
To be able to surpass all that, right? You can't
Look-
because like what's not in
like
the
you
actor's
watch the
control
movie
is,
because
like,
they're in it.
No, it's like
yeah,
going
like,
to a sixth grade class and go like, "This is the next
What's not in
mathematician,"
the actor's
and he's
control
just
is
he's
everything
excelling
else,
so
right?
well.
They have no control over the rest. They have control of what they can perform, right? And even then, sometimes they barely have control about that too, right? But still, right? Their delivery and all that's mostly all up to them.
I'm gonna
And so,
repeat my
like-
analogy because I don't.
I
don't know
think
if it
your
hit
analogy
as
is
hard.
disanalogous.
Disanalogous.
This is a
I'm
very
the
bad take
potential
Hunter's got
here.
here. He's got a
Fine,
very bad
disanalogous.
take, is what he's got right here. It's this take. This is a bad take.
True. Oh, also, I do want to come clean. So I've missed like the last 2 weeks of Prime's thing. So I was like, I am for sure gonna make it to this one. Turns out there was an event that happened today where I probably should have canceled this because I just came out of surgery and I
Oh.
am on Oxycontin content right now.
That might make you a better
And I'm
debater. You don't know.
I'm a little like, whoa.
You're
I'm
going to
not
be
really that
loosened up.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
a little
that's
OxyContin.
fine.
Hey, it's legal, okay?
It is legal,
I
yes.
got it from a doctor.
It's
I wanna be
controlled
clear.
release. It's
Yeah.
really not that big of a deal.
I agree.
Yeah,
It's not that
maybe
big of a deal. That's why I popped 12 of them.
Okay. Well, I didn't say that. I just said
That's
the-
what I heard.
Okay.
That's what I heard you say that is a-okay.
Maybe
You
you'll
get
be
my
open
seal
to
of
new
approval.
things, right? Like actually, like voting for values and like having a moral backbone
Oh,
and all
I
that
think
stuff. Like maybe those things might
maybe I'll change my
spring
mind and then
forth.
vote Democrat. Wait, I feel like I have.
No, not vote for.
No, you'll stop the
genocide
hand washing.
supporters.
That's the key
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like we'll just see. We'll see what happens.
We'll
Let's
see.
mix it
We'll
up,
see what
know?
you can do.
Yeah. We have one more person we're waiting for.
are we waiting
and
on?
then we'll move. From
Oh,
there.
Ali, and it's his prompt too. That son of a bitch.
Do you
Well,
even
he
know your
inspired
dosage
the
of
prompt.
OxyContin? Is it the 10 milligrams, the
I have
20?
no idea.
Not
Okay.
enough.
I
He's just
said
been
it
popping
says
them.
take
Like,
one
what difference
pill,
does it
and
make?
I
He's been
go
popping them.
done, and then they go your
Ibuprofen's
throat's still.
not cutting it no more.
Because, like, yeah, if it's like the 5 or 10, like, that's baby stuff.
You gotta take a.
I
Yeah, that's
am
right.
pretty
That's
tall
right,
and
Corey. You
weigh a
gotta take a real man's.
That's right. You gotta take a
dosage,
heroic
Hey,
dose, like psychedelic.
Hunter, are you not cool? Are you lame? Right? How much have you taken so far?
Yeah, I do feel a little bit like I'm a little for sure not exactly here. But then I was like, maybe this will make an entertaining stream. So here's what I'm saying: if I'm being weird, kick me. I get it. It'll probably.
You shouldn't.
I mean,
The opioids should not affect you that disproportionately.
Yeah, I think I'll be okay. I'm not.
have a
I
collection
think
of-
I'm in control of my.
Yes. You should. It's not like you're. It's not like alcohol,
Executive
where it's like you're gonna be
functions.
like
Totally.
like super
I-
disinhibited.
this is a collection of.
That's why you
strange
can pop it
individuals,
and then go
right?
to work,
Like,
right?
These
Corey?
individuals that
Yes,
come
people do
onto
that.
this channel
That's a.
are
is a
not
mistake.
like regular people, right? Like we all have like like personalities, right? Like regular folks. Like, well, they'd be scared away from this forum. But yeah, so you guys are all so it's like, hey man, I'm being weird. I mean, maybe a different flavor of weird, but like that's weird.
How are we gonna know
allows
that
you to
you're
be here.
acting weird?
I feel like I get accused of being a normie way more than anyone here. I think I have the most normie politics. Is that true? Maybe.
Absolutely not.
You mean
Gibbs, you have
I by
no-
far the closest to the normal politics.
What
You
the fuck are
are the
you
group.
talking about?
Hunter? You have the norm. You do have
It doesn't have to be a compliment, but like I do
And-
think
No,
that
Gibbs-
I-
Where do
no,
you
Gibbs
where,
is right.
where do you think
Gibbs
I
is the
get my
most
politics from? Like, you think I'm coming up with this shit on my own? Like, come on, fam.
I don't think you're coming up with this shit on your own.
I
I'm
don't
just
think
saying
your personality is normie. Your personality is not normie. That's what I'm
Mine-
saying.
That's called
Not
entertainment. You know.
Gibbs' personality is for sure not normie.
No.
That's a good thing, Gibbs. Never
It's
change.
definitely not. It's a good time though. I hung out with him. It was a lot of fun actually. Okay, so
Both Aura,
does any-
Aura Tharman, you know.
So
Blackwood, do you think Gibbs is more median than me?
Yeah, I think Gibbs is a centrist, actually.
Right.
Isn't that an insult?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, it's an insult.
It's
You're
an
insulting
insult
him.
to Prime for
It's
sure.
called success. You know, a citrus
Low
man.
key,
We can
it's
play both sides.
centrist, or I don't know if I've ever met a cool centrist.
They don't-
wait,
You
hold
have
on,
to.
maybe
You have
one.
today.
Gibbs, stop being so dumb.
somehow this
Gibbs is
working
right in
for
the
you.
middle.
Gibbs,
Right in the middle of what?
I got invited to a debate because Gibbs talked to someone, and then they like introduced me, and they're like, "The Jewish fundamentalist Hunter Kozak." I'm like, what have you been telling
What?
these people?
The fuck?
I'm
I didn't tell him
agnostic.
anything.
What
I didn't
the
tell him
fuck?
anything, bro. It's crazy.
Yes, you did. They
Nah.
introduced. I didn't tell them I was Jewish. That's not. I was like, I'm Mormon mostly. Like that's the.
I
You
tell
for
these,
sure
these
said
people.
Jewish.
These
Fucked up.
people.
And they were like,
these
oh,
people
he-
know. They
He
know.
is ride or die. Like he's like a Torah. Like he's like an Orthodox.
This is what I told you was happening. You didn't believe me when I told you this was happening, so I had to make
What do
sure
you
you
think I
were.
didn't-
When you were around, I kept telling you all that. Everywhere I go now, people are like, "Oh, Gibbs is the Mossad because he was with that Kojak guy."
That seems pretty like racist, man.
That's what they tell me. Yeah,
That's pretty
to me the
racist.
Mexicans. I don't fucking know, and so I bring him on over.
I'm not.
and
I'm
then-
not blaming you, Gibbs, of course, but
All
I'm just saying like that. You talk to a Jew. You must be a Messiah.
Well, I think
Well,
it's. I think it's
it's
more
not
than that.
just that I'm
Yeah,
a Jew.
I think there's a second part of
There
that.
is a
yeah.
second part of that like,
Yeah.
but it is only those two
That's still
factors,
pretty
right?
racist. I know, it's still pretty
It's-
racist.
yeah,
It's
Like,
I don't
just
know.
that I'm Jewish and then was also you know.
Yeah, that you were there for like.
Well, I've been telling y'all
there
that
were other Jews in the audience. Like
You don't have to convince me, Gibbs. I promise you, I get more messages than you do.
hey, I believe it. Don't you
about
worry.
how
Don't
I'm
you...
a Mossad. I bitched someone so hard and it felt so good. She came in and she's like, "You're a crisis actor," and I went off on her, and she's like, "I didn't even say anything that bad." I'm like, "You called me a murderer," and she's like, "It was on Google. If that's not true, just fix it." I'm like, "You're a fucking psycho."
It was a, oh, sure.
I
Yeah,
win. I
Oh,
really
you know Google.
yelled at
Let's
her.
go
and
knock on
it
Google's
made me
door and
feel
say,
good.
"Hey,
Yeah,
please fix
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, this is so
man.
stupid. But Lactoid, sorry, Lactoid, you were saying that because this somehow fits into his political messaging. So, Lactoid, you can explain why you think Gibbs is a centrist. That will shine light as to what you're trying to pull over on us.
Yeah, I think everything that he says is like very moderate. He doesn't really have any kind of extreme proposals. Everything is kind of,
True.
it seems like he listens to both sides, and then just sort of like tries
It's
to
a very
pragmatically
measured
find.
approach.
Yes, measured approach, and he tries to find the most, like what respecting the interests of all parties involved. That's
really threading
what
that
I think
needle.
about.
Finding
That's what I
compromise
think
in every
about when I think
situation.
about Admiral Gibbs and his politics.
I think I've never heard a better description
Where-
of politics in my life, actually.
Lactoid, then
It's
you
and it's
tell me-
because he has a couple doctorates, and so he needs to defend the legitimacy
Exactly.
of those doctorates.
Listen, I've defended them
by not-
See,
very
he
well.
defends the institutions, but he's also critical of them. So
You know,
he
we
walks
are
that line.
modernizing.
Exactly,
We are
exactly.
modernizing the institutions. Is what we're doing now.
Yes.
Lactoid,
He's
Tell me-
centralizing the answer. Go ahead.
where you are in on the political spectrum in relation to Gibbs.
Oh, extreme. Very like way out there.
fascist. Just call yourself a
Yeah.
fascist.
Yeah.
Say
He,
it. Say
Gibbs
it,
is like
Lactoid.
no, I'm a hand washer. If that's
Oh, okay.
Gibbs is.
Are we
you
the
know-
same? Are we the same ideologically?
Well, hold on. I think I was upgraded recently to bootlicker.
Bootlicker, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah,
no. I think
this
according
is
to
in-
Ali,
not
you're a
bootlicker?
seasoned bootlicker.
I don't know which one I am.
Yeah,
You gotta put that. You gotta put that in your
Like,
resume.
thing.
Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
right.
every time
That's a
every time he
title.
throws a label at me, it is also something that could be thrown at me.
Lactoid isn't new to this. He's true to this, right? He's been a bootlicker like from day
Right.
one, from day zero. What the fuck are you talking
Right.
about? This
Right.
ain't new. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd put myself like way out there, but then like Gibbs is kind of like a moderating force in our discussions. I think.
Yeah, that's what I really.
He
appreciate
like
about
he
it. Yeah.
brings me over to the more moderate side.
I try. You know, we gotta reach
especially
out
with,
our hands.
especially with his pedophile protector positions, right?
Oh, man.
He's really threading the needle
Yeah, hey,
there, right?
hey, how you're extreme compared to that. So tell me, what's the extreme version?
Hector. Hold on, I'm not protecting nobody.
Go
If
ahead.
He's
they're-
on
if
the
they're
other. He's
guilty-
supporting the pedophiles
Hold
even
on,
more.
hold on.
right?
If they're guilty, throw their ass in the wood chipper. This is not just a left-right argument. This is like a north-south classes argument. I don't give a shit. I'm
The
just saying.
centrist take.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to make more money, and I'm trying to have more money.
True.
And listen. I don't. At this
Centrist
point,
take?
I feel like all the government people are pedos. So let's throw them all in the wood chipper and replace them with people that are going to look out for me better more often. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a shit about none of them. But I'm going to vote for the one that puts policy forward that's going to help me. And if that's protecting the pedos, I guess it's protecting my
Lactoid.
argument. I don't.
What's the extreme version of Gibbs's pedo protector take? Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Yeah, what's the extreme of that?
Wow.
Gibbs, I have a question for you.
No,
Thank you, Hunter. Go ahead.
wait,
No,
wait.
no, no. Why'd you drop
No,
Hunter?
ask him.
Here, I'm
the.
the hand
No,
washer.
no,
I will
no, no.
distract
Lactoid
from
first.
the
He's
fact
on
that-
OxyContin. You
How is
can't
that
interrupt
not
him.
a
Part of
how is that
medication.
not a fairly normie thing though? What I just said, like what?
Lactoid-
Yeah.
Lactoid
Gibbs
first.
isn't done explaining himself.
Yeah, no, I wanna know how it's not a normal taste, though. How is that like a milk toast taste? Is that not a milk toast taste?
Lactoid first. Lactoid, tell me, what's the extreme version of the pedal protector agenda?
Well, I hear the full position, so go ahead, Gibbs.
Yeah, you heard the full position.
I
He
just want to know
knows
what
it.
I
He's
just want to
playing
know.
dumb.
I just want
He
to know what
knows
I said right there of what I just said. How that is not a normie thing.
No. First of all, you're trying to roll back exactly what you said previously.
I said-
You know
I
what
said-
you said. You said it twice.
No.
right?
No.
So you
Corey
know
tried
what
to
it
play a trap game, and I wouldn't buy it. That's what's happening.
It's not a trap game. It's literally just a
Y'all were
hypothetical.
the ones who said y'all were gonna let it keep happening. Well, I said while y'all called somebody. I was the one who said I was gonna go. I said I was gonna go in there, and I said I was gonna go shoot him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what
y'all
about,
one of us
what
is gonna
about
stop
while
it when
you're
it
calling the
happens.
police, I remember that one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I was
I'm gonna hit the problem. Y'all are gonna let it happen while y'all didn't like it. So you're really the ones letting it keep going. In fact,
Right.
y'all are
True.
endorsing
Yeah.
it. You're endorsing it.
Okay.
No,
Well,
Lacto
as
is running.
Lacto literally runs away from the question, I guess we can move on.
I think
He's
the
going to
extreme
look for his
position. I think the
Yeah,
extreme
he's gotta
position
look
is
for his
like
position,
calling
can't
and not.
find it.
It's calling. It's calling and not stopping it. Not the extreme position. In that,
That wasn't hypothetical.
Well,
You know
it's
that.
hypothetical, and I'm saying it is.
Yeah, I know, because it helps you.
Because that's what y'all did. Y'all put forth
did
a
it.
hypothetical,
Let's-
and I accepted it.
Okay,
Either
Hunter,
way.
do you have something you want to add, Gibbs? After that, we'll get started.
Gibbs, I have a question.
All right, that's it.
Let's say you're a slave owner in the 1700s,
Damn, that's tough.
and there's a policy that goes forward, and they're starting to consider. There's some abolitionists question marks, and they go, should you get rid of your slaves?
Yeah, and I'm gonna answer. It's real simple. I think it might behoove me to maybe come up with new contracts for my slaves' freedom,
Liar.
so that I don't end up dying and I can make more money in the long term.
You know
Maybe
that's not
maybe
true.
we try out something new, like a co-op
You know
or
that
something.
you know that largely slave owners profited from
yeah,
slaves.
yeah, but you know what?
That's actually
what,
not a
you know what is
controversial
not a. I'm not arguing they didn't, because not paying your workers makes you a lot of money. But you know what pays you less money? Being dead. Like if you're dead, you can't make no money. So I'm just saying, I'm all about the living. You know,
That's true.
you know, and
That's a normie. That's a centrist normie take. You know,
Just
being
saying.
dead, can't get paid.
Wanting to be alive again.
Yeah.
Another centrist take from
Crazy
Gibbs.
takes.
What a compromise.
Wait,
Admiral
are we
Gibbs grounds us.
are we realizing that Gibbs is the only true centrist on this
Correct.
panel?
I'm saying, bro, it's crazy.
I'm the hand washer. Lactoid
Yeah.
is the ball washer.
Yeah.
And
No,
we ball wash. Who
bootlicker.
are we ball washing though?
No,
He
I
said
was the
bootlicker,
I was
did
the
it right.
bootlicker. They get it
you
right.
wash
I
hands, he
I
licks
haven't been
boots.
sorry.
promoted yet to ball washer.
I
That's
apologize.
next step.
Yeah. Well, I've been there, so I'm just waiting for. I'm waiting for some companionship because it's getting lonely up here, just washing at the balls by myself.
Okay. Well, when Ben was here-
Don't use that tone as if you didn't create this term and throw it at us.
Actually, I
didn't
created the
create-
term.
Okay,
I
that's
didn't create
probably
the term.
true.
But I wish I did. Right.
I kept
because-
misconstruing. What is it? Hand wringing? What
Yeah,
what's
hand
the
wringing
actual
and ball
term?
washer. I think.
You
Did
guys
put
don't
it
even
in a
remember the
hand
actual
washer?
term.
I don't know.
No, I don't know I've never known the actual term. I've always called it.
No,
hand
you
I
wringing.
was
have,
hand
right?
washing for a
Because I said
while, and then I was
multiple times.
bootlicking.
But like you just like ignored it. And made it your own.
So who's Ali? Is he just a straight up communist? Is
I
he
actually
a-
think I'm the only. I'm the true centrist. I'm just the. I'm the
that
panel.
Gibbs has
live.
already taken that.
Nope.
Sorry,
can't-
bro.
See,
You can't.
G-
you
G-
can't steal
Gibbs
it
is
from
a
Gibbs.
Texan and
It's
I'm
cultural
a Michigander. He
appropriation.
covers the South.
True.
I cover the North. Speak for the people, okay? I speak for the people.
Actually, not a bad take. Like I feel like Ollie and I are really not that far. It's just like maybe like a few.
I
degrees.
agree.
Like
I
he's a little more left,
agree.
I'm a little more right because it's but it's like
What
like
there's got to be a term for like how the extremes of both sides sort of curve towards each other.
Yeah, you're either. Well, listen,
Something like
this is
that.
how
I
it
don't
works,
know.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Hunter, it's really simple.
Like a
You're either-
rainbow, like rainbow theory. I think that's what
You're either
that's all.
Islamophobic and you're anti the Arab Middle Eastern countries, right? Or you're anti-Zionist and you're anti. That's the way. That's the breakdown.
That's it.
I'm not anti anything. I'm pro whatever makes me the most money. That's really all I
No,
care
you're
about.
You're on your side.
wait.
Way more on your
You're
side than
anti-lab
Gibbs
grown
is.
meat. That is clear.
I would largely consider.
Well, that would
myself
not
an
make me money.
anti-Zionist, even though you
Because it
wouldn't.
loses him money.
Yeah. He owns-
Uh,
So like Gibbs is like Ali. So Ali worships Allah, and then Gibbs worships Gibbs. So it's like if you were to place,
No, Gibbs worships money.
No.
well, what money for Gibbs?
I would.
Like, there's
I
a
wish.
purpose
I
to
wish
Yeah, he doesn't worship
tithing
money for other people for sure.
Right.
to myself.
To my,
I could tithe to the Lord, because that's the only one who needs my money.
I like it.
let's get started. But thanks all for being here. Much appreciated. This one was a particularly short one, but if you liked our little intro, consider hitting the follow button. Whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, or Kick, and being part of the community, consider super chatting on YouTube. That's a huge help. Or becoming a subscriber on Twitch, or just hitting the follow button on Kick. That'd be great if you did that. Please do that. Okay, let's get started. During the first Trump administration, Title 42 was invoked, which allowed the president to shut down border crossings and expel migrants to stop the spread of disease. This was continued into the Biden administration until the invocation expired in 2023. In the present day, a cruise ship is docking at the Canary Islands, where 100 or so passengers will receive medical treatment for a hantavirus outbreak. I'm gonna correct this because I think I mixed like two stories together. I didn't realize were two stories at the time. But anyway, protests have broken out with people concerned about the spread of disease. Are these concerns warranted? Should populations be worried about the spread of disease as it relates to immigration? Should a provision such as Title 42 exist, or is it just another manifestation of our demonization of migrants? And shout out to Ali, who's always being helpful to the channel for sending me a story and like sparking this. But okay, so help me if I'm wrong here, because maybe I'm fucking this up, right? Are there two cruise ships? There's one, like there's a hantavirus, right? So most people died there. But then there's another. I thought I heard there was another one with the norovirus.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's less of a big deal though.
I've only heard of the
Norovirus is all
Hanta.
over the place in America.
What's it called? The
Norovirus.
I think that's pretty
Norovirus.
standard for just
Oh,
any cruise ship.
norovirus. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it
that.
is. Yeah, it comes up on
Itch,
cruise
though,
ships all the time.
Yeah.
It's spread through contact or exposure to the waste of another person. It comes up a lot in like areas that have karsted soil that use kind of they use septic systems that are kind of higher up. Just because there's not a lot of drainage to the area, and the drinking water happens to become contaminated pretty easily. And then cruise ships, yeah, that one's not. I'm guessing they're throwing that on because of the hantavirus thing has gotten so much attention. They're like, oh, look, another infection over here. Norovirus is super common.
I've been on
That's
like
been around
I've been on
forever.
like 21 or 22 cruises, and like everywhere you go on a cruise ship, they have fucking hand sanitizer. Oh god, put out, and they fucking have it everywhere, and then they have like signs everywhere. Stop norovirus. So like, yeah, it's been a thing.
Well, okay. Well, PSA, like, don't go on cruises. They're motherfucking petri
I love-
dishes.
I
Like,
love
they're
they are cesspools.
fucking
They're fun,
ill.
though.
Any which way, sorry.
Also
They're fun, though.
environmentally very
True.
inefficient.
Yeah, they're awful. But in any case, so there's the hantavirus. All right, so thank you for that, because I was getting a little confused there. So there's the hantavirus cruise ship that is stopping at the Canary Islands. And people are going to be let off, and some people I think have already left, and they're they're making their way back home. Some of them will come to the United States. We've got a few, like just a few who are on that ship, but they're going to be monitored. There are people who haven't been showing symptoms. There's also like an incubation period here, right? Where like apparently like you're not infectious until you start showing symptoms, and these people haven't started showing symptoms yet. So like, okay, we'll let you go, but we're going to monitor you if you do start showing symptoms, and we'll do something then. That's my understanding of the situation. In any case. So yeah, Title 42 is activated during the Trump years, and like he uses this to crack down on the border more so than previously. And yeah, Biden, he doesn't change this, right? Like this is a policy shift, and Biden like goes along with it. But this like comes along, through a long line of I'll call it fear mongering. Other people may say differently, and you guys can have your own opinion, right? But I'll call it fear mongering that like talks about like how the migrants are diseased, right? They bring all kinds of societal ills to your shores, and one of them are their diseases. And so just another reason to keep them out. And so I to examine that, like, are these fears reasonable? Is it not fear mongering, or are we just like identifying a real thing that we should be concerned about? Yeah, I just want to know what your thoughts are on that. So we'll start with our friend Lactoid, work our way around.
Lactoid, you could find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. So yeah, I mean, I think it is a problem. From what I've looked up before this panel is that there are a number of studies that demonstrate that infectious diseases are much more common amongst certain, especially infectious diseases, are much more common among foreign-born individuals. Tuberculosis being the biggest one, like over 70% of all TB cases in America are identified amongst people who are born in a different country. Tuberculosis is particularly nasty in the sense that it's not very easily treatable, despite being a bacterial infection. You get it, you can treat it using a long course of antibiotics, and then it kind of enters this latent phase where you don't really get rid of it, and then it can pop up later on in your life, and it can be deadly, and it can cause a lot of other issues as well. Hantavirus is probably much less of a concern when it comes, and to be honest with you, not super relevant to the immigration discussion, because my understanding is the people coming to America from the cruise ship are Americans that were on the cruise ship, and they're coming here. That being said, I mean, if there was, let's say Mexico had like a giant outbreak of hantavirus, the kind of human-to-human communicable version that appears to be in South America, especially, yeah, I think that preventing the spread of that in America would be a good idea. Could it be used to demonize people? Sure, but at the same time, I give a little bit of grace when it comes to these kind of decisions made during a pandemic, right? Because yes, looking back, there are things that could be done differently, and I think it's fair to hold people accountable for making wrong calls. That's okay, but in the moment, I don't want to be super like limited in the sense of look where we got it wrong before, so now let's not do anything. Um, because yeah, the coronavirus restrictions I think went too far, and went too far for too long. But let's say there was let's say this hantavirus thing actually it becomes much more communicable than we seem to think it is, and then it starts to cause massive amounts of infections and massive amounts of deaths. I mean, that'd be a real problem. I think that'd be kind of fucking crazy. Like people are really critical as to the U.S. AIDS response back in the 80s, but we didn't know what it was. Like all of a sudden we just have people dying. Like this is terrifying when you don't know what it is. Yeah, looking back, were the people who were like, oh, I don't want to share water fountains, or I don't want to drink from the same cup. I don't want to be around people who have this disease. Were they wrong? Sure, but like I wouldn't behave differently if there's this new disease popping up where I don't know how it's transmitted and it's killing people in a most gruesome manner. Yeah, I think that Title 42 should remain as a legally viable option if we need to use it, if there's particularly dangerous diseases coming or originating in certain areas or kind of spreading across the globe. But, obviously any use of that should be critically examined. The centrist take.
Let's go to our friend Hunter.
All right, so got a few things to say. I'm going to disagree with, I think, everyone who's spoken so far.
That's one person.
It's two. Prime was also. Sorry, I was talking about Prime and Lactoid. I think Prime put in this intentionality when it came to Biden that essentially the Title 42 expulsions were just a way to hide behind how many people he wanted to deport. I don't think that there's evidence for that at all. It was obviously during the 2020 pandemic. Maybe I'm reading into your statements and you don't believe that. I don't know. We could talk about that once we all get into it. I think the hantavirus is a pretty serious virus, mostly just because it kind of hits the three benchmarks of possible pandemic, which is the infection rate, the incubation rates, and fatality rates. And they're all the ones that you want to be high, don't want to be high, are high, and the ones that you don't want to be low are low. The incubation rates mostly, like if you can spread that before it actually takes hold, it's a pretty serious issue. When it comes to immigration, obviously I think that we can be pragmatic without being racist. And I think I want to be really careful about it. I think one of the big things that I'm going to be looking for in this debate is people who hide their prescriptions under their descriptions, where they'll say something like, well, look, immigrants are coming in and they're bringing in diseases. Okay, that might be true. You might be able to pull up a chart wherein more immigrants are coming in with more diseases. But what is your prescription here? Are you saying that we need to, if there's there's a Mexican kid in your school, you should probably be avoiding. Like, what specifically are you advocating for here? And I think that very often people can be racist covertly when they're hiding behind what they're saying. I also think that Lactoid might be whitewashing the AIDS outbreak in the 1980s just a little bit. Not a little bit, actually quite a bit. I think that they were pretty aggressively homophobic, even when scientists were saying pretty explicitly that you can't catch this by touching each other. Obviously, I don't necessarily blame them on the original onset, but that continued far longer than it needed to. Excited to be here. I don't know. I think that's about it. I don't know if I'm addressing the question. Maybe I'm just addressing the people behind me. So I'm passing it off to Corey.
All right. So,
or sorry, I shouldn't be choosing who goes next. Prime, is Corey next? I just assumed it was going to go in a line. I apologize for taking over your reins.
It was presumptuous of you, but
it was, and I realized it only afterward. I apologize.
It's because you're high. It's all right.
It is low key.
Feeling good.
I felt that in my soul what he just did, though. I've definitely done that on panels. Be like, oh. Shit.
And Gibbs is high too, probably. But yeah, so in to the prompt in terms of like these protesters in the Canary Islands. So I haven't been able to dig into like while researching this cruise ship. Does anybody happen to know like where this cruise company or ship is like stationed out of? Is it, like from France or
I think it's a Dutch ship that was in South America.
Oh, okay. Does anybody know? Well, I'm posing the question, but like, yeah, what's the legality of a cruise ship like docking in the Canary Islands? That like, I don't think it has, I assume they need to get some sort of approval. They can't just
they were
dock
given
anywhere.
permission.
Oh, okay. But it's like, yeah, assuming the cruise ship is docking legally, which it seems like it is. But there's a question of like, well, should they have been given legal approval to do that? I guess, there's a debate around that. But let's say in regards to the protest, does it seem like they have, at least in regards to this outbreak, the most valid of concerns? Doesn't look like it in terms of like the transmissibility and the potential for like this actually, I don't want to eat my words or jinx anything, but this seems to have a lower level of inducing a pandemic than previous viruses. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I hope I'm not. But all that to say is like, are there valid concerns when it comes to the spreading of viruses? Obviously, do I think that Title 42 should exist? On paper, it seems to have some utility, but like, do I think it has been overused or used for unjustified purposes in the past? It looks like it to me. But yeah, in terms of the spreading of communicable diseases amongst the immigrant population, sure, if you maybe dissect the data a little bit, there might be a signal there when it comes to the spread of tuberculosis. But even then, let's say, as far as I can tell, there is no significant problem of tuberculosis in the United States or like pretty much all of North America. And so I think like the total number of cases, even in one of the articles that Prime sent, it's like about 10,000 per year.
Not if RFK gets his way.
True. Yes, it's a factor to consider. And so
vaccine for that, by the way, but
which RFK may not be in favor of actually. But yeah, all that to say is like that's a very low number by my estimation. And so and again, it does not seem like at most you can say legal immigration has a mild to moderate effect, okay, on the tuberculosis rate in the United States. I don't think that justifies demonizing them to this extent, and I'll leave it there for now.
All right, let's go to our finale.
In terms of like if there's an outbreak of something, I think it's fine to probably shut down borders if we're worried about having a COVID number 2. We kind of shut down the entire world, and then we shut down our country, and it wasn't bad. And listen, I was in Michigan. I had a great time during the pandemic. Okay, I was getting paid. I traveled. I shouldn't have. I was irresponsible, but there were a lot of people who were, because it wasn't. There are a lot of people who aren't going to take it seriously. So I think if you're going to look at your country, maybe it's good to shut down the borders during times of the pandemic. Sure, racism might come from it. We saw the racism that came from COVID. Asian people experienced a lot of attacks and viciousness which isn't warranted, right? But that's probably going to happen regardless whether or not we shut down the border. If we can link the virus to a certain like region, we're probably going to demonize people from that region. It's going to be unfortunate, but like, I mean, currently right now, it was like with this boat, I personally, I don't know how they let it dock and how they let the people get off. At a certain point, I don't know how someone didn't just like, I mean, not literally, but like just bomb the boat and get rid of the entire virus once and for all, unless we have another pandemic. It's the new trolley, right? It's the new trolley. Do you dock the boat and possibly spread the virus, or do you just get rid of the boat and no virus? I don't know. I think that's where we're at now. But in terms of like demonizing people, I think travelers in general, when you're going to other countries, this has always been a thing. You're asked to get shots for certain places. You're asked to like take certain precautions when you're going to certain places and come back. I think traveling in general has like a huge stigma, especially when it comes to disease. So I don't understand why migrants wouldn't also have like a stigma.
Okay. Last but not least, our friend Gibbs.
Yeah, so here's a hot take, because we're talking about COVID and whatnot. But
Classic centrist take.
right, I'm saying some vaccines they work, right? Like smallpox, it's existed for 4,000, 5,000 years, somewhere in this range, 3,000 some estimates. And guess what? It's gone, except for like weaponized smallpox now, because we used vaccines to take it out. Now, I can admit some vaccines might be a little sus, and maybe I won't be the guinea pig, personally for some of them. But like, if I think we need one, we get one. But there's a kind of a concept as a whole. Imagine you're in a country where you don't get any vaccines, and you decide you're going to come to America, and you're going to come here, right? Well, guess what? It's probably higher or more likely that some of these people are going to carry some diseases that we might have eradicated here. I don't think it's a giant leap of logic to come to that conclusion. I personally want a huge, strong border so we can check everybody out. And then I want to have some reform and have people come here who want to work. But when I'm sitting here seeing what like this kind of thing, whether Title 42 should exist, yeah, absolutely. If you believe in a government, the government as a whole needs the power to do some things. And one of those should be to stop an influx of infection across your borders, right? And I feel like, hey, check this out. Oh, some people coming in, that country's having some disease. It might look bad, like on the surface. Oh God, country A has all this disease coming in. Well, maybe country A needs to get the shit together. Maybe it's not necessarily racism. Maybe I just don't want to fucking catch Ebola. I don't know if that's crazy, but maybe it is. Who knows?
Okay. Open to the public or panel.
Could be open to the public too if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I mean, Gibbs, are you to clarify your position? Are you saying that the immigrant population is contributing to some sort of
yeah, I mean,
massive
you can look at
disease outbreak in the United
Texas as a really good example of this right now. It's actually happening like this year. I think someone mentioned in the chat, but it's I think it's El Paso, actually. Here, actually, let me pull it up here. They have 175 cases reported statewide of measles. 135 of them are in this one facility in West Texas detention facility in Hudspeth County, right? And so all of them are coming from what they are calling, first of all, it's a detention center, so close proximity is a big problem. But secondly, a lot of these people don't have measles vaccines, right? And so it's spreading, and now it's spread to people here in America who don't have measles vaccines.
But according to some people in the government, the measles vaccine is not effective, though.
Yeah, the MMR vaccine is like one of the biggest ones that is being on the chopping block.
Well, I mean, once again, regardless of whether or not the vaccine's effective.
Regardless, how's that regardless? Regardless of whether it's effective treatment.
I'll tell you why. We have, for the most part, got rid of measles in America. Yes or no? Right? We have. And so
yes,
whenever we
because
have
of vaccines, because of vaccines.
And like maybe other medical treatments. I'm not a fucking doctor.
Maybe. Okay.
Sure. Whatever. Regardless, we've eliminated this our country, which is my greater point. And hey, this other country has not eliminated it, and now someone with that brought it to a facility here in America where it's going to spread in a contained environment. And now it's escaped it and all over Texas. I think that's an issue that we can point to, saying, "Hey, immigrants do cause this." Yeah, I'm not saying fuck them for it, but like,
well, are you saying there's only measles cases in Texas?
I'm not.
I think the issue that I have,
specifically we're having in and out outbreak in Texas stemming from this one facility.
I think the issue that I have is the aggressive amount of targeting coming from, I want to say maybe even conservatives writ large. Definitely the RFK strain of the Republican Party has been targeting the MMR vaccine for maybe about 20 years, ever since Wakefield, but like definitely has come up with like a very new fervor with RFK. So it feels very strange when we're looking at measles outbreaks and conservatives are like, well, it's because of the immigrants. I think it's very possible that it's because of dumbass homeschool moms who don't vaccinate their kids. Like, I could be wrong, but that certainly has to be part of the equation at the very least.
To that point, Hunter, Gibbs, you're saying that it's spreading within these like facilities because these people don't have their vaccines, but like, where did they catch it? Right? It's not like they brought the measles
they
with
brought
them,
the
right?
measles with them. Yes, that's what's happened. Is they brought it with
because
them.
well, you said there was 170 cases and 130 of them was from the facility, but then there's there's
so I guess my point, Ali, is basically like let's say like 10 people come from, I don't know, let's pick Guatemala. Okay, they come from Guatemala and. Like,
that's one of your favorite countries.
I actually love
use
Guatemala.
it often.
Yeah, I know. Because I like Guatemala. It's fun. And when you go there, and they come here, right? And so, like, 9 of these people don't have measles.
Yeah.
All right. And let's say there's another 10 people from Mexico and another 10 people from Cuba or whatever. And so, yeah, like 30, 40 people in this group. They get here. Only one guy's got measles, right? Now,
I get how it spreads.
And so then they're in this closed facility. Now, all of those people get measles, right? Okay. Yeah. And then a guard gets measles, and now it's out of it. Right, and so because they have not eliminated it in Guatemala, right? Then it's going like it puts everybody at risk, and it's because they're immigrants, and it's like not like a race thing. It's like just like a damn, this sucks for you kind of thing, and I'd rather not suck for me kind of thing. Like we just have to look at facts.
Well, it's not because they're immigrants; because they don't have a measles vaccine, right?
Or the healthcare they're eliminating.
They not have a measles vaccine.
No. Well, with this hypothetical that he's
they just not. They don't have widespread health care.
Now, obviously there are some people in Mexico, right? At least 10 people in Mexico that have a measles vaccine, I'm sure. And so, like, what I'm saying is, like, I agree that is one way that it could spread, is that a bunch of people with no vaccines could come over and then it would contract and spread. I'm just saying it doesn't seem to. It wasn't happening before, right? There weren't like groups before, but now, as of lately, there are a bunch of like homeschool moms who aren't vaccinated.
But the point of the government is to stop those people from catching it here.
So like if I agree with you, I can see how it could spread one way. You can understand how it could also spread the other way, where like the same group of people could come without vaccines, right? But then could catch the measles within America. So it's not their fault that they have the measles and the spread. I'm just
I also want to say I pulled up some because I was curious like where specifically this happened, and you know what, I'm going to say Gibbs is somewhat right, but in the wrong way. He is right that this happened at a detention facility. One of the huge issues that happened is there was not a strong amount of record keeping about who was in the facilities and what their vaccination systems were, and that ICE wasn't complying with city or state directives about vaccination.
Well, that's my problem right there. That's my whole point. Is these people don't have the record. We don't have the records. They don't know.
Well, hold on. Before
No. It's not that the illegal immigrants didn't have records.
Sure, I mean the record keeping overall is a problem. Whether it's ICE, whether it's them, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Like, why is that a crazy concept? We need better record keeping.
I fully agree that we need better record keeping, but like, I think my issue is that very often ICE detention. Or sorry, are you pointing to someone else, Prime? Do you want someone else to go?
No. You finish your point, then I'm gonna. I gotta.
Sure, I do think that there is this emphasis on dehumanizing people in these facilities, while recognizing that like maybe dehumanizing people by just like not allowing them vaccinations or determining like giving them looking into their medical records or allowing them doctors like actually does affect the rest of us. That's all I'll say.
So,
I'll pass it off.
I want to say, hold on. I want to get some other people in. And I'm going to go to Lactoid, but just before I do, I'm just going to say something very quickly. Yeah. So just a single Google search, right? Virtually all countries, nearly 190 of the 194 World Health Organization member states include measles containing vaccines like MCV in their national immunization programs, with the majority utilizing the combined MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine to meet this goal. 2 doses of the vaccines are recommended globally, with 96 to 97% effectiveness against measles. And then it goes on to say that like by 2023, 190 countries, 98% had introduced a second dose of measles vaccines into their immunization schedules, indicating widespread use of a combined approach similar to MMR. We use in this country, like this is like standard across the board. So even when it comes to measles, the problem is like, and like even Gibbs said so, like during his initial statement, is that like, yeah, when you put them into detention facilities,
Facilities, yeah.
right? Then they're stuck, right? And disease spreads, period, right? Like if you take a group of born Americans, right? Take a group of Texans, right? All legal born natural born Texans, and put them in a facility right together, right? With those conditions, disease is going to spread. That is just inherent into the process. So
That
like
part.
instead of like just saying migrants are diseased, right? Or they're bringing in the diseases that they're actually mostly vaccinated against, right? Let's talk about like what we're actually doing to facilitate the spread of disease.
But this is dishonest too. Hold on. All right. So I specifically brought up Guatemala and Mexico for a reason, real quick, and I'm gonna make this quick. They both have massive measles outbreaks, and guess why they have them? You know why they have them? Because they also had it
They're
eliminated.
poor.
No, because they had in Guatemala had several giant international gatherings with countries in Africa specifically that brought measles to them, and then they did not have the ready healthcare systems in Guatemala to re-eradicate measles. And now since it's spread in there and spread in Mexico, like okay, now we have these outbreaks, and so when they're coming here specifically from those two countries, because the current outbreaks, they are going to be the cause of measles coming to America. Now I agree, we have these dumbass soccer moms that don't want to get their kids vaccinated. However, I get told by the liberals and all the lefties all the time, the job of the government is to protect us from ourselves and our idiotic members of society, right? So this is a case where I'm sorry, it's time to put these people in, like stop them from coming in, and let's get them back out as quick as possible whenever they have a chance of bringing measles. And also, shame on ICE for not having your paperwork done right, and shame on them for not having paperwork done right either. It's bad all around.
True centrist.
I am
Let's go
curious.
let's go to lactoid.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry.
Yeah, a couple things. So I've been looking through the CDC website. The CDC is identifying that most of measles is there to a lesser degree comes from immigrants, but the biggest vector for measles is unvaccinated international travelers who then go out into areas with measles and then come back into the U.S. That's the number one vector. But I think it's interesting
Which
how
I
we're
just said.
talking about how bad measles is, and this is a topic that comes up frequently when we're talking about RFK. But when you look at the total numbers, yeah, there's a big jump. In 2024, there was like just under 300 cases, and then in 2025, we have 2,000 cases. 2026, 1,800 cases. So there was, it's up, which is bad. But the other thing that's up is tuberculosis, which has far more cases than measles, like significantly more cases than measles. 2023, 9,615 tuberculosis cases in 2023. This is a 16% increase over 2022, which was 8,320, which is itself a 22% increase over 2021, which is 7,874 cases.
Is there a tuberculosis vaccine or treatment?
No.
Actually, I'm not sure. Okay.
There's
There
really
is-
not.
Well, no,
There is a tuberculosis vaccine that's useful for children, but it tends to lose efficaciousness
true.
for adults. So adults really can't protect themselves from tuberculosis in the way that you could for measles. I agree.
There
that-
are effective treatments, though. It's not
There
not a
there
totally
are
untreatable.
treatments. There are treatments that you can, but it's not curable.
There are many things that are not- herpes is not curable. That doesn't mean herpes is like a big deal.
well, I think herpes is a big deal.
But in what way? Depending
there
on which
was, like,
one,
massive
HSV1 or
out-
HSV2.
Like
I know
so,
what herpes- it's a
outside
pretty
of
big
social
issue.
Like
stigma,
70% of like the United States population has HSV1.
outside of
Right.
social stigma.
Yeah,
what's
I
the-
think it
what's-
depends on
what's
what
the
kind of
actual-
herpes.
No, no.
Nobody's
so
talking
hold
about
on.
the mouth ulcers. They're talking about
Hold on.
like,
Yeah. I think that it is a big deal. I think that if we were in a country where like over 70% of all the HSV cases were coming from foreign-born individuals, this would be a matter of concern. Given the effects of the virus, I agree that it's sort of ubiquitous.
For
What effect?
social reasons. That's
What
what I'm saying.
effect?
There's
Well,
a social
it's
stigma
not
around
just
the
it's not just
spores
for
and so on and
social
so forth.
reasons. It's
Okay.
so I don't have it, just to be clear, but it is incredibly
Well, actually,
uncomfortable
you don't
to
know
have.
for sure that you don't have it, actually.
I guess I don't know for sure, but it's incredibly uncomfortable to have. It can be a vector for many other diseases. HIV, which we're going to go back to in a second, has a very strong co-vector with HSV because it creates open sores that can lead you to be susceptible to other diseases. It can,
Sure.
especially later on, when you become immunocompromised for any other reason, it can cause a whole bunch of issues. But here's the thing. HSV, I agree, is more ubiquitous, but that's less of a big deal than tuberculosis. Tuberculosis can be fatal.
Wait, what's your?
Like,
I don't know what your.
It's got a relatively high fatality rate.
Are you saying we're not focused? Why are we focusing on measles when we are?
No, no.
we are-
What I'm saying is that when it comes time to talk about illnesses, which is fine, I think
Uh-huh.
it's fair to look at measles and say, look, you have an increase in measles. But I also think it's fair because when I brought up tuberculosis before, someone said, well, is that really that big of a deal? It's only like 10,000 cases in the U.S. a year, which is true, but it's increasing. Okay, and 10,000 is much larger than the 2,000 measles cases. And tuberculosis is a
well,
worse disease to get.
Yeah,
Well,
but
wait, no,
the
you're not,
issue is that it's
you are not factoring also transmissibility. Which one is way more transmissible?
Measles,
what's
for sure.
What's the R naught of measles versus tuberculosis? Even though tuberculosis is considered highly infectious, but nowhere even in the ballpark, okay, to measles.
also
I
the
agree.
curability. I think is something. It's the reason
I
why
agree,
we're talking
measles.
about it as
And
a
how many-
political
how
issue.
many
But
deaths?
measles also is much less fatal, like per case.
I
right?
understand, but it's so. I mean, we
You
have a
also
measles
cure it, you
vaccine
can
that
get
is
over it.
being-
It just spreads so rapidly.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm
the
not.
reason
I'm not
why-
opposed to the. I'm not opposed to the measles vaccine. I think it's
I know,
fine.
but
I know,
like,
but
but
I
I-
know,
but-
but there's a reason we're talking about this in a political panel and not tuberculosis, and that's because measles is a political issue, and tuberculosis might be less so because it seems like there's political motivations that prevent people from taking vaccines and
yeah,
spreading
yeah.
the disease. That's all.
It might be less so, but it is, and it's more relevant to this conversation about talking about the spread of disease from migrants. Because with measles,
okay.
it's mostly U.S. citizens that are going out and getting sick from countries with measles and then coming back. That's most of the cases. I agree. There is a second group is immigrants. They're coming in. But when it comes to tuberculosis, 3 out of 4 of them are foreign-born. The vast majority of people coming into this country with tuberculosis are people who are foreign-born.
Is
And we were talking about
tuberculosis like
much
an
more
unknown
cases.
disease?
No,
Like,
it
you don't
wiped.
know
It
someone
was
has tuberculosis when someone
No, it's
comes.
one of the most
like,
devastating
when
diseases
it's in its
alive.
latent phase. When it's in its latent
I'm
phase,
thinking coughing. That's what I'm
right.
thinking.
When it's in its
Yeah.
latent phase, there's not any like very visible symptoms. But my understanding is it still can spread. It's just much harder to spread than if it's during its active phase. And people will phase in and out of latent and active phases throughout the rest of their life. You can treat it during the active phase with a very expensive and long durations of antibiotics. You can treat it and push it into a remission, into a latent phase, but you're dealing with that for the rest of your life. And if you don't deal with it, if you don't get treatment, it has an incredibly high fatality rate. You cough up blood until you die. This was one of the major killers in Europe in the Middle Ages.
Yes,
I guess. And by the way, I use tuberculosis. I'm harping on it now because I think it is an important example. But that was one, like I just use that as one example. Illegal immigration is just a vector from disease across the board. There has been research on the last pandemic where there was a correlation. I agree. I can't prove causation, but there was a correlation between illegal immigration rates and pandemic new contacts, new cases. I can post that in a second too. I mean,
You actually made
you're
me
gonna
switch sides now. Actually, Lactoid, with your
I think
last
it's fair
comment,
for-
By the way, I feel like we should do now. We should let all the immigrants in. We should all get sick as fuck, and then the survivors survive, and that's the best. I think that's that's
see.
why,
This is why you're a centrist.
That's
Like I make a
that's why
compelling
the
point, and
Spanish
then
were
you
able to fuck them
gotta.
up in
Gibbs is just a
Mexico.
viltrum.
gotta
I'm just
push back.
saying. I think maybe I was looking at this wrong. We should
Yeah,
do
fair
that.
enough.
Let's just let them all in now. I think that's fine.
Fair enough. Well, one last point, because I want to respond to the HIV comment that was made in response to my opening. The HIV, a couple things. The first thing is HIV is overwhelmingly within the gay community because you're right. The vast majority of spread is through sexual contact. The vast majority of that sexual contact being receptive anal intercourse or insertive anal, much more so than insertive. But if we're talking about between 1980, 2 or 3, when shit really started going down, and the thousands and thousands of deaths started coming in, and I think it was 1988 when you see them confirm like salivas actually has like compounds in it that make it very difficult for the virus to spread. I can absolutely understand during this time period people being terrified of gay people. To me, it makes perfect sense. You have a virus here that is overwhelmingly concentrated within the gay community. We don't know for sure how it spreads. They're saying, hey, it seems to be very concentrated based on these particular activities. But, I don't know that for sure. You do have like rare cases of it being spread through, like if one person's bleeding at their mouth, other person's bleeding in their mouth. Yeah, like you have rare cases like that are going to like become myth and be talked about and kind of spread amongst people like that. I don't know. I don't. When we're talking the first couple of years, or really the first like 5 years, I don't blame people for a lot of the reaction they had to the HIV pandemic.
I
that was
Loki, I agree with you. Like I agree. Well, it kind of depends on what specifically you're advocating for when it comes to being scared of gay people.
homophobia. Yeah, I'm kidding. Go
Yeah.
ahead. You're on OxyContin. I didn't want to be too
Yeah.
deadpan.
Okay.
Got you.
I hear you on the early 1980s. I do think that the homophobia persisted for quite some time and also was exacerbated through political officials who were homophobic and used this as a convenient excuse. And we can hold both those things in our hands at the same time.
You can, but I still think this is going to open up a whole new can of worms, so we don't have to go here. But I think the HIV is currently there's a current criticism you can levy against the gay community because of this virus, and the fact that it's persisted for so long and it's so heavily concentrated based on certain behaviors that this group consistently does when it comes to sexual intercourse.
Yeah.
And the mass amount of sexual partners they have.
This is another example of like hiding behind your descriptions. I don't know what you're advocating for here. If you want to say gay people should probably learn safer sex,
yes. Flood condom, make it rain condoms.
I'm with you, of course. Yeah, that's your whole prescription. Then yeah, duh. But if the whole prescription is, those fucking, I'm gonna stop myself before I TOS myself. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so
it really depends on what we're talking about here.
And
Sorry,
here's where I disagree, right? Like, so it makes sense that if you're talking about from like a purely animalistic perspective, then yeah, you should be afraid of the unknown. Okay, great, whatever, right? It's not useful for a society building though. So in society building, how should officials actually react to this? How should they address these situations? They should, one, like, don't do what Reagan did, right? Pretend it's not happening, right? And then just like let the vacuum be filled with all kinds of nonsense, right? Even when there were more medical discoveries being made about the situation, right? Like, don't do that. But also, like, understand that, hey, like, marginalizing communities will only create violence and fear and panic, right? That's like literally unwarranted. We can say, hey, like, and deliver a message to the community. We are seeing this brand new virus, right? I'm in the 80s now. We're seeing this brand new virus. We don't exactly know how it's being spread. It seems like it's something of concern. It's happening within these communities. What we're going to do is we're going to unleash our medical community, right? We're going to unleash the American innovation, right? We're going to do the thing that we do best, and to figure out what's going on, right? And we will be in constant contact with you to understand that. Until that happens, everyone, please be safe, right? Like, here's like whatever, I don't know what the
protocols,
practices they were spreading, at the time, right? Like in terms of like dealing with AIDS, right? There, I don't, or if this like social distancing was a thing. I don't know what there was, but let's just pretend, like, like, hey, wash your hands, like thoroughly, or what the fuck they were saying, right? Like, follow these procedures, and there's no reason to be afraid of your fellow friends, but we should all be cautious, right? We'll get through this together as Americans. That's a choice you could make, right? But we didn't make that choice. Instead, we spread crazy rumors about that was never actually corrected for so many people, right? Like I think Corey said, people still believe all kinds of crazy nonsense about the gay community, about AIDS, even to this day, because of that community, that confusion, and that lack of information. So actually, it matters. Like our friend Hunter was saying, right? This is a political,
but hold on,
matter. Like how we deal with it. Diseases are just a thing that happens.
Demonizing the group.
But that's the problem.
Doesn't help. So when COVID was around, so like imagine AIDS comes about while we had Trump as president, right? And we have the AIDS, and then he goes, and the gay virus is taking over America. And it's like, listen, you can't just call it the gay virus, right? Because now we're just gonna sit here and look at gay people as diseased, right? And it's not gay people as a whole.
Well, actually, it already does. So
Yeah, I get it. Right?
No, and it seems like Trump did it with like glee almost. Like he was
Well,
like,
right,
and
yeah,
we
well,
can
so-
call
so
it the
Chinese, yeah,
the
he's like, the
Wuhan
Chinese
virus.
the Wuhan virus. Well, came from China.
virus.
I'm
it's
pretty
like-
sure that was because he was blaming China for it.
I
which
understand he's blaming
there's a
China,
fair
but when the president,
case to blame China
of the
for it.
United,
Blame
when the
China, but,
president
like,
of the
come
United
on.
States says
The Kung
shit like
flu.
that, the citizens are gonna react in a certain way, right? And since well, if the president's calling it that, I fucking look at the Chinese people. They brought this fucking
NPCs,
virus.
yeah.
Like, it's just how it works.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is a problem though with what y'all are doing. Yeah, although I agree, right, coming out here and calling something like I don't know, the gay virus, that would maybe be demonized. It would be bad. I think
Yeah.
maybe it's a little different when I say China, because I specifically see it like as a good sometimes. If like say China fucked up with their shit and then it came over here, you assign blame to something. Maybe that's xenophobic, whatever. But like I think that we need to call a spade a spade. And here's the problem, right? So at the same hand, what we've seen right here is kind of like a double like talking out of both sides of the mouth. And I don't even think it's purposeful. But like, let's just say what if Reagan had done this and said that and gone, hey, I'm actually going to give the gay community all this stuff. I'm going to help them. We're going to identify that it's this is the problem it's having with AIDS, right? Or let's just say like, oh, okay, I'm personally identifying Guatemala and Mexico right now having outbreaks due to their own issues with immigration, right? And so now maybe let's identify these countries. And say, okay, we're going to specialize policy regarding those two countries. Now, what people are going to say is, oh, you're being racist or xenophobic towards those countries when really I'm just going, look, I don't want this to be permanent. Let's just figure out what's going on, stop it from coming here until it's fixed, and then move on. Versus same thing with the gay stuff. If they had gone back in the day and been like, all right, we're going to help them out, people on the left or people that would have been opposing to that would have been like, oh no, you're just singling them out the gays for this special treatment because you either hate. Like no matter what you do, if you single out the issue, you're going to get called racist. If you like say a broad take and say, okay, well all of y'all, all groups from Latin America aren't getting in because we don't want to seem like we're picking on somebody. Oh, that's racist. So it's like there's no winning whenever you're in a situation like this. So all Trump has done is gone, I'm just going to embrace being my side's guy, and you're like unfairly blaming him in this kind of case.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
it's not-
I agree.
it's
I
not
agree with
blaming
Gibbs.
him.
I
It's not
think
blaming him.
Let me
no,
just see the super
I
chat.
think
I'll
call
go straight to you, lad, to it. I'm just going to
Okay.
get the super chat straight to you, friend. Don't worry, Gibbs. Of my listening library, YouTube says for $5. My religious family and their churches are working to make it illegal for vaccines to be standard, so we can all get sick. Shout out to your
Yes.
fam doing God's work, of course. But thank you for my listening library for being so kind for $5 super chat. Consider super chatting. We'll discuss your account as well. All right, go ahead, Lecture. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, I think that I actually agree with Gibbs. I think that calling it the China virus was accurate. This virus came from China. In large part, its spread was due to the incompetence and authoritarian nature of the government of the People's Republic of China, where they hid information early on. And that gave the virus an opportunity to proliferate around the world, to something that to this day, the Chinese government heavily censors and denies, and they make up shit about how the virus came from other countries and how it's their fault, not ours. No, it is like China's fault. The government, it is the China virus. I think that's fair. I think that, and yeah, I mean, for like, do I think it's productive or would I call it the gay virus? Probably not. But at the same time, like if somebody were to make the very valid point of, hey, HIV is overwhelmingly, not like just marginally, overwhelmingly present within men who have sex with men, specifically in this way. It is overwhelmingly due to this behavior. And also, we notice these massive vectors of disease in these gay bathhouses that are all over San Francisco and other places in America. And one of the things that's denounced as homophobic is shutting down the health department coming in and shutting down these bathhouses, which are vectors of HIV, and that's being called a homophobic response. Yeah, look, maybe the homophobia was bad if we're talking about not the correct amount of resources going into searching for research on HIV and its cure or whatever. But shutting down gay bathhouses was the correct move. Like absolutely, shut down the places where these men are coming together and having a bunch of unprotected sex, despite the fact they're being told that this spreads this disease that will kill you, and there's a pandemic across America, and this is happening across America, killing thousands upon thousands of people. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Shut
but
down
then
the
but then
bathhouses.
there's all the like propaganda and the rumors that come around it, and then the way that you're addressing it, right? When you have your authority figures addressing pandemics in certain manners that demonize the groups of people rather than demonizing the disease, right? Rather than targeting it in a responsible manner, right? You're gonna have you have the authority figure irresponsibly handling this. How do you think the citizens are going to react? In the same way that like if you have like a school, right? We're all free speech and yada yada yada, but there's like a reason why you don't want teachers just going around dropping hard R's and F bombs all over the school, because then the students are going to have to they need a character to look up to, right? They need a person to be like, well, this is if my authority figure isn't using this, man, I shouldn't use this language in this manner. So like when you have the president, or when you have like the government kind of attacking groups of people by demonizing the people rather than demonizing the disease and attacking and uniting people, you're going to end up.
Hold on. You can demonize the disease while also criticizing the vectors and source of that disease. You can say like, yes, this disease is awful.
The source of disease does nothing.
No. I want to give you.
I disagree. I disagree because it gives I disagree because it gives political will and political mandate to accomplish certain things that would be otherwise impossible.
You just want to shame people politically.
Hold on, Gibbs, please.
That's what it is.
Yeah. If you point out HIV is spread almost entirely through gay sex, and here we are in the 80s, and there is these gay bathhouses in San Francisco that are being traced as vectors of disease because these men are getting together and having gay sex within these bathhouses. Where's the political will in San Francisco, by the way? Where's the political will to shut these down if you're not going to criticize the behavior? If you're not going to say this behavior is a problem, the fact that people are going and doing this shit is a problem, we have to stop this. I think it's also fair to criticize China when we're talking about the origin of COVID-19. And by the way, a lot of people were doing this when it came to blaming the unvaccinated for measles, for example. Yeah, so you're perfectly comfortable you're perfectly comfortable demonizing people who are not getting the vaccine for the spread of measles. Why can't I demonize people having unprotected gay sex when it comes to the spread of HIV?
Because it doesn't affect you, right? Because you're not going to get HIV since you're not having the unprotected gay sex. So demonizing the people does nothing to the spread of it outside you don't know what I do. Of the people that it affects. Well, outside of the group of people it affects, right?
You know some weird shit. That we know.
You're probably on plus.
Yeah, but he's pretty anti-sex. Yeah. Unless he's pro-gay sex. Actually, it doesn't sound like
you can be an asexual and gay, right? You can have the attraction, but not the sexual.
It's possible.
But Ali, let me give a better. But hold on.
No, there's a difference between attacking the group of people, which does.
Yeah, but I'm vaccinated for measles. I'm also not going to get measles.
But hold on. This is the problem with what you're saying, Ali. This is the bigger problem with what you're saying. Hold on. I just want to give you this example. This is the problem because no matter the solution, you get fucked, right? All right, let's just see. I'm gonna use Guatemala again. Let's say measles mutates, right, and becomes like suddenly 20 times more effective and way more deadly, and the incubation time is way lower, right? So all of it, they're having a giant fucking outbreak. Millions are dying. Okay, now we're going, and something in their culture or something in their government, whatever. Let's say their government fails, right? Because there's millions of people died, and now they have pockets of civil war or something. And now, we're seeing they're clearly in distress as a country. And I go, all right, we need to stop immigration from Guatemala, targeted right now specifically. And as an American that cares about what's happening on my continent, I think we should go in there and conquer them because their government's failed and they're spreading all these refugees. Hold on, hear me out. I'm going to bring them down and give them health care and stop this problems that are helping because it's become so bad that it's affecting us here and everywhere in the world that could fall because this new measles, right? And I say this, and now what's going to happen is you're going to go, warmonger first. Okay, that's fine. But let's just say this pure hypothetical. That's the only way you can do it. But then you're going to go, oh, well, this is racist. Why would you go in there? Are you saying they can't run their government? Well, clearly they didn't. It failed. Or now I know it actually hasn't, but it's hypothetical. And I go, oh, well, their government failed. We should go in there and fix it. Well, it's failed. You're racist. Oh, okay. Well, for doing that. Oh, okay. Well, something's stopping it and spreading. Well, how dare you say someone from Guatemala might have measles? That's like racist of you to assume. No, bro, they had millions dying right in this scenario. And I'm like, okay. So no matter what situation I give you where it's like, we're doing this to help them overall. Right? It'd be, oh, it's racist. Oh, we're doing this to stop it. It's racist. Oh, there's no winning.
So the issue is if there's a new strain of measles coming out of Guatemala, we can go ahead.
Or any disease
no immigration from Guatemala, sure, but then there's going to be Guatemalans that go to other countries and other people that come to us. Like this doesn't really stop the spread of measles. This doesn't address the concern, right? Which is kind of like what Prime's point is. It's like, yeah, we can look at like Wuhan and be like, well, call it the China virus, but we're not going to block people specifically that come from China
or stop people.
listen, I'm just saying, blocking people that come from Guatemala doesn't really address the issue, right? Because it can spread from Guatemala out and then still in from other countries, from other people, from tourists that are coming in, from Americans that are going to Mexico, so on, is like whatever it is. So like, yeah, we can say no people from Guatemala are coming in.
Say we stop saying tourists.
But the issue doesn't stop there, which is Corey's point. Which is Corey's point is like, yeah, you're like, what's the prescription here other than like stopping immigration as a whole?
Well,
that's really what the end game is like, you can't really single out these certain countries because
this is an argument against it. Yes, this is This is an argument against immigration from a range of countries, because you're right, disease spreads everywhere, but it spreads more in certain places than other places. You're going to have more people be more vulnerable to diseases in a third world country, and if they come over here, they're more likely to be a vector. And the idea of disease mitigation is to minimize the amount of vectors you have in your country. So yeah, is it possible that somebody from Denmark is going to come into America with tuberculosis and spread it? It's possible, but how likely is it compared to someone from Ghana?
Well, I don't know. Dutch ship going to South America for what's called, dude.
And the disease spread because from Chile.
From where? So it's from Chile. Okay.
Yeah, because apparently the hantavirus has like it's in Asia. It only spreads through rat feces, but in America there's the general one only spreads through rat feces. But apparently there's a variant, especially in South America, that can spread person to person, and that's what we're.
So the Americas,
the Andes variant.
Yeah,
South America specifically.
Yeah. So Lactoid identifies that like, hey, like we should blame China because a infectious disease spread from there, and they didn't take proper actions, and then they lied about it. Well, that's happened before, right? That would be the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu didn't come from Spain, came from Kansas. Right. The Spanish flu appeared near the end of World War I, and like it spread. Like it started, it appears in Kansas. It spread around the world, and soon it landed in Spain. But because World War I was happening, like the different countries, like the countries that were actually involved in the fighting, they suppressed the news. They actively suppressed the news. Spain was a neutral country. Right, Spain was like it was just like reporting everything as usual, right? And everyone else was looking into Spain, and they're watching the reports coming out. They're like talking about the many people are being infected and died. It was awful, right? And it's like, oh, I guess that's the Spanish flu, even though their countries were doing the exact same thing, right? The U.S. did that. The U.S. did that, right? So we've seen this before. It's not helpful to call the Spanish flu. It's not helpful to say that at all, right? Like we live in a world. Yes, you can say, well, it's descriptive. It's really descriptive. Okay, great. But like, does it like increase like violence against these individuals, right? Like, is that what that does? Like, does this help us respond to the situation, right? Like, no. Like what it does is it increases, like you call it the China flu, right? They're going to be targeting Chinese individuals. That's what they're going to do, right? And systemically so. And we have, and because we have a history, right? And Lactoid doesn't like subscribe to this history because it involves racism and white people doing bad things, and then he excises that from his brain. But for everyone else, right? For everyone else, understand there's a history of fucking racism in his country, right? Specifically against our Chinese brothers and sisters. A long one here. Right? How will this actually play out? We can use our thinking caps here, those of us who pay attention to history, racial history, and then we can predict that if we call it the Chinese flu, hey, maybe we'll have an increase in violence against our Chinese brothers and sisters, even though they have done nothing. They have done nothing. They are not more likely to have had it at that point in time. Once it become when the pandemic is spreading, actually, right? Like. So maybe we make different choices. I don't know. Let's think about what public health might actually look like. Go ahead, sure.
Okay, so a couple things. If we're going to bring up race, the vast majority of the attacks on Asian people that occurred were by black individuals, not by white individuals during the whole Stop
Not
Asian
that it
Hate
matters.
thing.
I didn't say anything about that, but you
You
brought it
brought
up
up
anyway.
you brought up the white people and their hatred of their history. You brought that
No,
up.
I brought up.
Just want to point
What
out
you ignoring
historically.
that. No,
Hold on,
I know
hold on.
lag to it.
Please,
You
please,
didn't know.
please,
Lag to it.
please,
You were so
please.
off your own ass. You didn't want to listen.
No, you can respond.
Your habit. No. I brought up was your habit of like ignoring racism when it comes to when it comes in general, right? Like you ignore that. No one is saying that black people weren't attacking.
You specifically mentioned white.
Yes, I brought up white people. Yes, in terms of you.
Okay, so I can't bring up the fact that overwhelmingly it was black people that were attacking Asians.
Couldn't bring up, but
I just did, and then you cut me off.
Hide something. I didn't hide that.
Okay, I brought it up and you cut me off.
Okay.
This was the case. It was overwhelmingly black people that were attacking Asians during the whole Stop Asian Hate thing that was happening. Just as long as we're making that the racial thing clear. The second thing is, if the Spaniards within Spain, if there were cultural practices within Spain, let's assume the virus actually originated within Spain for a second. If the virus originated within Spain due to certain cultural practices practiced by Spaniards within Spain, and then the Spanish government, due to authoritarian tendencies, bungled the response and then lied to the international community as the Spanish flu spread, I think then the name Spanish flu would be much more apt as a criticism of Spain. That makes perfect sense to me. The reason why it's called the China virus is because the virus either was created in a lab, that's the minority theory, or was spread amongst the wet markets that were present within China, within Wuhan at the time, which is a cultural practice within China, which is a major vector of disease, and then spread across the world in part because the Chinese government bungled the initial response because they were more interested in censoring news about it to protect their own legitimacy, and then to this day deny the fact that they are the country that's responsible for
you don't think that because the government
for the Kung flu.
Hold on. A punishment for Spain? Like, what is this bullshit? Like, why you say stupid shit like that?
Identifying them as a state actor.
That's not a public health response, right? Like, we don't use this to as a geopolitical weapon to punish people. That's your first thought. Hey,
yes, you pressure them to change their practices. Ban wet markets.
And it didn't do anything for the Chinese.
They banned the wet markets.
The same thing, right? They're still doing the same thing. So, anyway,
hopefully to a lesser degree. We should pressure them more.
Calling it the fucking China virus, right? That had nothing to do with any of that, right? That was a massive global response, global health response, and a massive response that happened within China because it's not like China didn't do anything about it. I don't want to fucking defend the Chinese, right? In fact, China had one because
you're a communist hand washer.
They had the most severe crackdowns on COVID. We know this, right?
Yeah, eventually.
Okay. So once again, like. They were bolting people inside their homes.
Yes, eventually. I don't disagree. Once they fucked it up, once they fucked it up and spread it throughout the whole fucking world, yes, they did go into massive authoritarian mode and start bolting people into their houses. They did do that. Correct. That's not. There's criticism there for that. But I think it's perfectly fine to blame them as a geopolitical actor for their actions. And I also think it's fine to pressure them as a geopolitical actor to crack down on the practices that spread diseases like COVID-19.
Blame them. Hold on. You can do both of these things, right? You can blame them if indeed it came from them. And it probably did, right? I'm more Wuhan of virology.
It came from China.
Myself. Oh, yeah. But the point is, agreed.
They don't say it does, but it did.
Agreed. So you can blame them for that. Fair enough, right? But also have an accurate public health response, right? And so, like, doing that would take into account, hey, how do people actually react, right? Are they going to be thinking on a geopolitical level? Oh, yes, what we're doing here is we're putting pressure on China. Or are they going to attack Chinese people? Which one is more likely, huh? Explain that to me. Which one of those is more likely?
How likely was it that Chinese people were getting attacked in the streets in America due to this? How many people?
There was an increase in attacks against
China. From what to what?
From 1 to 2, what difference does it make?
1 to
Like,
2.
they-
Like,
they-
what the
like-
fuck?
From, yeah, from 1 to 2, I think insulting the
No.
Chinese government,
So
but from the president calling it the China virus is more than fine.
How many Chinese people is acceptable to attack, right? Like
There's some number.
right? How many?
Yeah,
is
there's some-
acceptable.
Yeah,
to
what's
do
the
that, right?
number?
Rather than just
12?
calling it a different name.
12,
How many-
15,
how many-
20, 100.
Chinese people got it fucked up, maybe even die, right? And then it's like, oh, it's too much, right?
Well,
Now-
no, I don't
that's
think anybody.
what
I don't
you
think
want
anybody
to do.
died. Did anybody?
Okay.
I don't think anybody
I
died.
don't know. I'm saying like the people getting attacked and fucked up.
How
Like,
many Chinese
actually,
stores
they
need
might
to be
have-
attacked? How
Yeah,
many
there was,
Chinese
like, old
stores
people
need to
who-
be
who
attacked?
died, I think.
Chinese
Yeah,
private
if
property.
we saw like mass rioting or whatever causing millions of
Afterwards.
dollars,
One
And then-
building.
and
if
afterwards
we
you'd have to
if we
change it?
saw like millions of dollars of like riots and destruction, then I would put more pressure on the president to tone back, like calling it the
Okay,
China
now how
virus.
many,
Because
now how many
Yeah,
attacks
because-
on people?
hold on,
Millions in property,
hold
how many
on,
attacks on people?
hold
You were
on.
quick with an
Because
answer on
hold
the
on,
buildings.
hold on. I'm finishing my answer. I'm not done yet. Because obviously then Americans are too fucking stupid to see what's happening there, and I would agree. Like, okay, yeah, like the rate here is unacceptably high. What was your next question?
Well, what
After
about the
the
numbers of
damage is
people? Like, how
done.
many people being attacked does the number have to be for you to be like, oh, this was bad?
I mean, we're talking in the thousands. There have to be in the thousands.
Thousands.
Okay,
Yeah.
what
There's
about
only
what
hundreds
about
of dead
wait,
Chinese
wait,
or
wait.
attacked
You'd have to see
Chinese.
What
massacres
if-
Call the
on
what
the
if-
street.
Call-
let me
Wait,
clarify, let me-
can I point out one thing?
Sure.
Would you agree that any criticism of China from a U.S. president could lead to increased attacks on Asian people?
No, I agree that how you do the
on.
criticism matters more than any criticism.
If you let's say you have Trump going up there and ranting against China. China's a bad geopolitical actor. They're bad. They do all this bad stuff. They're genociding people. They're doing horrible shit. Do you think this might lead to increased attacks on Asian people?
Yes.
Do you think that you
Um,
calling the Gazan thing a genocide has led to increased attacks on Jewish people in America?
Me specifically, but
No, no,
Not
no,
you
no,
specifically.
No, no, but
I'll engage.
the overall.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. So I guess the president shouldn't go out and say there's a genocide happening in Gaza, because we can't pressure geopolitical actors if it comes at the expense of people attacking people in our country.
Come on.
I mean, that's your limit.
So, like, a disease spread is different from like an active attack,
aggression,
right?
yeah.
An active like war. They're active belligerents, right?
I think
Like,
more people died
Chinese
in the
people aren't
pandemic.
belligerents. Carrying a weapon into our country. We can understand that. We can understand that a public health response, right, might be different.
No, you're missing the point.
From war. No, there is a point here because
No,
actually
you're
these two
missing it.
things are
You're
different.
missing my
We're
point.
do-
You're
we're
missing my.
talking about- I know. I
No,
get
no,
your
no, no,
point.
no.
I get your
No,
point.
it's the
There's
same.
there's
Because
no
I'm talking about a
increase one way
criticism
or
of
the other.
I'm talking
Yes,
about
I
a
get you.
criticism of a geopolitical actor for whatever reason. You're criticizing a geopolitical actor, and you're pointing out, hey, this geopolitical actor is bad. They did a bad thing, and then we're seeing a corresponding increase in the amount of hate crimes. We have seen an increase in the amount of attacks on Jewish people in America as a response to the rhetoric that's being talked about
Actually,
during the Gazan
we
war, right?
both agreed.
Yeah, so
Tom,
the
we
president
both
should have better
agreed. I
rhetoric,
said
right?
at the start, right? Hey, I agree. You can pressure a geopolitical actors. That's not a bad thing in of itself. Correct? I already said that. Okay, great. So we can move past that part.
I didn't think you said
like,
that, but okay.
Well, hold on. Maybe you didn't hear me. No, that's
Maybe I didn't hear you.
You didn't hear me.
Maybe I didn't hear you.
Yes, but I did say at the start. I said
You
but
said I was
you
using it
both.
as a geopolitical weapon, and you criticized that.
Yeah. So I said, but you can do both, right? I said like you can use it. You can pressure the other countries because you should have pressured China and have an accurate public health response. I did say that, but
Sure.
maybe you didn't hear it. That's fine.
Yes, we should have an accurate public health response, and also call it the China virus
Well, that
as a dig to the Chinese
But that's
government.
not- that's a
and what
bad-
they
but that's
did.
not the- But that's not
Wait, so-
okay.
So does the
rhetoric?
rhetoric matter or not,
Alright.
Lactoid? Because you use
Fine.
the rhetoric as a point of like, oh, so the president shouldn't call it a genocide. So you do
No.
agree that the rhetoric of the president
No, his
does
point,
matter, right? So maybe he shouldn't go on and say Israel's committing a genocide full-fledged, but to address something with a
Here's
with better
what I'll
rhetoric
say.
and to criticize in a proper manner is probably the way a president should handle it, right or wrong?
Hold on. Let's assume for a second, because I don't. We've argued this. We debated this. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think this is the case. But let's assume for a second that I believed that what was happening in Gaza was a genocide. Let's assume for a second that I believe this. Then I would have the same prescription. If I would say we should say it, but there is a number of Jewish people attacked in America that during with like hate crimes and shit, where I would say, oh shit, maybe we should stop that rhetoric. Like people just aren't taking it the right way. They're blaming all Jews for it. Obviously, Americans aren't
Okay.
smart enough to handle this kind of rhetoric. I think the same thing when it comes to the China virus shit. I'm just not convinced that there was like a sufficient number of attacks that we have to like censor what I think is a very valid point, which is fuck the Chinese government.
I don't think that point was made when he said the Chinese virus. I don't think that
He's
was
acting
the
like
point
it
that
was
was
some sort
drawn.
of secret that like it came from China, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, people didn't know until the
It's a
president
secret to the
called it
Chinese.
China virus. It was, yeah, sure. It was never a secret to the world. We all knew, right? It was all traced. All of that was like well known, right? And then the rest of us were just calling it COVID-19 or like, you know, it went through a few names. Well, actually, maybe whatever. But like,
It was
the point is like,
for a bit.
yeah,
COVID.
yeah, right. We called it. We assigned it a name, and we went on with that, right? Like we had it from the start. It's not like we were like trying to think of this, right? Like, oh, what could it be? At
Yeah, it was
first,
wet markets from the
newspapers were saying,
beginning.
hey, this is a coronavirus, right? The 2019 coronavirus, and then we went from there. He then changes the name. He like assigns it afterwards, right? And starts calling it the China virus, right? So he specifically does this
For
rather than just
geopolitical
having
reasons.
Yeah, no, hold on. But maybe we shouldn't apply that to public health. That's what I'm saying. You can do both. You can do both, right? It's not like
Yeah, you can do both.
So we had no other vectors to pressure China, right? It was only call it the China virus, right? Or nothing. I guess the Chinese were just going to do a willy-nilly shit, and there's no say that the world community had them.
No, this is ridiculous. We do this all the time when it comes to any kind of fuck up of a country that we have a negative opinion of. We call it the China virus. You guys call it Israel genocide. A lot of people in America call it the Russian war of aggression.
Wait, so-
right? Like
so-
obviously you're going to use politically charged
if they called
language
it the
in order to
American
attack
flu-
your geopolitical. Yeah, if
So if they
we had a
called it the
flu that
American
originated in
flu-
America, then
Well,
yeah, people,
according to
our
Prime,
enemies are going to
Spanish
call
flu-
it the American.
According to Prime, the flu that came from originated in Kansas and then spread out to but then you
Wait,
said,
what?
well, the way they were, according to Prime, Spanish flu was originated in Kansas. I don't know. That's
No,
if
I don't know. I don't think we know. I don't think we.
Did
No,
you
I
say
don't
that
think we know.
originated
Yeah,
in
we did.
Kansas or something?
I don't know. I don't
Sorry?
think we know where it came from. I don't think it came from
In
Kansas.
1918, epidemic influenza, also known as the grip, appeared in Kansas, United States, during the spring, and then early reports from Spain appeared in 21st May. Reports from both places called it the 3-day fever.
Yeah, this
It-
this is one report. There's another report in the UK that in 1916 that it was hit by something that they thought was the Spanish flu.
Yeah,
And
there
you
was a lot
scroll
of
down, and then there's
confusion,
there's an idea from China. Like we don't know exactly where it come from. I agree, the Spaniards got the blame, probably unfairly.
Yeah, hold on, but we're talking
Wait,
about we're talking about the outbreak, right? And that outbreak that started those reports like if it started in 1916, but the main if sorry, hold on, this is 19
Yeah, there was a
um,
1916 outbreak in camp in a UK troop staging camp in France in Atoplis. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing the fuck out of that. I can't speak French. And so that and it was all over all the troops because war is a breeding ground for disease. Obviously, it was all over the place in Europe. And yeah,
in 1918 sorry, this is the 1918-1920 flu epidemic, right? So also known as the Great Influenza Epidemic, or by the misleading name Spanish flu, was an exceptionally deadly global influenza pandemic caused by the H1N1 subtype of the influenza A virus. The earliest probable cases were documented in March 1918 in Haskell County, Kansas, United States, with further cases recorded in France, Germany, and the United Kingdom in April.
Yeah, I'm reading right here. Maybe we're reading different things, but I'm reading right here that there were cases in 1916.
But
And
that's
of
not
course,
so they're talking about that. I know, but it's not like
they're calling it outbreaks of
the-
the Spanish flu.
yeah, not in 19 because that came out later.
No, in 1916.
like-
Because remember, we're talking. So there were some reports of outbreaks that were happening, but when a country's at war, you're going to have more wartime censorship of the front than you're going to have potentially in a peacetime country. This is why there was a major outbreak in Spain, and they were so critical of it in Spain, right? But it was happening before then, or there was, again, it's contested exactly where it came from, but there were reports of it happening in 1916 in Europe.
But then when we're talking about the Spanish flu, we're talking about a period, an outbreak, right? So it was 1918 to 1920. That's the flu epidemic that we're referring to. Spanish flu, right? Isn't like they're talking about this particular epidemic, right? Like it's not like you get you
This
get the
strain of
Spanish flu now,
influenza.
right? You can get the same virus. We don't call it the Spanish flu. You get influenza. But we're talking about the Spanish flu. This was what they were talking about, the great influenza
strain.
epidemic.
No, the Spanish flu is not just influenza. It's a specific kind of influenza. It is a different disease. It's not just your regular flu. So like it is a different kind of disease, and there's reports of it hitting. It's closer to H1N1. I'm pretty sure it is like a
It's H1,
cousin
I
of
said
H1N1.
I said I said that.
Right, which is not the flu.
Influenza A virus.
Right, but it's not the flu. It's like different. It is a different.
It's
thing than the
influenza.
flu.
It's the influenza.
Okay, but H1N1 is not the same
Influenza
thing as
after the
influenza.
pandemic.
Yes, I understand. It's an
H1N1
H1.
subtype of the influenza A virus. H1N1 is a subtype. I'm looking at the Wikipedia.
And subtypes matter a lot.
But hold on, you're saying it's not the flu, though. You're saying it's not influenza. It is influenza.
I'm saying it's not just like an influenza. I'm saying it's an H1N1 subtype, which is incredibly important because COVID is also like, I'm pretty sure, a subvariant of some other disease as well, the coronavirus subtypes. And it is H1N1 is a specific subtype that is different. There's a reason like it was so devastating. And yes, there's reports of it being in Europe at the front in 1916. Again, if you can prove to me, which the evidence appears to be that we don't exactly know where it came from, but if it was like in America, some Americans in Kansas had like very bad, like unhealthy cultural practices that like led to the proliferation, the cause and proliferation of the what we call the Spanish flu, the H1N1 outbreak, and then it spread around the whole world. And some people were like, and then the American government was being shitty about it and like denying it and like was bad about it at the beginning. I think people calling it the American flu wouldn't be too unheard of. That would make sense. I think the Spaniards probably got unfairly categorized with it because I'm not seeing any evidence that it originated there or was due to any kind of unhealthy practices from the Spaniards. But in China, it originated in the wet markets where they're eating bats.
Sure. Okay. So we agree that it didn't appear in Spain, right? Sorry, first, right? That's.
I agree with that.
Whether okay, whether it's Kansas or whatever, right?
Spanish flu is probably inaccurate. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So, like, when do you think that? Okay, let me ask you this. The last question, and then like I want other people to jump in. Hunter's seeing colors right now. We gotta like pull him in. So.
He's feeling good.
He's feeling good.
Do you think
He's like, whoa, these guys are debating.
So last question. Last question for me. Do you think that public health, like a public health response, as a distinct set of practices, right? That deserves their own consideration, separate from political considerations, or do you think those two things are? Or sorry, because I don't even believe that necessarily, right? Because I think everything's political myself.
Yes.
But do you think that? Okay, let's try it this way: that a public health directive should like have a priority that influences the political, right? We're having a public health emergency, right? Mm-hmm. Political things are happening. There's a political response to these things, but we should consider, right, what is good for the public through a public health response. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. If not, I can try again.
I mean, I sort of, if your question is like, should we, with there's an emergency, should we like focus like our main priority be like addressing the medical emergency, and then political things come separately? I guess my prescription there would be like we can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. I don't think Trump calling it the China virus did anything to reduce our ability to deal with it. I'm not aware of any funding getting cut or any kind of like policies being changed in America because what we called it the China virus, because Trump called it the China virus. My understanding is that it probably led to some political alignment against the country of China most of all. I think a lot of Americans blame China for that. I certainly did at the time.
Let's bring in other people. Okay, I'll just leave it there for now. Let's bring in other people. Hunter and Gibbs. So Hunter, I'll start with you, friend. Okay. Well, first of all, do you have any thoughts on what was said? If not, then I'll ask you a question.
Not necessarily. I honestly think that you guys agree on the foundations a lot more than it sounded like. But also, yeah, I
That's
will
what I
be
heard
honest,
between the
I am
shouting.
numb
I heard
all
agreement
over.
of the foundation.
I'm
Yeah,
listening.
I don't know how exactly, but
I apologize. Let's listen to Gibbs for a sec. I'm gonna chime in.
Oh,
I'm locked in.
My turn.
oh,
We need
it's
a
fine.
centrist take.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, but y'all both okay. I agree that maybe Americans had some racism in the past. Maybe a lot of countries had some racism here and there at points in the history, right? And I'm gonna say something might be crazy, but sometimes it's good to have a foe, right? And one thing we can all do as Americans, as countrymen, and as world people, humans in general, there's one thing that combines everybody, and that's hate. And so like if I bring all together and we all instead of the black people and the white people hate each other and the browns hate we all just hate China, all of a sudden America's unified, and that's a good thing. And I guess is what Trump is trying to do, is trying to unify us against like a foreign foe, because that works in history over and over and over again.
Canada makes deals with China and EVs.
Listen.
As other Southeast Asian countries unify with China.
Well, hold on. Canada's got all this wrong. I'm not saying this was the right thing to do, the right call, but I can understand any politician left or right picking an external foe and trying to use them for something, especially when it is China, because fuck China, they are our foe, and we need to fucking stand up to them in general. So everything bad China is good for America, right? I now, whether or not the policies Corey's talking about anything, now I understand why Trump is doing that. However, I have an issue though, because what I'm proposing, let's just say Grant Prime the premise that that was racist and he did it just to be racist. Okay, I don't give a shit. I'm not saying that Prime's saying that, but let's just say that's what they did. That's what the Spanish would do. I don't care. Okay, I'm saying if most people, and if I put forth a program saying let's pick any country, Ghana, or it could be Rwanda, it could be whatever country is having some sort of outbreak, and I say, I want to put some kind of limitations on travel to that country, whether it's tourism, whether I want to make sure that everybody that comes from, I don't know, the new Rwanda, since we're new Rwanda privates out there, maybe we fucking, and make sure that everybody comes here, has to do a blood test. I don't really give a shit what those things are. I don't think it should be immediate racist or immediate everybody go, oh, if you implement this policy, but it doesn't matter what I implement this policy, because every time to implement a policy that deals with directly a situation on the ground in this kind of situation, people are going, hey, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you're racist. So if you don't do anything, racist, evil white man. If you do something, racist, evil white man. And that's really the problem. So why, what are we supposed to do here? And what is the solution? Because even when you try to do the right thing, you're still fucking used as a scapegoat because, by the people that are in opposition to it right now, on the left, specifically, mainly on the left here, because it doesn't matter, because this is a situation where people are coming from the outside and bringing stuff in, so I think that it's time for the left to take accountability about them doing this, so we can actually have a real convo about how to handle this. Because if every solution is racist, I guess we're all racist. Then you got me. Oh no!
yeah. What a great take, right? It turns out everything's racist.
Blacktoid, I assume you don't agree
I might as well
with
just
Gibbs,
be
right?
racist. Sure.
So where am I wrong? What do you say?
No, everything isn't racist.
Okay.
Right? A lot of the things you support might be racist, but that's up to you, right? But not everything is racist. This is
I'm an anti-racist.
I'm anti-racist.
People say I guess everything I do is racist.
That's what it comes off as when it comes to immigration policy. If I want to say we go here and say this country's having a virus outbreak and I want to slow immigration, or I want to fucking have you test, the immediate response is that's racism. No, it's not.
Usually how it's justified, it appears, I'm not saying that actually is, but sometimes there's the optics of racism. We saw this play out with the H-1B visas. Elon Musk went against the right. He was because a lot of the right seem to be using racist arguments to not be in favor of H-1B visas, because it seems like pretty much for a significant proportion of the American population, they are anti-immigration for to preserve their white ethnicity.
That's a crazy thing. This is the problem with that, right? I would say most people are not anti-immigration because of that. That is a talking point that people use over and over. Hold on. I would say most
back against the H-1B visa was not a thing.
No, that happened. No, that happened. But what I'm saying is y'all, they're doing, you're doing is kind of like.
I think even like Vivek Ramaswamy is
No,
like
no.
now disavowed because like he
He's
was
not
also
disavowed.
advocating
He
for-
still has a massive following, and he's still got like a ton of people within the Republican. No, the issue is there's a lot of issues with the H-1Bs. Okay,
Corey, you're right.
I'm saying that okay, y'all are pointing to people that have said something, and they go, yeah, because they have a political movement.
I'm also
Okay,
right
that's
about your
cool.
mustache.
They're somehow everybody, right? We're gonna say that magnifies everybody when it's much closer. Most people go, let's just have a common sense policy. But anytime there's one person that says, oh, that common sense policy in a racist way, they're like, oh, they all it's got to go completely because Lord and John the racist said it in one way that sounds bad. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Is this really convincing to your audience? It is crazy how little.
no, I don't know if it's crazy to my audience. I'll tell you what's crazy to my audience that like y'all are sitting here like just trying to say that this doesn't happen. And they're just like blatantly trying to go, oh well, because Vivek
Okay, well,
said something.
Gibbs,
They're
I'll
all
extend an
racist.
olive.
Like,
I'll extend an olive branch. I will admit that does happen. That happens on the left. Would you agree then there are a significant portion of people on the right that are actually racist and they do want to pretty much preserve?
yeah,
their-
I'm sure there's a portion. Maybe
Wait,
let's say like 5, 7,
when
8,
you say
10%,
significant
I don't know.
portion, when
Like,
you say significant portion, what are you talking about?
I'm sure there's
I
millions
would
of
say
Americans,
probably,
a
if I'm
percentage of us that are
ballparking-
probably racist. Yeah, sure. I'll say that.
Probably.
Hold on, I want to hear the ballpark.
So if we're taking, let's say, the MAGA population, maybe about a third to 40% of that.
You think 40% of the MAGA people
40%,
are
bro?
racist?
Around
I think
there.
40% of Republicans in general are racist. What we just
Well,
MAGA?
no, I'm like parsing.
40 is
I'm
me
being
being
pretty
nice.
carefully of like MAGA. I'm specifically specifying
Well,
MAGA
bigoted,
Republicans and like
bigoted,
a third
not
of MAGA
racist.
Republicans.
Guys, there's no way we're gonna be able to figure out like that percentage, right? If we're just gonna start throwing around numbers, Lactoid's gonna get offended for the honor of the
Well,
white
'cause he's a
people,
MAGA
right?
Republican.
And
I'm
we'll
very
have to go
offended.
back and say, like,
Can I say one thing?
He is.
No.
Wait, can I say something in response to Corey?
Sure. Then I have a
So,
super
so
chat.
fair enough, Corey. I mean, part of the problem is, and I think maybe what Gibbs is trying to hint at is, it could be that under your definition of racist, that 40% of the MAGA base is racist. But who is or what is racism or who is racist?
You, Matt Walsh documentary. What is a racist? Yes,
it's fundamentally going to be like a subjective, I guess. Like, oh, you meet this threshold of internal internal preference or whatever the fuck. But I'll say this: if we measure racism by preference for one's own race, white people are the least racist race in America by far.
That is not what I'm
even
saying at all.
close.
Okay, what I'm saying is that it's very simple.
That's what I'm saying.
I understand that, but what you were like trying to translate for me. Let me just try a different crack at this because I feel like Hunter over here is acting like I'm not saying anything, which is really scary to me. I'm saying here it's very simple. If there's a policy, okay, let's just correct Corey. Let's say 40% of all Americans, not red,
I didn't say all American.
Oh, okay. Well, they didn't. Okay. I'll try to give you more for the sake of the argument.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would not want to go that
let's
far.
just say 40% of all Americans are racist. All right. So that's
Just say it.
60% are.
Corey,
okay?
say it.
Whatever number you want of people are racist. All right. Like that's just that percentage. Okay. And as long as it's not a majority. So I'm sitting here going, okay. Now let's just say a policy is presented that handles the situation, whatever country it may be, whatever the situation, but it's country specific, and that's going to help solve the problem. Well, the minute that solution's offered up, at least a couple of people that agree with this are going to go, well, also, since we're racist in their heads, and we're going to figure, and we like this because we're racist, and it affects a group that we are racist towards, we're going to try to sell it to our people as racist. And they're going to say it, and all of a sudden, now because they've sold their little racist version of the policy that's actually neutral, the people that are against this go, oh, see, because it serves their agenda in some capacity. That means it's got no merit. It's completely racist. And the person that came up with it is also racist, even though it might be a completely objective fucking creation. And that's the issue. Because anytime Republicans do anything, they're, oh, here we go, boys. Y'all all them racist over there. They all can't think of nothing without hating insert X race here. And it's
Can you give
outrageous.
examples? Because I feel like the examples you're going to give are pretty racist.
Immigration.
Immigration, yeah, like right there.
Well, hold on.
Big one.
What are we talking about when it comes to immigration? Are we talking about ICE?
Illegal immigrants. Trump saying, "Hey, let's stop illegal immigration." People called him racist for that.
Yeah. See,
if I say
think-
illegal immigrants,
I think that you
you're not here
guys
for
are
it.
sort of whitewashing what he said. There's a lot, like for example, when he said that the Mexican judge with Mexican heritage can't rule on the border. I think a lot of people are like, that seems pretty damn racist. And the Trump supporters are like, yeah, but
There's
he's
more
You're saying the
Mexican.
Mexican judge
So,
with a Mexican heritage might have some kind of interest with the
The
Mexican government.
American judge.
Hold
with
up, hold up.
Mexican
And
heritage.
Trump pointed out in the same sentence, he's very proud of his Mexican heritage.
Oh
Pointing
no!
out, well, hold up,
Yeah.
pointing out the fact that he was a
Fuck
member
this.
of an organization called La Raza, which is a
Raza,
Mexican
that's a kind of a big
interest-
one right there.
it's a Mexican interest organization.
Viva La Raza, might have heard that term.
Of course, this person was politically biased. So they're part of this kind of organization.
Okay, but like,
hold on, wait a second.
isn't every
Let's-
judge going to be politically biased, and we have to put some faith?
Yeah,
in
they
your
can be part of
Yes,
the
and he's
Heritage
going to
Foundation.
attack
But hold on.
somebody who he sees as
Hold on,
biased,
hold on,
ruling against
What
him.
Hunter
Hold
said
on,
is interesting.
I-
You said
I wanna
if
get
everyone is
this-
biased, and then
No, no,
okay,
no, but he
but
didn't-
calling them out on their bias
not
isn't
racist.
racist. It's not racist to say that this guy is biased because X, Y, Z. That's not racist. If I said, "Hey, I like Mexicans because I'm Mexican," is that racist? When someone goes,
Here,
"Yes, like
here.
Mexicans,"
If I was part of a white
Like-
interest organization, like I don't know, the Klan or something, and I was a judge and I ruled
interest
like unfavorably to a black person, would we
Um,
be like, "Oh, this black person has
La
no
Raza
standing"?
is- La
No,
Raza
but
is
I
like
think
the
you could
Klan.
point.
A
You could
The
fucking
Klan is a hardcore
terrorist
example.
group.
I agree,
A terrorist group,
some
yeah.
different white interest
Not-
organization.
not a
I don't
terrorist
know.
group.
He
You
said
were- you
he
weren't
is.
trying to paint a picture of
you
the
had an
group
Antifa,
with
say you're an
Michael
Antifa
Mexican
judge and you
heritage.
rule
I
in
think
favor of
racial
Antifa
interest
guy, you know, like-
organizations are not too far
Everybody
off the
does
point,
that.
honestly.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
I think that you are miss.
The Klan just gets a bad rap because of what they did back in the day.
Let me get this.
It's bad shit. I agree.
Yeah. He's trying to bait me. Let's. I'm gonna
Little
get
bit.
Corey and I'm gonna get Hunter. Right. Let me get the super chat out. It says $20. Thank you so much for pondering politics. Ask
Oh,
Hunter
no.
and
Oh my
Gibbs
fuck!
if they
Josiah,
agree
get out of here.
The
Rise of Skywalker is ass.
Skywalker is the best Star Wars sequel, and also Lactoid. The glow up is real. Well done.
I didn't even have to
Um,
look at the fucking.
It's not even a glow up. I'm just
It's
wearing a
bad,
V-neck.
but it's
That's
not the
all.
worst sequel. I'll tell you which one is. It's fucking it's whatever Brian Johnson is.
Fucking,
Last Jedi.
The
No,
right,
that
Last
was the best
Jedi.
one.
That is by hands down
Episode
the
8
worst
was the
movie
best
of
one.
all time.
Was the of the neutral?
It's hands down
three.
the
right?
worst movie of all time.
That was the best one. Episode 8. Episode 9 was dog shit. Episode
Last
9 was
Jedi?
the worst one. Yeah.
Yeah, Last Jedi
Last
is.
Jedi was one of the
It
worst
goes
movies
The
I think.
Last Jedi. Then the was it what was episode 7 called? I forget.
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, thank you. Yeah, The Last Jedi, Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, right? Rise of Skywalker being at the bottom. Yes, Ryan Johnson's like masterpiece. Well, not masterpiece, wasn't a masterpiece.
No,
but
yes,
it was the best out of a shitty
Yeah,
bunch.
it was
Nope, it was.
agree.
It's a top 3 Star Wars movie of all time.
the Rise of the Last Jedi.
No, Last Jedi. Yeah,
Yeah,
Last
it's
Jedi.
it's by
I will stand
being
behind it till
awful.
the day I die. I
Oh
love
my
it.
God, it's such a
Okay.
bad
But
movie.
regardless,
I would rather
If
put my
any of
dick in a
them,
meat
I
grinder than
do
ever watch
think
that movie
this
again.
Rise of Skywalker is the worst movie I've ever been to. The
Rise of
theater.
Skywalker is bad though.
It was
Pretty
like I could not believe, and Josiah loves it so much. and
At
he-
least, well, I will say this for it. At
Every day.
least it feels like Star Wars.
it doesn't.
Hold on, I'll say that. Hold on, Josiah. Let me guess. If I
I
know.
no, I walked
Josiah,
away
you can
and I
throw
went,
this.
"Oh, I guess I hate Star Wars."
I can
Actually,
see why Josiah might like it because if you like the EU, it combines two really good storylines
No,
poorly.
he doesn't. He just likes Palpatine.
Oh, well,
He just
I
goes,
do
"That's
love
the greatest villain of all
I
time." I'm so
Palpatine
glad
is the
that he brought
greatest
it
villain of
back.
all time, but I
You
will.
see how much you derail the conversation
But
every
I'm
time you
just saying-
open your fucking
I'm
mouth.
just saying-
Josiah, get the fuck out of here.
I'm just saying it does try to combine Dark Empire and the Solo
Josiah's one of my
trilogy,
best friends, by the
Content
way.
talk.
but it just doesn't.
I'll
work.
defend Josiah.
I like
Yeah.
I like it
Justice
more than I
for
like
Josiah.
Last Jedi. I'll tell you that by a lot.
Josiah and his racist take about Skywalker.
Well, you know, John
right, Gibbs? That was
Borges.
your point, Gibbs,
John
right?
Borges said, "Hey, it's perfect scenario." John Borges says that the Rise of Skywalker is racist because they cut his stuff. That he
John
was-
who?
yeah, the guy that plays fucking
John Boyega.
Yeah, Boyega. There you go. His name, like butcher's his name.
Hold on, there actually is like racist
Yeah,
allegations.
yeah, they
against-
called because they said that when
Oh.
he came back, Ryan Johnson it gave him good
I
good
didn't know
lines in the Last Jedi, but in Rise of Skywalker he yelled some shit like, "Oh, they fly now," and it was because he was a black man. Yeah, and shit like that. Yeah, that was this is
Wow.
actually a true thing.
Boyega said that.
Yeah, Boyega says a bunch of shit.
I stopped watching when Leia flew. I thought the franchise was over.
Loki wasn't that bad.
That was the Rise
That
of
was
Sky. That was
pretty
that was the Last Jedi, by the way.
I know it was
Awful.
that part I don't stand by. I
Awful.
stand by Octu. I stand by everything that Luke does on Octu, and I stand by everything that Rey and Kylo go through with the Praetorian Guards. I think that shit is cinematic masterpiece.
With the
Yeah.
fucking weapons dropping through people and shit. Yeah, okay.
Hold on, weapons dropping through people.
There's it's one of the most quoted scenes of all time for like how not to do a fight scene because they literally have weapons disappear mid
You're
fight.
such a loser. You're
Yeah,
such a.
it's
Well,
awful.
technically, if you freeze frame at this very moment, you
No,
can
not
tell that
freezing.
the
It was
weapon-
it was
I didn't
obvious when I
fucking
watched it
notice.
the first
was
time.
like, this shit's
I was like,
broken.
where did that guy's sword go? Oh, how did he get
you
stabbed?
did
He
not.
I
No,
did.
you saw an
It-
analysis
It was
after the
really
fact
one
that
of
you
hands down one of the worst fight scenes I've
I
ever
knew
seen.
that I
It was
hated
it's one of the only Star Wars that
I knew
like
after
no
I saw the
lightsaber
woman
battles.
with green hair.
It was bad.
It was pretty good.
I actually liked her as an actor, but she had such a terrible plot writing for her. Why would you put? That's a good example. She's the one bright spot in the movie as a good character, and how terrible the movie is. She made a bad script with bad writing actually seem believable. Terrible. Thanks for proving your own point earlier wrong, by the way.
How is that my point?
Yeah, from about the good actors and shit roles. All the way back, Privacy, we circled back, and it's China's fault because they like that movie.
Thank you, Josiah, for derailing every single time I'm on a
Big
panel.
Pipe's
He
frozen.
comes in and he just goes, "Let's talk about my favorite."
Is it racist if
movie,
I don't like the racial composition of the Rings of Power?
The Rings of Power?
Oh yeah, that's another one because it's not true Tolkien's work. How about the new Helena Troy and Elliot
I don't know,
Page as
look, I don't know.
I've
Achilles?
heard the Helen of Troy.
Yeah,
See, and this is another reason why Fast and the Furious is the best franchise. No racism.
Oh.
No racism. All
Well,
family
it's all
cars,
vibes.
action.
Well-
So
power,
Prime-
best
well,
film
looks like-
ever.
Prime is, I think, glitched out. By the way, he's not moving.
Yeah.
Oh, he's very
I wonder.
focused.
I'm like, dude, I feel like he wants us to get back on.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
No,
it's being real
no,
quiet.
he's-
I think he
he's-
might still be here. audio-wise.
I'm.
Oh, okay, you're still here.
Hey,
Never
do you
mind.
I
guys
know
hear
how
me?
his camera works.
Yeah,
I
we
can
do.
hear you, but your
you're,
camera is
Am I,
fucked.
frozen.
am I glitching?
Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
camera's
my-
frozen. We
my-
can hear you though.
I was definitely like, oh, he hates us, and then
My
I
You just cut out though.
It's kind of fucked
Cut out
right
a
now.
little
But if you can
Yeah,
still
that's
hear
why
me,
Fast and the Furious is
Am
the
I
best
up-
franchise.
my audio from you is being fucked up right now.
no.
But
Oh,
episode
what do you
8
wanna
is
do?
the best
Maybe now he's
one. There really is no question about that of the new trilogy.
I agree.
Okay.
And it's
Okay, just
probably
keep
it's
going.
better than
Keep
4 for
going.
sure. We all
I'll-
agree.
I'll try to refocus. So
Genuine
Blackfoot.
opinion that I have is 8 is better than 4.
Nah, I would rather watch 4 a lot more. I've
That's a
watched.
genuine
Try,
opinion,
Corey.
and I love it.
I hate The Last Jedi so much. I honestly
Corey,
it,
for the
it-
love of God,
it really
recenter
almost
this
ruined
conversation. I'm
one of my
dying.
favorite things in the world for me because it was so
I
bad.
tried.
Like, bro, the hyperspace
fucking-
ram
What do we
alone,
think about trans
it's so
Achilles?
bad.
Go,
I have
Corey,
no
go.
problems with it.
Elliot Page,
Your
I got it.
opportunity
I
now.
Oh,
I have
dude.
problems with it. Go.
Do you really
Okay.
not have any
Now my
problems with
camera's
that?
messed up.
No, not
Huh?
really. Like
What if Achilles was in a wheelchair? Would that be not like
No,
no
that
problem
would
with
be problem.
that?
But I don't know. I don't know if it breaks.
Why?
I would.
version because
Wait.
Elliot Page
No,
looks
no.
like a
My
man.
answer would be I would trust Christopher Nolan to pull it off properly.
You would trust Christopher Nolan to pull off Achilles in a wheelchair? Okay.
Probably.
Hold
I
on,
would-
hold
okay.
on. Elliot
I'd-
Page doesn't necessarily look like a trans person. She or he
It's
looks like a
Elliot
man.
Page. They're just ugly. If we're gonna be for real.
I also know Ellen Page is
Rude.
a woman, so it's
Why is
like,
it
I don't
rude?
think it's that.
You're attacking.
Wait,
their
wait,
trans-
what'd you-
I'm
what'd you-
just
what'd you just
attacking
say,
the
Hunter?
fact that I don't think they're
Yeah,
attractive.
What'd you say?
I accidentally just
You're attacking
Oh,
their
Hunter,
trans-
what'd you just say? What'd you just say?
Hold on.
I'm using that tomorrow. I'm using that tomorrow. I'm gonna
Nice.
use it. You can't stop
Hell
me.
yeah.
I'm
Do
gonna.
it.
It's in my back pocket now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Conceded already.
All
We haven't
right.
even
No, but
started.
if I look at a picture of current day Elliot Page, I go, that's a man for sure.
Okay. So hold on. While we have a lull,
See
let me-
Achilles.
Let me
Yeah, definitely
let
not
me
Achilles.
do this. Well, we have a lull. Then we're gonna refocus onto the conversation, right? Like now that we've agreed, episode 8, best of the new trilogy. Let's let me get this plug out. I'm doing a plug, guys. I'm doing a plug. Okay, doing a plug.
Let's hear it.
All right, accept the
Do
plug.
it.
So for everyone, I'm just gonna like
Josiah's still
just
texting
gonna-
me about
I'm just
Star
gonna
Wars,
be-
by the way.
I'm just gonna
dorks.
Shut the
Um,
fuck up. I respond.
Hey everybody. Voting is happening and it's happening quite soon in a town near you, right? In case you it may have already happened, but I don't know. In case it hasn't happened in a town near you, it's going to happen soon, right? So consider checking your voter registration, right? Voter rolls are changing right now. I'm just going to read from the copy here. I'm just going to read it, right? So voter rolls are changing right now. People
Copy from who?
are being removed without realizing it. If you haven't checked your registration recently, don't assume you're still good to vote. It takes less than a minute to double check your status. Use the tool. I'm going to send you a link. Use this tool to make sure you're registered and ready before it's too late. Don't get caught off guard on election day. Check your registration today, then take 2 minutes to check for your friends and family. If someone you know isn't registered, give them a heads up, and you give the reason why they're able to vote, right? And
This is
I'm
just
still gonna
Sai is doing.
Don't be a pussy. Go register is way more effective. Prime.
Shout out to Ollie and Prime for not being the loser communists who don't
Don't
who are
vote.
anti-electoral.
It's
Yeah.
not worth it
Yeah. So
You're just gonna waste your
I'll
day.
put the link in.
unless you're in
So
Gibbs
this
chat.
is this should be in our combined chat, right? So like it show up in Gibbs's chat and Lactoid's chat as well. Lactoid joined the wasn't a loser and joined the stream together thing. I'm not sure.
Go rally. This is gonna harvest your data. I bet you shouldn't click on that.
Okay.
That's pretty
Well,
funny.
look, actually, well, you don't. One way out, you don't even have to, right? Like you can use the tool if you want. If you don't, that doesn't matter. Like the point is, like
The
to get
point
you
is
to vote.
vote.
Yeah,
Point
the
is
point is to vote.
register and
Like
vote.
yeah, like you don't have.
I'm
to,
definitely voting as a
um,
Canadian.
You don't have to
in
like
your
go
election,
through-
you
I
should.
bet you're
I'm
voting
voting
for the
10 times,
Democrats.
actually.
I bet you're voting for the
Absolutely.
Democrats every
True,
Of
time.
course
yes.
he is.
Wait,
I got my
you know-
money. I got my check. So
Are we changing the topic to voting now?
We're not changing the topic.
Oh, we're staying on Star Wars.
no,
Yeah,
staying
yeah,
on
this-
racism and how lactoids are racist.
So I've sent you this part of the was it at Dawn campaigns. So it is a sponsored post, sponsored to tell you to go vote, right? So it's sponsored hashtag. You should go vote, okay? But that's all it is, right? So
Good
you can vote,
cause, though.
there. But again, if you
Sponsored
don't
by
want to,
who?
that's fine. At Dawn
RT.
campaigns. So if you want to, you know, if you want to, like, check your voter registration anywhere else, like go to your state website, that's fine, right? In case you're not in our chats, right, our combined chats, if you want to go to your state or your local, I don't know where, actually I've never had to do this before. I think it's the state, right? Go to their website, check to make sure that you're still able to vote, right? Some people have been expunged from voter registrations. That's the thing that happens sometimes for whatever reason. Just make sure that doesn't happen to you, right? Make sure you're ready to go. Take the time. It doesn't take very long, right? Just like Google wherever state you're in, and your voter registration status. You can do it that way, right? Or you just click the link. There's a tool right there. Whatever you want to do. All right, we're done. Let's get
Everyone rank their
started.
favorite Star Warses. How do you guys feel about Rogue One?
I haven't
good.
watched any
Great.
Star Wars.
Great.
so-
Okay, well,
It's pretty damn good.
Rogue
huh?
One was
Pretty damn good.
Wow.
They're all
I
the
didn't
same
like
to
it
me.
so much at first. but I liked
Oh, what a fucking
it more
loser!
much later.
I've never
After-
watched them. I don't know.
after
So
watching
it's not
Andor,
all the
like,
same
much
to you.
better.
You haven't watched them.
I think the
Because-
prequel
they're all the
trilogy
same to me.
trilogy is underrated.
the Mall show is
100%.
outstanding, by the way.
Low
Highly
key.
recommend.
Episode
I've
I've
one
been
is-
watching some of that. I haven't
Oh.
finished it, but like
I'm not gonna give you no
it's been good.
spoilers. Fantastic ending, Pete Joe. Might be the best content since Andrew. Like,
I'd love to talk to you about it afterwards. Actually, yeah. Okay, so let's get back on track. All right. So we were talking, and again, thank you. Was it the Pondering Politics, Josiah? Right, or
Josiah.
real one?
Josiah's
a hot
a
20.
longtime friend.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hunter.
Josiah is the nicest person that I know that has the worst politics. He's like, there's the greatest divergence between who he is as a person and just the crazy shit he believes.
Is-
There's like the
he a
massive.
You know what? I think
No way,
me and
super
Josiah are
nice but
one-to-one
evil
on
politics in your
and I
mind.
think
That's
you
how
know
you
me
classify
better.
him.
So
He
why
also
wouldn't I
knows-
fit that.
You
Well,
accepted
you're not
money
one-to-one
from a
politics with
hand
Josiah.
washer, Prime?
Well, hold on, Lactoid. He
No.
does. Hold on.
You're more centrist.
He's very much
No, I'm
on
not.
brand, though. He's on
That's
very
an
much on
insult, for
brand.
sure.
He believed that Palpatine did nothing wrong because he was preparing for a threat and like needed to enforce his will upon the people, just
True.
whether or not they believe it. That's also what the Democrats believe.
The
So,
Rebel Alliance was going to steal the election with redistricting, so
Hey, okay. So,
AKA blowing up the Death Star.
Good God. But is Josiah a liberal? Is it,
Yeah.
Well, we
He's-
don't know what these
you know
words mean
Josiah.
anymore.
You don't know
You have-
Josiah?
You haven't
He's
seen
been on
you
your
haven't seen
panel.
the rhetoric?
Pondering politics. Josiah is a flaming liberal who openly, I think, has openly said that he's like, yeah, I'm partisan. I'm just going to support the Democrats.
He loves Joe Biden.
Well, is
He
that a
loves Joe
liberal?
Biden.
Is he a moderate or a centrist or what is that?
Well,
word?
here.
If you haven't seen the
Big
conversations
Joe Biden
lately-
fan. Big Joe Biden.
Well, is Joe
So-
Biden a centrist or a progressive?
He likes
He's
all
a
the
moderate.
progressive things about Joe Biden and then
Well,
just ignores
is-
all the
are
centrist
moderate
parts
and
about it.
centrist the same thing?
No. Moderate means that
What's the
you're
difference?
you're severely
This is a
partisan.
big conversation happening right now.
It is a big
especially
conversation right now, yeah.
Especially coming from Josiah, the live and
Centrist
learn
means that you're
space. Pisco and
nonpartisan, but
Hutch are at
moderate
war
means that you're-
over moderate versus centrist. Right. This is the big conversation right now. Is like,
Well, you know
what's a
without
moderate,
why.
what's a centrist, but what does it
Here,
matter?
I think a centrist, like a centrist Democrat, is more right wing than a moderate.
No,
Democrat.
centrist, not centrist Democrat. Right. Like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
a
but
centrist?
well, so
Wait,
this,
hold on. A pure centrist is, I think, somebody who's like right in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't think
the
anybody's
moderate-
like.
well,
the
this is
moderate of
this is
their
a combo.
party. Like Gibbs.
Yes, exactly.
This is a combo that's happening a lot lately. It's like because it's not just left right anymore, and I think this is kind of what you're getting at, Ollie, is that it's also like north south, right? Which is where it's like, okay, you have this populist aspect that's happening right now because sometimes America goes through these populist phases, and so like you're seeing this like classist upheaval, which is against like what they think is the status quo, and so the moderates would be your traditional like middle of the road leftist elites and liberals kind of thing, right? And a centrist would be like
they're more institutional.
yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, moderate would be that. And then the centrist would be like,
Yeah, moderates and institutional.
yeah, and the centrist would be like, oh, like the population, they have the middle of the road takes, but they're like the populace. Like they're
I
like,
watch like Tucker Carlson and Brianna Joy Gray, and they're like, hell
Sure.
yes.
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
They're
I'm sorry.
like,
I just I don't
fuck
want to be
them
distracted by
Jews.
this, but the problem is the term centrist is useless, right? Like what the definition that Lactoid gave, awful, right? Think about it. They're
Yeah,
right in the
idiot.
center. Center of exactly. Center of what? Right? Like
The Overton window.
The Overton window is a
That
constantly
shifts
shifting
left or
thing.
right.
Yeah, correct. Welcome to the way that we anyone.
But I think it does apply to what we're talking about, though.
How could that possibly be?
I think it
Hold on,
applies.
wait,
It's just a label.
Centrist shift as well. with
Yeah,
Overton
yes,
window
yeah,
shifts.
exactly. No, Hunter's 100% right. Like
Like,
when
what
we're
the
talking about the
fuck are we
Overton
talking
window,
about?
when we're talking about the Overton
Yes,
window,
they
we're
do.
talking. Yes, when we're talking about the Overton window, we're talking about whatever political medium we are in whatever given area. The Overton window is different in like Spain, and a centrist in Spain is probably gonna like be a.
Hey,
would be
don't
a
t-
left
don't- hey,
here.
About this?
hey,
Wait,
hey,
hold on.
Don't
Can I
tell
go on?
counterpoints that, because they'll call you an idiot if you don't give them the definition of conservative.
In a political context.
What about
right?
counterpoints?
I said that a conservative in Spain is going to be different than a conservative in America. He's
Wait,
like,
so-
don't give me a definition of a conservative. Define
Oh
conservative.
yeah, I don't agree with
Save
that.
that,
Yeah. Connor's got a weird take.
I was a joke.
Within the American political context, or the political context of maybe even your state or whatever, right? Within a political context, there is going to be an Overton window, right? Like which
We're talking about the American
entails
current
which
context.
entails okay, so we can choose America. So that means the collective political stances
Mhm.
of the of that
America.
group, right?
Yeah.
Of that group, and what is considered acceptable to like the mainstream, right?
Obviously,
That's
yeah.
the Overton window, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
shifts constantly. That's
Yes.
in constant flux. So there is
Correct.
no
Yeah.
center for a person to sit at.
No, you're saying that because there's a spectrum that you can't still look at it. Like you can't still.
It's an
pick a
ever-changing
median between
spectrum.
them.
I didn't say that. I didn't say you can't look at the spectrum.
Well, okay, I can find a center of that spectrum in the same way that I can look at the color spectrum and say there is a center to. I don't know what the
The
center
color
is.
spectrum
I don't
doesn't
know.
change. The
It's a,
color
yeah, it's a
spectrum
bad, it's a bad example. I knew he was going to
Oh,
respond
no,
to that.
sure.
He was going to say,
okay.
yeah.
Fine, but the Overton window is constantly shifting, but there's still going to be a center of it in the same way that the boundaries are also shifting.
Yes, but like I'm saying that in the individual who like perfectly
Yes.
sits in the center will require them to shift with.
I
the
agree with
Overton
you.
window.
I agree
If
with you.
they-
But
if they're
are
perpetually a
consistent
centrist.
if they're consistent about being
And
centrist,
they can't
if the
be.
centrist of today and the centrist of '90s have to have shifted their views, yes.
Yes. And by the way,
Obviously.
you
No,
can
no,
have,
no,
there's
no, no.
plenty of people who were centrist like 10 years ago and are now left wing, even if they didn't change their politics at all.
I'm saying it's not useful.
Then what would you suggest? Because wait, hold on. Wait, I want to do this. The issue that I have with having an objective standard for any sort of category or label is that you can look at it historically and you will realize that you've been descriptive the whole time. So I'm going to give an example. The way the left-right boundaries, where those actually originated, was in the French aristocracy, where the left was anti-monarchy and the right was pro-monarchy. So
Yeah,
if you're
in
like,
the
well, we just have
legislature,
to freeze them. Okay, well, it sounds like we're all left-wing. Every single
didn't say that
person
we
is
have to freeze them.
anti-aristocratic.
But why would I say you have to freeze them?
According
would I
to
say
Scott,
that?
I'm a
Is
communist.
that not what you're advocating for? What are you advocating
Why?
for? then?
No. Why would I
Communist
say you have to
socialist.
freeze
Then I'm
I'm saying
asking, I'm
it's
sorry.
constantly shifting. That's okay. The Overton window's constantly shifting, but to identify a person and say, well, they're definitely within the middle, right? In the middle of what, right?
They're in
the middle
centrist context to today.
Of the current Overton window.
of this current second.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
No, because that person exists, right? That like is perfectly. And what does it even mean to be?
It doesn't have to
perfectly
be
in the
So
middle,
perfect.
centrist
It's
doesn't
a
mean
vibe.
anything.
Have
So
an
centrist doesn't
equal
mean
level-
anything if it's
like,
always
no,
changing.
seriously.
No,
This
you
is
what?
always
What are you guys
changing
talking about?
in this
Does your age not mean anything because this is always changing?
Are you serious? Okay, listen, no, because
What?
age is
What?
age is a. Oh my god. Wait. Okay,
Why
so
would that
my
have to do
camera.
anything?
so like Tucker Carlson, right? Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
MAGA or not MAGA?
Not mega now.
right now.
Not MAGA now. He's a centrist now.
No,
No.
I would call
Populist
him
centrist. He's
conservative.
kind of hitting that middle of.
No,
middle-
he's
middle-
not-
middle-
he's not a
middle-
centrist at
middle-
all.
middle-
He's-
what
He's
going
just
for.
crazy.
He's
Is it
he's
populist
delusional.
Establishment conservative.
he's
Yeah.
he's a conservative for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
I'm
like, who's
agree with
a centrist right now? Like that we can
Bill Maher.
all
Bill
agree
Maher.
on.
I was actually gonna say I was literally
Bill Maher is a
Maher.
centrist?
Bill Maher is
Maybe,
a
yeah,
centri-
maybe-
is a-
may-
Bill Maher is a left-leaning centrist.
Yeah, Tim Pool would be a right leaning.
That's awful.
Yeah.
No, Tim Pool's pretty.
No,
Tim Pool's a
Tim
right-leaning
Pool was
centrist,
a
I agree
liberal
with
for a
that.
long time.
I
Yeah, he's
haven't
like a
heard
right
a lot
leaning.
of maybe, but Bill Maher's for sure a centrist. He's very. Would you consider him a Republican or a Democrat, Ali, or a left
I'd
or a right?
Consider
Sorry, I'll
him.
use those terms.
Oh
'Cause
my
I know
god!
you
I
hate
think
Republican
I
versus
understand.
Democrat.
I think I understand when Prime says liberal. I was gonna say I think he's a right-leaning Democrat. So I think he's a which I guess.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Bill
liberal.
Maher, by the way, Bill Maher is
Yeah,
not a
but-
centrist.
You
Bill
think
Maher
Bill
would be
Maher
a
is
liberal.
right-leaning overall?
Oh, hold on,
No,
Bill Maher.
right-leaning Democrat.
No, Bill Maher. Bill Maher.
in
yeah,
the context
yeah,
of
yeah,
But
yes,
hold on,
yes.
but hold on. Bill,
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Bill
yeah.
Maher. Bill Maher is not a centrist at all. He'd be the moderate because he represents the old liberals, like the old
But no, but
liberals.
it's contextual to the time.
Right? Yeah, but this is why I think it's
And
important.
they're
I don't
centrist
think-
now
I don't
because the
think-
party's
I
got
don't
so far
think-
left.
yes,
Well, hold on, but hold on. This
What-
is actually
what Prime
important.
was saying-
No, this is
wait,
hold on.
so
This is
what-
important, right? Because this is why I said Bill Maher. Bill Maher and Tim Pool are different examples, right? Tim Pool is a centrist because he's of the populace. He got rich doing what, skateboarding and shit. He's not like traditional old school,
No,
right?
not through
He's a man.
skateboarding.
He's a man of the people. I
Yeah,
agree.
he's tied. Yeah, but
He's
he's
a
like
media empire.
media. Okay,
Not
media.
skateboarding.
But well, skateboarding in the media. Yeah, he's a pro skateboarder. He literally took that and turned it into media.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he's good.
so right. Okay, here's my point. Is
His media empire did
That's
that.
not where he got
the
okay,
British
cool,
Empire.
cool. Okay,
Not
all right.
actually
not
What?
professional?
Yes, see, that's how he got his like leg into the empire he built. Right? Sure.
No, he
the-
didn't.
No, it
He
was Vice,
covering-
wasn't it?
yeah,
he was
because
literally covering
right. And why did he get that job? Did they find him from his pro skateboarding shit? Yes, they did. Okay,
And
cool.
where did
Did
they
they?
find me from? High school?
Bro, that's what he got. That's how I fucking knew of him before any of this shit.
for that.
What the fuck are we talking?
Hold on,
about?
hold on. Did you know of Tim Pool?
Yeah,
before
because
his
I watched.
politics?
I used to watch X Games and shit all the time.
You knew him
Okay,
from X
you
Games?
are the one person.
Yeah, he
You're the
was-
one person.
Bro,
on
do y'all
planet
not watch the
That's
X Games? Like, bro, like,
crazy.
oh my god, this is.
That's
ugly.
so
No one else
cool.
has this.
Y'all
No
don't
one
watch
else has
sports?
No,
Like,
that's unironically awesome.
Bro,
Like,
they-
I didn't
they
know there
also-
was
they
this.
used to
No,
do the-
I need to be
The
clear.
point-
Bro,
are
you know what?
the-
Bro, I'll tell you what's really cool. Wind sailing.
point
Check
I
that
was
shit
I
out.
didn't know that.
Wind
The
sailing's
point I
really
was
cool.
trying to make
Anyway,
in
the
that-
point. Oh, hold on. He's
Oh,
because he's
go
for the
ahead.
point. I want to get to the point. I'll try to get to you. The Bill Maher is an old school liberal, like elitist. He's like the
Yes.
moderate, like maybe lean right Democrat now because the Overton window has moved, but that's different than what
Yeah.
Tim Pool is because he's not coming from the established, right? So you're looking at this like difference. That's kind of what I'm trying to say is the difference here between like Tucker. I don't know what his background is, right? But he's like kind of like, you know,
He's been in
Fox
news
News.
for forever.
I would say he's like legacy
He used
media
to wear a
guy
bow
on the
tie a
out.
lot.
He would
Yeah,
probably
he's
be
on
like
Crossfire.
he would be
Yeah.
like a neocon, like without a home, but like you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying. Versus
Yeah.
like I don't know that there's a difference though. I think it's a class difference.
If
is
Bill
what he's saying.
Clinton had his policies from the 90s today, he would be a centrist.
No, he'd be a moderate. He'd be a moderate.
Okay,
No, Bill Clinton? He'd
Bro,
probably be closer
he's
to a centrist.
establishment too, though.
I think
You're so obsessed
Just
with
because you're
this.
establishment doesn't mean
You-
that like
You're
you-
obsessed
you-
with this ideology where we look at populism versus anti.
I'm not obsessed.
Right.
I'm just saying that's what I think it is right now. Like, but
No,
specifically,
no, I
with me.
think establishment and like being anti-establishment is not necessarily on the left and right. It's more on the up and down.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
understand
saying.
you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but I think that you are often discounting the severe ideological differences between the left and the right. Like you are not as compatible with the left as you think that you are, Gibbs. Fuck my camera.
Gibbs is a
I like when I-
centrist.
Bro, I'm
the
way
most
more
centrist of all
compatible
people.
with the left than all you think I am.
Well,
You
well,
you
like-
just have extremist views.
He dates lefty women.
He does
Me?
date lefty
No, no,
goth
he dates
women,
crazy.
goth-
Gibbs does.
women.
That's
What's
neither-
the difference?
True, true.
Thank you for
No,
setting
but
that one up.
I
for
don't.
me.
I don't know what Prime. If you could clarify like what you would, because I said you don't. I said I don't want to freeze them, or said I said I thought that you wanted to freeze them. You clarified that you didn't. What would you suggest when it comes to labeling left versus right?
No, we can label left and right.
What,
I don't
wait, say it
have
again,
to
like
do
with
it.
me on
No,
the
no, no,
left?
no. But how would we? What are the mechanisms
We can call them
that
left
we
and
use?
right. Sorry, that's fine.
No, but is it
But I'm like-
contextual to the time? Like, how do we anchor it?
Oh, I guess it could be contextual to the time and place. Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah,
then, what was your
that's
issue
fine.
with what me and Lactoid were saying?
Sure. Specifically, like finding a person, right?
There is
Saying
no
that this
centrist,
person
yeah.
right here, right,
Uh-huh.
is in the center. Specifically,
Well,
what
I said
left-
before- I know,
what's
I
so
said
funny,
before-
Wait, hold on. Anyway, hold on. What's so funny is that we actually couldn't find one because you would have to nail the median. We
Yeah.
found a centrist Democrat
Exactly.
and we found a centrist Republican. Well, sure, but
There's no
centrist is
pure
probably a
centrist.
little bit.
Exactly.
of
That's
a
what I'm saying.
range.
That was my point.
But
That was
I-
the
but
point.
I-
There's
hold
no
on,
centrist.
I
There's
even
only
said that- I even said
there's
that-
moderates and there's non-moderates.
You're gonna find.
There's no
You're gonna find
centrists.
flavors between the moderates. You're gonna find flavors between.
Yeah,
the
none of them are
socialists,
centrists.
Sorry.
Well,
go
No,
ahead.
no, no. They're all still like so. Okay, you don't have to be exactly centrist for us to call you like centrists.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree with that. Yeah.
Then what's the
Yeah,
difference
like-
between
like-
that and a moderate of that party?
No,
So
because
I
I
think a
I'm
mod-
not a centrist.
Yes, I think like a moderate is somebody who's like a little bit further down their respective wing,
Yes,
but like not so far as to be an extremist.
and it's a
How-
vibe. It's
Yeah.
a vibe. We got to
It's
feel
a
this
vibe.
out.
Yeah,
Every
I don't
liberal
think you're
is
ever going to
going
find a
into
pure
this-
centrist.
A moderate,
besides
a moderate
Gibbs.
is someone. A moderate is someone who is far on their party, but not extreme, so they're not moderate.
No, they're
No,
certainly
no,
they've established
further than a
themselves like
centrist.
they're center of their party. That's a moderate.
Okay, so what's a normal? Okay, so from what I'm hearing, it goes center, right, which is no one can be. Then there's the centrist of your party,
Oh, sure.
right?
Mhm.
Then there's
No,
the
no, 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 no,
moderate,
no, not centrist of our party. Centrist
Yeah.
of America.
center left. There's going to be center left or
Yeah,
center
you
right.
can be
There's
center
gonna be
left,
no
center
true
right.
center.
Yep,
Okay.
yep,
But
yep,
if we
yep,
call
yep.
that centrist
And then,
of their
and then there's going to be a moderate of your
Moderates.
yes,
party, right? And then after
Extremists.
that is what the
Extremists.
liberal of your party, because
the
like,
extremists.
I would say the extremists. Yeah.
Yeah.
the extremists.
And if you don't
Yeah.
like that, you usually you call them the leftists. Right?
Radical.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
And
maybe
then
it's a
how
better
different?
word.
How different are the moderates
Socialist.
from the centrists?
Like
How,
Lactoid.
how
much
different
do you
am I
differ
from Bill Maher?
How different are you from Bill Maher? I don't know.
Fuck you. Very.
I'm
He's,
actually
well,
asking
he's got a
you.
lot more money.
Yeah, like I'm actually asking you where
I-
the
I
differences
genuinely
are.
no. Come on.
I just like Hunter's Paul.
You-
I think he's much better than Bill Maher. Bill Maher is like
Bill Maher's
I
great.
don't know Bill Maher's politics. That's what I'm saying. I only know
Oh,
Bill Maher
oh,
from
yeah,
like
he's a-
7 years ago.
He
Right.
screams. He's like, I love being a Democrat. I love taxation, but this fucking trans shit, we got to cut this shit out. Okay, like we got to stop talking about them going to the bathrooms. We got to go back to common sense. We got to be realistic about this kind
He'll
of stuff.
attack bureaucry.
That's
like in
very
California.
anti-democratic.
And
Or
he's,
sorry,
and he's
not
borderline
capital D.
anti-vaccine.
That's
It's
very
a little bit questionable.
anti-capital D democratic.
Yeah, he absolutely is an example of like, because the Democratic wing has shifted very far left. And
He smokes
really the
pot all the
Republicans-
time, though. He's like
he smokes a lot of
very-
pot, yeah.
Yeah. he's
But I mean,
very
but that's been
left.
that's been like a left kind of left
No, exactly.
wing
He's
thing
a-
for a
he's
long
a-
time now.
He's a Democrat of a previous era,
He's a-
and
he's
now
a
he looks
liberal-
like a
100%.
centrist.
He has
Yeah.
some
100%,
libertarian
100%.
views, specifically when it
True.
talks about him. But like he's like more concerned about like should we actually be attacking the rich or taxing the rich? He's a rich fuck himself.
Yeah.
Um,
Hold on. I know why you guys are gonna hate him. He is very critical of people who are pro Gaza.
Yeah, he's deeply
Yeah,
Zionist.
he's a
That's
shill,
what
that
I'm saying.
makes sense,
Deeply Zionist. And genocidally so. So fuck him. But in any case, and
Bill
so
Maher, if you're
what I would
watching
say is
this,
that
I don't say
wouldn't-
fuck you. I like you, Bill
I
Maher. You
would-
should have me on your show.
I think you're-
that's fine.
I
I would
could
say
probably.
Hunter.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Hunter is a much better person. So I would never equate him
Thank
to that,
you.
and I mean that sincerely.
I appreciate that. I do, and I would definitely. I look at Bill Maher's views. I mean, repulsively. I look at Fox News repulsively. I understand that he's more reasonable than fucking Tucker Carlson, but yeah,
He's just a relic of the past.
I
Like,
dislike him quite a bit.
at a point in time.
He's been
because
sued like 3 times by Trump.
Yes. Because
And then he
Trump
started
is,
gargling
Trump is
on
an
his balls.
orangutan, or as
No,
relative.
he does not.
exactly.
He does not like Trump. He still does not.
No, he does. He was just praising him to John Fetterman, right? They were just talking about how, like, yeah, there's a. You can
No,
find
he
the
will.
clip.
He will. Hold on. He will speak honestly. He'll give like some credit where it's due,
Oh,
and he will meet
honestly,
with the
yeah,
guy.
like,
No,
but he will.
He
he
was
won't
being
vote for
honest,
him.
saying like, yeah,
Right.
I met with him, and Donald Trump didn't spit in my face.
Hold on.
Actually,
I'm
And so
almost
He's
maybe
positive
that's
Bill
his
consistently
job.
donated to like Kamala
Voting for
Harris,
him
like
and
$1 million.
normalizing him
Oh,
are
Kamala
two
Joe
Harris.
Biden.
Of course,
Yeah,
he's a
that shows a
centrist.
lot.
He's a centrist. No one's saying that he's going to be. Yeah, of course he's going to normalize Trump to
So
some
centrist
degree
is a
as a
pejorative
centrist.
then.
I'll use it pejoratively, of course.
Okay.
I'll use Republican as a pejorative.
I'm just trying to keep up with. I'm just trying to keep up with the. With
Just
the
like you
I
guys
said
use liberal as a
centrist was
pejorative,
pejorative.
right?
Exactly.
Don't-
Yeah. All
you guys
labels
use
that
it-
are away from
It's
us
just-
are going to
they're
be a pejorative
disgusting.
label.
Yeah. But okay. So,
And I use anything left of Pinochet as a
Jesus
denigrating
Christ.
label.
And where are you as a socialist?
Okay, sorry. That fucked me up a bit. Let's go to all right. All right, let's try to recenter this. All right. I got a title here. Cruise ship full
Recenter
of
on the
plague.
centrist
the
conversation.
They should
plague.
have bombed the cruise ship. I don't know why we let it dock. I don't know why we let this thing get off. It has nothing to do with immigrants or migrants or whatever.
No,
the
they're
fuck
in
it is.
quarantine.
Like,
They were
if
let
there's-
off
if
to
there's
quarantine.
a new virus, I'm being like a little bit frilled. Don't bomb the cruise ship, but you don't fucking let the people leave the cruise ship. You send
No,
doctors onto the cruise ship. You keep them on there for 6 months. You keep them floating around in the water for 6 months until the shit's gone, until the shit's off the fucking cruise. Then you let the people dock, and then we can let the people, and then you still monitor them for another 6 months. I do think that's a little bit, especially after what happened with COVID. Like I said, I didn't personally take COVID that seriously. Not saying it was responsible. I was very irresponsible, but a lot of people were irresponsible. And I think that when you see a new virus kind of
Would
popping
you
up,
feel, out of
that-
curiosity,
Couldn't this
Oliver,
encourage hate towards cruise ship riders?
would you feel guilty if it was
It should.
if
It
it was
should.
traced
I
to you that
endorse
like
that.
you spread the disease and caused a death?
if I found that out, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Because honestly, like, it could have been any disease that was spread that caused it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but like, let's
I don't
say
know how, like,
retrospectively, like an analysis came out, whatever. We spend, public funds to do some research on you and contact tracing you, and like you were able to establish with high confidence, like, you contributed to spread, and like there's like one death.
you would have
associated
to
with-
prove to me that in the places where I contributed spread that other people also weren't doing it, right? It would be a weird
Come
thing.
on.
In the places I was going, it seemed that everyone was consensually going, right? If you weren't wearing a mask, this was your consensual choice.
So you would
to wear
not
a
feel
mask in
guilty
these
as
things.
long as
like when I
other
went to
people
Florida.
are
Yo,
as
this
guilty
is
as you?
crazy. What are you talking about? I would feel guilt,
do you
of
mean?
course. That's fucked. I'd go, wait,
I don't
knew
know.
all
I don't
of the
actually.
sides.
I actually don't think that you. Okay, so like during the pandemic broke out in Michigan, for example, like I was wearing my mask, I was at everything, but like
Yeah.
on the offset chance that like I didn't have my mask on and people were going crazy, or like if you did get sick and you had to like message people like that you were sick, and then they would like go around and blame you and go crazy over the fact that like you got sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I have blame for one getting sick and passing it, which I never
No,
got.
that's not what I'm asking. I'm just
But,
asking
like-
like it's an unrealistic hypothetical. I grant
Yeah, I
you
know.
that, but
I'm
just
saying I don't think I would feel blame if there was like a death that could be directly linked to me by like once again a virus spread. Now
That's
I don't know if I
crazy.
feel like guilty for that.
That seems a little bit.
I think intentionality has
I'd
a
feel
lot to
guilty.
do with
For
why
sure.
I
we
think
do
you should
stuff.
feel guilty.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
by the way, I have an actual.
I should have known to stay home. I could have saved
Yeah.
that person's life. Like, that's
I have an actual anecdotal experience about this where
That specific
so
day.
just wait. Hold on. There's a
well,
recognition. Sorry, Lactoid. You
Go ahead.
You can go.
Okay, so I was going to say that for me personally, like I actually had a situation where I was exposed to somebody. I was out of the state, visiting family, old family, and I was visiting also friends in the area, and I was exposed to somebody who started feeling sick when I was with them, and then afterwards messaged me, "Hey, I tested positive for COVID," and I was staying with this family that was old, and it was a huge fucking inconvenience. But I just left the state. Because I just didn't want to give that to them, and
Yeah, that's fine.
I would have felt awful. I would have felt awful if I did, because now I have the information. Right now I know
Yeah.
that I was with somebody who had it for sure.
Yeah.
We were together like the whole fucking day, And
I'm not saying
the
you
last-
stay in the
Was
house.
that your girlfriend? Was it?
No, 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 but the
Wait, I'm
question
not
is-
saying you stay in
No,
the
no, no.
house,
No,
right?
no, no,
but
but the
I'm saying, like,
question
let's
is-
just
a girlfriend in a different
mistress.
state? No.
Your mistress. Well, you
Okay.
got holes in
No.
different area codes. There's absolutely.
it's true.
I
That's a
can,
good point,
I can
yeah.
frame it a little differently, right? I can frame it a little differently. You are hanging out with this friend. They're fine, right? They don't find out for like a week and a half later, because I think it was like a 2-week incubation period for COVID. They find out 2 weeks later that they have COVID. You then find out that you had COVID for over the past 2 weeks. You still leave the house, but then the old people you were living with got
Yeah,
sick.
I wouldn't feel
That's
as
more.
bad.
That's
not
more
That's
what.
not
That's
the hypothetical.
That's not the hypothetical at all.
Yeah,
No, no.
by the way, I would still probably feel a
Corey's
little bit bad.
hypothetical. I know. I'm saying this is a more
I wouldn't feel
likely
that bad,
hypothetical. I'm saying, yeah, you wouldn't feel bad in that hypothetical, and in Corey's hypothetical,
As bad.
he's saying we put out a study, and then we find out that through contact that I gave someone COVID and that person died.
Here's
Right?
the
That was the
difference.
hypothetical that you
Here's the
presented to me,
difference. Here's
Corey,
the
right?
difference. You were taking every reasonable precaution in your example. You were at home, and like, yeah, you weren't getting a COVID test every day, but that's not reasonable. Okay, you're at home and you accidentally spread it to your roommate accidentally. Don't feel bad about that. That's super fair. But if you go to like a concert willingly after like, and you know that there are precautions that we should be taking, and you're in a high dense area and you actually got sick, it's like you should probably feel bad because you knew you probably shouldn't be around that many, like all of those people, and you spread that disease, that known infectable disease to all those people.
I would distill it even further. Let's say I have rabies, and I know I have rabies, Ali. And if I go and actively bite someone and they die, should I feel guilty for that?
Yeah.
Why though? Like,
You actively went and bit them.
Is that not the
actively went and
exact
bit them
same
and
scenario that I
transmitted it to them.
outlined of like?
You actively went out and bit them and transmitted it to them, right?
Yeah, but is that not more or less, at least that's the hypothetical that I'm trying to like distill down to, of like, you have retrospectively, I understand it's retrospectively, so it's somewhat disanalogous to my example of rabies, but like you have the information now of like, and I'm saying, you know, again, unrealistic, of like whatever. God came down and said, passed you the note saying, hey, you caused this death due to your behavior during the pandemic. You would not feel guilty?
I don't know that I would. I'm
Okay, that's very
honestly.
strange.
Hold on, even if I was like,
I think
even
it's
if-
strange. I think it's strange to feel guilt of like, there's a virus going on. You happen to catch or pass the virus, and then all of a sudden you're gonna feel guilt for this death, even though it's like, once again, it's a virus that's killing people. So like,
No one's
people are
saying
gonna
you have to
catch it,
hang
it's transmitted
yourself,
from-
but like you should
Obviously,
probably go.
I know you. I'm not saying no one's saying that you're gonna have to hang yourself. I'm answering this very kind
Okay,
of directly.
go ahead.
I'm not-
Sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
not- I feel like I'm not shying away from any answers here.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah,
sorry.
like I don't feel death if there's like once again, if like influenza's going on and then you get sick and pass it. I don't know that like that's something that you should feel guilt over.
If the information comes down where, again, with like virtual certainty, that like your behavior, your modifiable behavior, like is directly linked to a death, I think, yeah, I think a healthy human response is to feel guilty for that. Actually,
Yes.
I would feel some guilt either way, but I think that like the only real blameworthy thing that really I would, if I had some reason to know, right? So I was informed that I was with somebody who had COVID. I then would feel, if I got it and then transmitted it to my older relatives, then I would feel like actual guilt, like real shame, like, oh wow, I could have prevented this. I knew I could have prevented this and I just didn't do it. And by the way, I got COVID like 2 days from then. So it was a good thing I left.
Pretty easily.
Yeah, it was a good thing I left.
And I would have left as well.
And then I got in a car wreck on my way back, by the way. Horrible
I'm
time.
sorry, friend.
Yeah,
Oh, my
terrible,
God.
horrible time. Yeah. Anyway, I lived though, so.
Yeah, I'm glad, friend. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, but maybe I'll leave to build a bridge here. Like, if I got infected with some disease that I didn't know that I had, and then like I unknowingly passed it on, like I would still feel like, oh shit, that sucks. Like I kind of feel guilty that way, but I wouldn't feel like I did anything wrong.
That's kind of what I'm saying. When you, I feel like guilt is like maybe not. Like, I don't know what I would feel.
I
like
feel bad. Maybe
Yeah.
not guilty, but bad. Like it was
Guilt
like,
is
oh,
the
fuck.
exact same thing you should feel.
but
If,
bad
like,
doesn't
there's a
mean
public health
anything
campaign
as a
right,
feeling. Like
that
that's just
tells you,
No,
like,
hold
hey,
on,
this
it
is how
does.
it's spread. This is how to keep it from being spread. You
Yeah, but if you take the
flagrantly disregard-
precautions.
No, that's what I'm saying. You flagrantly disregard those precautions, right? And then we know that like you were the one. Let's say somehow we could actually trace it, right? That you're the one who spread to someone else, right? Yeah, guilt would be the proper thing to feel, to know that you even got these people sick. First of all, because you don't know how bad that can be for them, right? Even they live, right? Some of these people were disabled afterwards, right? Like they were like the long COVID thing, right? Or that of course they died. Yeah, that's the proper thing. I would feel guilty because I did that. I took those actions.
Wouldn't you feel guilty even if you took all like the preventative actions and then you still killed somebody?
Yeah,
I would.
that's
I would still
that's
feel
what
guilty. I
we're.
would feel less guilty. Yes,
I'll
but
give
I
it
would
Less
still feel
guilty.
guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we mean when we say feel bad. It's like because guilt implies like what we would change, and sometimes you feel responsible even though you can't exactly pinpoint what you would change in a reasonable manner.
Right.
Yeah, but that's why I'm like trying to again distill it down of like this link it again. I know impossible scenario, but like this specific set of behaviors that you exhibited during the pandemic led to this death. Like I think you should feel guilty, and if you don't,
To me,
that's
there is like I get you're gonna say like intentionality of like me going like I had my mask on, I did the thing. I'm saying I wouldn't say I was like the face of responsibility. I didn't stay at home the whole time. I definitely went out, like, I took it less seriously maybe than should have. But I guess like what I'm saying is if I ever found out that I was sick, because like I would get tested if need be or so on and so forth. If I found out I was sick, obviously what you would do is like inform the people, stay away, but so on and so forth. Like I would do it exactly as like Lactoid did. But like otherwise, if I'm not sick and I'm not like there is no like pass, right? Like I don't feel like I transmitted anything, and then like you find that through like some. I shook someone's hand or I bumped into someone, and then like, yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna necessarily how much.
No, okay, well,
I think the difference is that you shouldn't have been at the. We all knew that you shouldn't have gone to the festival.
Okay, so I will use
I
your
get what you're saying.
I will use your exact example, Ali. You said you were not the most diligent when wearing your mask. So what if again, God came down saying, "Hey, due to this droplet that you expelled while you were not wearing your mask resulted in this death," you would not feel guilty for that?
I mean, I guess I'd feel a little guilty, maybe, but like once again, I don't know like what.
I'm not
'Cause,
saying
like,
I'm going to
to me-
morally condemn you per se, or that I think you should be
I understand.
like convicted. But if I would say if you expressed no guilt from that scenario, like that's pretty questionable in my mind. But what do I know?
Okay.
Ollie,
because,
just say fuck them. It'll be all right.
No,
Yeah.
it's not even about like just fuck them. They'll be all right.
The
If it's like you removed your mask, and we're gonna do it like it was some minute what's called. I removed my mask and there was like I sneezed and something got off on the side of the mask. I wasn't wearing the mask properly. Something so on and so forth. I don't know how much guilt. I guess it would be how much guilt would I feel. I don't know how guilty I would feel about that.
Okay, that's fair. Like there's a spectrum. But if you just said like, yeah, I even, and again, this is like during the time where, generally speaking, the main message is like mask up as much as possible. At least, well, I guess maybe Canada was different, but I think they're more or less the same in the United States of emphasis on mask. And so it's like, yeah, again, if the information came to you that it's like, oh, we were able to determine that during this window where you were not wearing your mask and like this droplet that you expelled when you coughed led to this death. If you said that you felt no guilt at all from that, I don't think I'm the only one that would.
No, I get it. I guess it would be like the level of guilt I would feel, or how much guilt I would feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not a sociopath, guys. I promise. I'm trying.
Yeah,
Well, I was really trying to tease that out. Okay, like I genuinely.
Okay. So with the remaining time that we have, well, we can keep on this topic if we like, but it seems like we might
Star
be
Wars?
winding down on this one. Sorry.
You think pit bull owners should feel guilty? I kind of do.
It's a good question.
Pit
I
bull
think-
owners.
I think most dog owners should feel guilty because I think most dog owners are poor dog owners.
Whoa, you are
No,
against.
base
You're,
take.
okay, you're gonna lose all.
That's
for-
pretty good.
That's the
base
proper
take.
Yeah,
I don't
I-
even know.
that's
I
the
just
proper take.
I respect it. I respect
most
it.
dog
Yeah.
owners are fine. What the hell?
No,
No,
most
I
dog
know, I
owners.
respect
Most
it.
dog
I-
owners are
this is a
shitty
take.
dog owners.
Most dog owners
I-
are poor dog owners.
Clarify
Yes,
what
I
you
had-
mean, Corey.
What's a
Let's hear
good
it.
dog
I-
owner in your
that-
Lactoid?
I was just thinking about this like earlier, right? Now, this has been on my. This used to be on my mind a lot because in my neighborhood, right, like there's a lot of dog owners, right, and I know that because I know there's a lot of dog poop they leave around, right. They go, they walk through parks, they shit, their dog shit there. And I
It's a
see
small
them
percentage
really-
of dog owners. They're doing most of the shitting.
You have
I
any
don't
data
know
to back
about
that up?
I don't know about that.
No,
Yeah,
but there's
Yo,
probably a
I don't know.
survival
The best
bias.
data.
I've been around.
Purely anecdotal.
I've been around a lot of dog owners, right? And I'm going to say that a lot of them. So like at its best, it's a glorified Hassan, right? Where it's like Hassan Piker has this dog that like he loves or whatever, but then like this thing is just sitting in its cot every so often, right? He shocks it every time it moves. Like he wants a prop, not a pet. I feel like a lot more people treat their dogs as like props rather than pets. They put it, they
not
keep
at
them in their
all.
little
I don't even
cots
think-
or
I
their
don't think
little
that's
their
true.
little like cage or whatever. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people treat
You think
their
that's most
dogs
dog
as
owners?
like living like
My mom
actual-
did like
the way they're supposed to.
the
Your
moment
mom
that
might have been a great dog owner. She
Most
might have
people-
had a
no,
dog,
my mom was
right?
a psycho dog owner. As soon as we left, because
Oh.
like the kids really cared about the dogs, she really just like forced him into like the laundry room and closed the door and just.
I think
like,
a lot of people do that.
it
I
was
think a
kinda
lot of
crazy.
people.
This is
have
not
this
most dog
dog-
owners.
I'm not
I think a
saying
lot of people
it.
have.
You
I
said-
think a
I'm
lot of
just- it's
people. I
just
think
an
most
anecdote. I'm just
have
throwing it out there.
untrained dogs.
Let
They
me
don't
throw
train
it
their
out
dogs
there.
properly. They take care of their
Mom's
dogs
crazy.
so much as they feed them and they like love them, but like they don't actually treat treat their dogs as dogs are meant to be treated. You have a lot of fat dogs. You have a lot of dogs with like
Let me
that don't get walked often, right? That are just
Let me
kind of like
throw in a
staying
new
home. This isn't
anecdote
like a
for
good
Lactoid's
dog
point.
owner.
My mom realized that the dogs were not being taken care of well, and we really pushed her to just give them to a new dog owner. And
Yeah,
there was another dog
yeah.
owner who had like 20 dogs, not 20, I don't know, like 5 maybe, and just like genuinely loved the shit out of him. And we go see him every once in a while, and like he's living great, and he's got a. It's
Yeah, see,
like
that's a good dog owner.
That's great. I think the vast majority of dog owners, you're going to have horror stories like that, and you absolutely. There's
Yeah.
also certain
I wasn't trying to make any broad.
income ranges where I
Aren't
become
a
much
vast
less
majority of
trusting
dog owners in
of
apartments?
like the dogs and kind of how they're trained. But I think the biggest criticism is like my biggest criticism sometimes is how much dog owners
anthropomorphizing
how much they treat them just like another
like
person.
babies, yeah.
Where it's like I'll walk into a house and like they
I
just
do
let their
hear
dog
this too.
like walk everywhere. They'll let their dog like walk on me. They like will share
Yes.
food with their
True-
dog. Like,
true
oh,
my point.
here's a
Thank you
bite.
for-
Here's a bite for you.
Thank you for bolstering my point. Most dog owners are poor dog owners.
I wouldn't call that
That's
a poor
what you're
dog
saying?
owner.
yes,
You just
yeah.
mean you just
yes.
mean bad
And
for humans, not for them.
Like
No, no,
most
as
dog
in-
owners live in apartments. Like
I think most of the dogs owned by dog owners are living great lives.
they're living in
That's what I think.
apartments
Well, wait,
where they're
that is not my claim. I have no problem saying that.
Well,
Yes,
so-
probably most
okay.
dogs are living great lives because most dog
And
owners just
don't
let their
pose a
dogs do
danger.
whatever and don't train them or just.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. When I say do whatever, I'm not talking about like shit everywhere or like attack children. I think that is a minority. Now it is
I
more
don't
common
disagree
among certain
there.
dog breeds, but I think it is a minority. I think most dog owners like they will pick up their dog shit. They they live in some suburb with a fucking white picket fence and a golden retriever, and
think-
they treat their dog as part of their family. I think this is
I think
most
most
of them.
dog owners live in
And-
apartments in cities. They don't live in some picket fences in the suburbs.
So
I think it's like a
what?
Yeah,
minority
most
of
people-
dog owners.
Most people live in cities, right? And
No,
so,
like, yeah,
most
they're
pet
leaving their
owners
dog.
are
So,
gonna be-
I bet dog owners are
so I
disproportionately
think most
suburban.
people are single, living their dogs locked in.
No,
in
it's
a
gonna be
room for 8 to 9
disproportionately-
hours a day.
No,
That they're
It's
coming
going to
home and
be
taking it on one
disproportionately
walk.
homeowners.
So they're
Two
coming on
walks
taking it
into-
on one walk, and that's the extent of the
It's
dog's
gonna
life.
be-
It's
it's gonna-
9 to 10. It's 20 hours indoors. Wait, 20 hours indoors. 23 hours indoors.
not most
Maybe
dogs.
an hour outside a day. That's
Hold on.
the
You
average
guys are
life of a
all
dog.
being
No,
so
that's not most dogs. First of all, most
how many
dogs are going
hours
to
a
be
day outside is a
most
dog,
dogs.
do you
Just wait,
think?
hold on,
Most
hold on,
dogs are going to be
hold on.
owned by homeowners because
65% of America
apartments-
are homeowners.
sure, but in
60% of
cities,
dog
and in
owners are
cities,
renters.
this
In
is going to be a
cities.
much lower percentage, and a lot of these apartments have either like increased
No
money
dog.
requirements for having pets or no
Yes.
dogs allowed at all.
Correct.
And you go in the suburbs, it seems like every other fucking family has a dog.
1 million.
Yeah, no, you're
sorry.
correct. So at
That's-
least
it's-
from what I'm seeing here, it says dog owners primarily live in detached houses.
Thank
Largely
you.
Because homeowners have higher pet ownership
Pretty
rates,
unquestionably.
about 58%.
Yes,
Though
where they
the,
have
but
yards
in
and tennis
apartments-
balls.
But the apartmentship ownership is rising. 40% of renters owning dogs in 2025. So
It's still a lot, but I mean, look how prevalent it is then, right? The lowest percentage is 40%. That means like you go in the suburbs, it's like, it wouldn't surprise me if 70% of people in the suburbs, like family homes, have a dog. It wouldn't surprise me.
That wouldn't
I
surprise
don't know
me
if that's
either.
I don't know the percentage, and I think most of them are like perfectly fine. They're happy dogs. And
70%
they're also
would
not
surprise-
shitting.
so Corey, what did you mean by your
would
claim?
surprise me actually.
Corey, what did you mean
I
by
would
your
say
claim that
maybe
they were
40,
bad
50.
I'll look it up. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
70
I
seems
wish
like
I
a
could
lot.
respond to you, Hunter.
Yeah, go ahead, Corey.
So everything that Lactoid's saying, I think he actually even bolstered my point. Like, because I'm not claiming that these dogs are unhappy dogs or that these dogs are like, let's say, maltreated. Okay, I'm saying overall, most dogs, and I think even Lactoid more or less like made my point for me, but maybe I didn't make it clear enough. Of like he said, if I understood correctly, that most dog owners treat their dogs like a human, just let them more or less like do whatever. Okay, I would say that is a poorly trained dog.
But
okay?
that's to
And-
the detriment of us, not to the dog, right?
That's
Yes.
we're talking about the
Yeah,
owners.
yeah,
We're
we
saying
can
the
look at
owners
that
are
as
bad.
bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I do
And-
think the way that
and-
you originally formulated your point, it did sound like the dogs were.
Well, no, but wait, no, because if I remember correctly, Lactoid was bringing up pit
Oh,
bulls,
shit.
and I'm pretty sure he was bringing up pit bulls in the context of like that is a detriment to us due to their
Okay.
You know
bites.
what, that's a great point.
No, I think
Corey, that's
what
a
I said
great
is
point.
what I said is I think that people do let their
Fucking got
dogs
me.
do shit in terms of like eating shit or like walking around and stuff, which I mean it's really not that big of a deal. I agree that them shitting on people's lawns when they shit on my lawn, which does happen, that sucks. But it really doesn't happen nearly the frequency that it would if this was like most dog owners, which I don't think it is.
Yeah,
When it
like,
comes to
your inability to, although again, I might just be my inability to communicate, but the fact that you just distill it down to like, well, it's just a dog, going to the bathroom on the lawn, and that's just like the only range of like of like it's either biting, and like going to the bathroom.
there's
on the lawn.
only
Those-
two I care
What would
about.
you clarify?
Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
Like bringing chihuahuas into restaurants, like
and
what
you-
do
Yeah,
are
what
gonna be
other
a
ones
wife
are
of the dog?
And Lactoid's going to be a bad dog owner and probably a bad parent too.
Whoa!
What other- very harsh unnecessarily? But what are you talking about then?
Because I'm pretty sure you have the mentality of like, if I just give a child food and I give it shelter, nothing else
And it
can go
doesn't bite
wrong.
No, wait,
people.
hold on. You are doing the anthropomorphizing.
Yeah, they need
of
those
pets right
whoopings,
now.
so they need them.
I don't have. I'm not gonna have an education plan and like for a fucking dog. I'm sorry.
Hold on, Corey.
Corey,
you are-
probably.
You are guilty right now of anthropomorphizing animals because Lactoid was just like, "There's two things I care about with animals," and you're like, "Well, what about humans?" Yeah,
Well-
we have 50
well,
things that we care about.
Very different concerns with a child.
Just as a dog has to be socialized, okay, appropriately, a child, a
Much
developing
less
human, has
so.
to be socialized appropriately.
Like an extremely less.
Much less so if they're not
I-
biting
no,
people, which
the
I
fact that-
included.
Yeah, I don't
the fact
really
that-
care.
The fact that you have that mentality, again, just bolsters my point.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't own dogs, but I think I'm a great parent.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is weird. Like, if we're talking about a poorly socialized dog, like, yeah, my main concerns are going to be if they bite somebody, that's bad. Okay, now we're talking about socialization to the point where I think it's actually important to intervene when it comes to a dog.
Yeah, you gotta intervene.
Or when it comes to shitting all over like people's lawns. Yeah, that's also bad on the dog owner. But when it comes to like, okay, a dog that doesn't do those things, you're saying that I have some requirement to like socialize a dog with other dogs to some extent.
Yeah, you gotta whoop his ass.
Otherwise, I'm a
Lactoid.
poor dog owner, and that
Yes,
translates. And
yes.
hold on, and this would translate to me being a bad parent, despite the fact that I'm perfectly willing to socialize my child with other children.
I would say you are probably going to, just as you have the mentality of like, my dog needs pretty much virtually no or very limited socialization, you probably underestimate the amount of socialization that a child needs.
Why are you assuming that I would treat a dog and a child the same?
Yeah, that's what I keep getting to.
Because I think there's a strong correlation there.
I
Yes,
don't.
because you don't recognize.
Where's that correlation? Where are you pulling that from?
Just in terms of overall, raising another organism, basically.
I
Hold on,
think that the
what about
issue
people
is
who
treating
hate-
these
who
organisms
hate
together.
pets, right? Can they be good parents? if
They
they
hate their
like-
children too because
they
I'm
hate-
1-to-1.
Yeah, I'm not saying well, to be clear, I'm not saying there's a 1-to-1 correlation, okay? But let's just say, the correlation between poor dog owners or poor pet owners, okay? As in, if someone is probably a poor dog owner, they're probably going to be a poor parent as well. Now, does
So
it
I'm
work
gonna say this.
exactly in every single scenario? The answer is no.
I'm gonna say this. I had a cat, and I didn't really. I mean, I think I was a fine parent. I think he had a good life, but like, I would leave him in the house for 2 days and just make sure that the food dispenser was like automatic, and I really wouldn't think twice about it. Like, and
You do that for your child, Hunter?
I do not do that for my child. I
And
actually.
wait. How often did you let your cat out of the house? or residents?
Very rarely.
You're not
Very
supposed to
rarely.
let him out of the house, right?
Yeah, I thought. Isn't that bad for the environment?
That's bad for the
Well, no,
environment.
well,
He was a house cat for sure.
I'm saying like I could be assuming, but correct me if I'm wrong. But like it sounds like okay, pretty much the cat largely interacted with you or whoever it is that you and your roommate were living with exclusively.
My wife, yeah.
Okay, so but dogs interact.
So you didn't
generally
socialize the
speaking,
cat.
so I have no
You're not
problem
supposed
saying
to.
that if we're going to advocate for having dogs,
That's a bad cat owner if you let your cat out.
primarily in the residence, then I would agree that would reduce the amount of dog incidents and poorly behaved dogs out in the wild.
Okay, I'm not going to speak for dogs. I haven't owned a dog in like 15 years when I was like a kid in middle school. I
Yeah,
don't
you
really
know,
know.
spare the rod, spoil the child. Applies to the dogs and the people and all.
So yeah, Corey,
Wait,
I think you're on.
so no.
this
What is the
limb
likelihood
here,
if you found out someone is beating their dog? What do you think the likelihood or the correlation is between them beating their children?
I bet the dog
Hold on.
listens.
I'm not talking about beating a fucking dog.
Hold on,
But is there, like,
I bet that dog listens to him, though.
Is there any correlation there at
Fine.
all whatsoever?
Hold
Yes.
on, wait, stop. There's probably going to be some correlation between the kind of aggressive underlying behavior between beating a dog and beating a child. I am not.
That
I
is
do not. I
exactly
do.
my
Hold
point.
up.
That is
No.
exactly my point.
That is not
You
your
can't
point. You're
can't
saying that if you don't,
extrapolate
you're saying if you don't go socialize your pet, that this is makes it you're probably because you use the word probably
dogs,
that you're
I mean.
probably going to be a bad parent too because you don't socialize your children.
Yeah, that's
yes,
pretty crazy.
yes.
This is insane. You have no.
Okay.
You're just pulling this out of your ass.
Hold on. Don't most people think the pets are going to be fine and they know that the babies are not going to be fine if you just don't interact with them and just leave them? Loki, I leave my kid in the bedroom and he sometimes takes like half an hour to sort of wind down and go to sleep. I feel guilty about that. I'm like, I'm just letting him run around for half an hour. He loves it. He's playing with his toys. He's having a great time.
But yet you let your cat alone in the house
2
for
days.
2 days.
Honestly, probably even longer. I might be undercutting that. Like,
Dude, more longer.
I really was like,
Yeah, but it's a
I know
cat.
there's food. I know there's food, and I know the litter is empty, and he's not gonna poop anywhere, and he's gonna be fine.
Your cat also requires cats don't require the maintenance. You
Okay,
can
well,
leave a
I
cat
don't.
in the
Okay,
house alone
but
for
Corey,
like a week and a half.
does this extend to
Right,
cats?
that's kind
Or
of
is this
Corey's
a
point,
purely
right? Is like
dog-
you're linking to a cat that doesn't require really any fucking
Okay,
maintenance.
well then-
Cats, if
oh,
anything, would
okay.
prefer to be alone
But
if they're in a house. But
Okay.
like what Corey's
Well,
saying is
they're
that if you have
cats
someone,
are-
if you have
cats
someone
are
who's willing
social
to
animals
be,
too.
if you have
What are you
someone
talking
who's
about?
willing to have a pet, right? This is a thing, which is what I was saying. Is most people want a prop, not a pet. But if you have a pet, which is a living animal, and then you're willing to beat this thing, something that you're supposed to raise, presumably
Beat
you got
it.
as a small, hit it.
I'm not
Right?
beating
Some
a
people-
woman.
some people
No,
don't-
no,
some
that's
people
not
don't
the
abuse.
issue
They
we
hit
have.
their
You beat
dog.
him once,
They
so
hit
you're
their
gonna beat
dog.
him again.
I
You
know.
know.
I'm
All right,
saying
we
the
got it.
correlation. If someone's willing to hit a dog, which is a defenseless animal, right, with no
Stop
consent,
going
no
there.
anything, and can't actually listen to response, then they're probably willing to hit their kids that will actually piss them off with words.
I
don't know.
agree.
If you
I
give your
agree.
dog a
That's
spanking,
not
you'll
the
give your kids a
fucking point.
spanking. You know.
That's not what we're talking about. Yeah, if you're willing to lay your hands
That's what
on
we're talking
If
someone
you're
about.
willing to
else,
You're
neglect
talking
your
about.
pet, you're probably willing to neglect
Stop
your kid. Is what he's
extrapolating that
saying.
into-
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
a
and
different
not
point.
whooping your dog's ass,
What was the
neglecting
point?
your pet, bro. I'm
You
saying.
can't
gotta learn.
shift it from willing to attack a dog, so you're willing to attack a person.
Okay, neglect.
To neglect. No. Stop changing it like they're the same.
I said
will
okay, then
concede.
neglect.
Okay, then I'm gonna take back all of the concessions I make. No, that's stupid.
If you're willing to neglect animals that you're not willing to neglect,
Yes,
kids,
that's
why? I
fucking
don't-
dumb.
The kind of
Why is it
behavior
dumb?
that is not neglect for a dog is neglect for a child. You see that, right?
What do you? I'm sorry. Repeat that.
You can treat a dog a certain way, and it's not neglect. That you can't treat a child.
You could
'Cause
leave,
then
you
it
could
is
leave a
neglect.
dog. You could leave a dog in your house and maybe have one person check in on it, like once a day for
Yeah.
probably a week, and who cares?
Yeah, and you can play around with a dog every day, and that's enough. With a
Generally.
child, that's not enough.
It's you gotta always be talking.
Get their
to him.
vaccinations. You got to take them to school.
So I'm
you got to
assuming
arrange.
what Corey's
He's gonna be
point was
around.
that
Yeah,
someone
everything
Everything
that
I'm
is
saying
right.
is
He's gonna go to
bolstering
the
my point.
park.
Like
Okay.
the fact that you just expressed that leaving a dog for a day and then just check in on it
No, for
every
a
few
week.
days. Even
Said
even a week. Okay.
I
And
do
just check-
say a week. I'll
Open
say
up-
a week.
Yes.
Open the house
Okay.
like crazy.
Bolster my point that you're probably going to poorly socialize a dog. Yes.
And
Okay,
thus his children.
Thus my children. I have 2 children.
Yeah. Probably.
Well, you don't have a dog, and you probably wouldn't actually
Okay,
socialize.
well,
like that,
I'm
right?
evidence.
Like
I
realistically
take my
speaking,
kids to the park every fucking day, and they go to daycare, and they socialize with kids, and I take them over, and they
Corey,
play
you're
in the
dying on a
dirt.
hill you don't need to die on.
Yeah,
I
this
have
is
no problem
crazy.
dying on it.
The bad
You
parent
think I'm
hill.
more
on
likely to be
specifically
a
them two.
neglectful parent? because of I think that dogs can be fine for.
I have no problem saying that. Just as I think most dog owners are poor dog owners, most parents, my own included, are poor parents.
Oh, including me though.
Most parents are bad. What does it mean to say that? Like, okay, doesn't bad require some kind of like baseline to compare it to? If most parents are bad, like,
No.
what's
What
good?
do you give me an example of a bad parenting thing that you think most people are complicit in? Like screens, probably. Actually, that's
doing
probably a
some
quick one.
bad parenting doesn't make a bad parent, though.
No, well,
Because
I
like,
will
because like
also
my
concede that every parent, if or when I become a parent, will make mistakes.
no,
okay?
sure. But my
Um,
brother, for example, I don't really agree with a lot of his parenting things. But like, he's certainly not a bad parent. Like sometimes he gives the kids the screen time a little bit much. Sometimes they're on websites that feel a little brain rotty. Sometimes they watch shows that feel really fucking stupid. And I go, I don't know if that's the best thing. I would never call them bad parents though. That feels like crazy. They're.
Okay,
I
that's
just
fine.
disagree. Yeah. Would you? I'm just curious.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. But like that's all they're doing.
What's your
It's
threshold
just like
for a
brain
bad
rot TV
parent?
shows.
Actually, Hunter, I think you're
Ju-
the only
just as-
official
What if they're
Just
like?
as-
What if their kids
Okay,
like
threshold
clearly
for a
gonna be
bad
a serial
parent.
killer?
just as most dog owners don't set appropriate boundaries with their dogs, most parents do not set appropriate boundaries for their children.
Well,
because they don't know
I
how.
have a question. Are they? So I have a friend.
Do you want me to
I-
answer the question? I can answer the question what I think is a bad parent.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not going to have a specific line, obviously, but I'll give a vibe.
Well, like
okay?
like a set of features or like
Yeah,
what you would
yeah,
consider like
yeah.
a
I
end
watched-
result, whatever.
I
yeah.
watched this video of like fucking Harry Potter parents who were like, we have to give her the screen because it helps with her ticking, and she's got like a fucking like blanket over her head, and she's like incessantly tapping, and they're like, we just leave her like that for hours while she does that. It helps with her like anxiety. I'm like, that's a bad parent. That has become. You have hit a point where that's a bad parent. There's probably a gradient above that, and there's a gradient below my brother where like I would hit that line. But like, yeah, that's the distinction between a good parent and a bad parent. Obviously,
now,
like
now
abusive
if-
parents are
yeah.
even worse
Well,
parents. And,
I-
like,
Of course, yeah.
What if they have just like a terrible child, right? Like, so like I have a friend, she's got like 2 good kids, and then 1 kid that's gonna be fucking a serial killer. Like, I'm 100% sure.
I agree. If
Like,
they have- if they have-
she's tried things, and like the kids out there still fucking eating squirrels, and like
What's wrong with eating squirrels?
Oh, bro, the way he's doing it's wrong.
You're in
I'm gonna
Texas,
tell you.
right?
Everyone
Yeah,
eats squirrels.
listen, I'm saying this is not normal behavior. This kid's for sure gonna be Jeffrey
yeah,
Dahmer.
first off,
Like-
I have like a psychopath brother. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what
but
this
he's
is.
also-
This is a
And
problem.
I
is what
would,
it is.
and I blame a lot of my. I blame my parents for a lot of the ways. That
Sure,
it
she's
turned out,
not
genuinely.
perfect. She's not perfect, but she's
And there's probably
she's got-
legitimacy to that.
Well, hold on, she's not perfect.
Yeah, and
right?
I would
But
probably say they're bad parents.
And
They
it's
weren't
because they
necessarily
didn't
abusive.
socialize dogs.
No,
That's
but
why.
Exactly.
hold on. I think this is a real question though.
Wait,
So
wait,
like,
wait, Hunter,
was
was
your
your
dog
dog socialized?
No, but I have a real thing. But hold on, let me.
No, you
we
said
go.
your dog was a bad
My
dog.
mom
Hold
was a bad
on.
parent.
I want to
True.
finish my thing here. I want to like, all right, she has 2 kids. One of them's like 16 now, and like he's good. He's like a good child. He seems like he'll be fine. Like he'll be like. She's got another one that's still younger. He seems like okay. Then she got this one like this. Clearly, I don't know what's going on there, but the kid's gonna be a serial killer, right? Say this kid does become a serial killer. Was she a bad parent? I'd be like, by some metrics, yeah, you raised a serial killer. But at what point is it not their fault? And what can they do? Like,
I have no problem conceding.
Does
that
he cover
if-
for
if-
his
if-
serial
I'll
killings,
answer the question. I will answer the question. If you have Macaulay Culkin from The Good Son, yes, that's out of your control. Okay, like yes, those children exist.
I don't even know if
she's
those
got
children
Jason.
exist.
So
Like genuinely. And I worked in a treatment center for teenagers, like for 2 years. Like I have seen
let me introduce you to this
almost
kid.
all of the time the teenagers have problems. I'm like, dude, I could see that this is.
So
your
this kid's like
parents and it's,
6.
like fucked you up.
I'm saying this
No,
now.
wait, hold on.
I'm
hold on.
100% positive.
No, but here's the
the
thing. When I say
No,
my brother's
he's
a
6.
psychopath, he's actually an adopted brother.
It's like I was scared to
He-
sleep over at the house. I thought he was gonna try and kill me in his
No,
sleep.
yeah. I genuinely, I've had the same fears, but it's my adopted brother because for the first
Most fear
2
I've ever
years,
been
he
in.
was like, he was in a fucked situation. He was abused, and he was like, that really fucked with his head. And clearly, he's out of the circumstances, and now he like does not know how to handle it. And my parents didn't know how to handle it. Whatever. There's a lot of people I could point to and go, you fucked him up. You fucked him up. You fucked him up. Also, he fucked him up. He's 28 now. He's in a jail cell right now because he's a piece of shit. Like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it's all good.
Can I say one thing real quick about going way back a little bit, the China thing?
Okay, all right.
They're run by
Wait,
serial
he wants to avoid the dog topic, right? He Corey had him dead to
Yeah.
rights.
Yeah, dead to rights. Former Arcadia mayor Eileen Wang, the mayor, pled guilty to acting as an agent of the Chinese government.
Wow.
The mayor of
Is
the
it-
mayor of what town?
I have
The
a
mayor of Arcadia, which
Is
I don't
this
know where that
fair?
is.
Lactoid, tell me if
I
this
don't
is
know.
fair. Is it fair for me to go guilty doesn't necessarily mean she did it? Like there's a lot of plea deals that happen.
You know what? It's fair because you know what the Democrats like to do? They like to say that they're not the racist, and then they put
It's a
not-
genuine
No, hold on,
question.
no, hold on. I know it is a genuine question. They like to say
Yeah,
they're not
look,
the
Gibbs
they're
is
not the
favorite
racist.
topic.
They're not the racist.
Wait, hold on.
And
Are
then-
the
hold
racist.
on, hold on. Let me just
Is that
answer.
not fair?
Let me answer the question. You say they all go and say, "Oh, we're not the racist," and then you'll run a guy and he's leading by 30 points that has a literal SS tattoo, and then they go, "Oh, but the Republicans are the
It's in
racist."
California.
Yeah, so it's crazy that y'all are gonna sit here and do this. Yeah, I think it is.
Did
fair
he
for
know it was an
Democrats to do
SS
it.
pretty
tattoo?
critical
Or
of-
Yes,
was it just
yes,
like, you know,
yes, he did.
vibes
Yeah, he
in,
was
like-
an
So-
avid
so-
white
so-
man.
It's a totem cop
okay.
tattoo.
Fair point. I haven't fully gone through this case.
No, and
All I
that's-
know, all I know is that it just came out. The first time I'm
Yeah,
hearing
yeah, yeah.
about it is so Arcadia is in California. She was apparently pled guilty to acting as a Chinese agent.
And I usually want to look a little bit more at the case, but
Fair
that
enough.
obviously does not bode well.
I don't know what
sure.
kind of
That's
plea
crazy.
deal you take that makes you guilty of being a Chinese agent.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, and these are fair. That's
That
fair.
one's a
That's
little
fair.
specific. That one's a
That's
little
fair.
tough.
Just
I just-
like he
Mike,
didn't
when
know
I
it was
look
an
at a
SS
case, I
tattoo.
rarely look at the
Unregistered foreign
pled guilty.
agent. That might be.
That's
it.
all I'm saying. Because
Um,
like
you have to register as a
95% of the
foreign
people
agent.
who are charged, actually, I don't know the stats. Maybe Lactoid could help me out. But like 95% of people charged with a crime are plead guilty, and most of the time they haven't done it. Or sorry, maybe not most, but like a good chunk of the people who plead guilty do so because the plea deal is a better deal for them. Is that
There are
not fair?
people. There are people who plead guilty that didn't do it. It's not most of them.
Really, you think
most-
so?
Yeah. I think there was-
No. I took back most. There is a sizable chunk of people who plead guilty who haven't done it, and I would say
So I
wait,
saw.
wait. The vast majority who are charged with a crime and didn't do it plead guilty. Is that fair?
The vast majority of people who didn't do a crime but
And-
plead guilty.
And no, got
Sorry.
charged with it. Plead
Oh, they
guilty.
got charged with a crime and they did do it.
They
or
did
they
not
didn't
do it.
Plead
They
guilty.
plead guilty.
That I don't know.
I would say that's probably true, and I know nothing about the justice system.
That
So,
that
take
I
that with a
don't
grain of
know.
salt.
It's possible.
salt.
Look, I know people who are not guilty who have pled guilty in order to avoid
So they say.
all the headache. This does happen. Now, well, no, I believe him.
No, I know. I'm just. Joking.
Actually, based on everything he said,
Yeah.
it was actually really sad. That's actually a really depressing story. I'll go into that later, maybe sometime. But the allegation against this mayor is that she ran a news website between 2020 and 2022, and she claimed it was just a news agency for Chinese Americans, but in reality, she was getting directives from Beijing
Jesus Christ.
and posting whatever propaganda was sent to her by the government,
That's pretty insane.
and then reporting back to Beijing with screenshots showing how many people viewed the stories as part of their deal.
That sounds like there's
It's
evidence
fine.
for sure, and I'm willing to say she's
Yeah.
guilty now. But that's
It's
what I
fine
needed to
when-
hear.
It's fine when they do it for Israel, though, right? When
Yeah.
Israel
Who
like,
said that
literally
that's
does
fine?
the exact
Who-
same
who?
thing.
The
Our
people who
government
haven't charged anyone who-
exactly
yeah.
that. Like what? Like we
We have
know
all these
we have
officials who haven't been charged for probably this exact same thing, and yet, this Chinese official seems to be very specific.
Hold on,
Yeah,
you
like,
think
I
you
will
think there's
say that there's
orders coming in
probably-
from
yeah.
Tel Aviv, like the actual
Yes.
Israeli government is like
Yes.
sending
Yes.
directives
Ben
to news
Gavir
agencies,
is texting.
and they're just copy and pasting like
Tim
no.
Pool.
Yes.
Ben
Like,
Gavir
the difference
is
is
texting
it
Tim
comes
Yes.
Pool.
from Beijing.
Yes,
or I think
Lacto,
it
yes.
comes
You guys
to,
are
whatever
You think
live
there's
in a-
messages coming from
the same thing.
Beijing? Like,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
doesn't
say,
matter.
nobody
Yeah.
said Beijing.
or wherever you said.
But for this
Or,
mayor, yeah, the allegation is that she was taking orders, like the Chinese government would send her some like deny the Uyghur genocide, and then she would post that whatever they told her to post.
And
Yeah,
that's
and then, like,
believable,
in
but
Israel-
messages coming from Tel Aviv isn't?
Yeah, it's not. Wait,
What?
What?
the
How is
fuck
that not
are
the
we
same? They
talking
literally have
about?
talking points about like denying.
Yeah,
the
they have talking points.
genocide. They have-
Which hold on, wait, hold on. Let me take a step back. Which news agencies
my
in
God.
America do you think are verbatim, like just subordinate to Tel Aviv?
Sorry,
Do they have to be news?
that was what I was saying. I'm saying when people are engaged in this, so we have individuals who go on these news shows and who will deliver exactly those talking points. Right? We have the ADL that does exactly this.
We have Ben Shapiro.
We have
Gosh,
we have
the
No,
APAC.
they're not
that
getting
does
money. They're not
exactly
getting.
this.
They're not getting
Yeah.
paid by like the government of Israel to like
They don't-
to
they don't have to
literally
get paid by
parrot
their
like whatever they
proxies.
say.
What difference does it
But
make?
that's
but
what's
hold on.
happening here.
No. Well, actually, it does. It matters on if your proxies, this is how they always works, right? They give money through proxies, right? They
don't you
didn't. This
worry.
lady, I guess.
Yeah, but China does that, but that's not illegal.
She didn't get like a fucking Venmo, right, from from Beijing saying good work on the
No,
propaganda.
no,
hold
no,
on,
no.
you
She literally got that. She literally got good work. Thank you for posting that so fast. Like,
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, and I don't know why we're
Yes,
surprised. I don't know why
this
we're
mayor
surprised.
was getting confirmation from the Chinese government.
I don't know why you're
No,
so. I don't know
Did she
why.
get a Venmo? Did she get a Venmo?
I don't know if it was Venmo specifically.
It might have been cash.
Well, hold on. You know what's well, Prime? You know what? What's crazy is we actually have evidence of this happening in the U.S. You know what we have evidence of? Where the SPLC paid the organizer of the Unite the Right rally like $258,000 to set up that event in and of itself. So yeah, we already have the Dems doing this. In fact, what's crazier is guess who's been saying that they were neo-Nazis the whole time? I have. And here we go. I just posted in the back room a photo of Graham Planter's tattoo, a leading candidate in the Democratic primary right now, who the CNN, I just saw, what's his name, fucking tell everybody we should rally around him and get in a whole fight with old Scott Jennings about it. And here we are today, and it's, wow, lo and behold, now we're sitting here talking about how much we hate the Jews. It really doesn't seem like the socialists have changed at all since the 1940s to me, but crazy coincidence here. Hunter, thoughts?
I fully agree that Graham Plattner has a Totenkopf tattoo. I don't think that he knew it was a Totenkopf tattoo when he got it, but he
Well,
certainly knew.
I didn't
Just
know.
hear me out for a sec. He
Yeah.
definitely knew that it was before he admitted to it. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like,
Is he still
like
not
this
gotten rid
year.
of it yet?
No,
He had it
got
20
yeah.
years. Hold on, have you seen his other posts?
He's gotten rid of it.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
you got rid of it.
Hold on.
You should have got rid of it right
Personally,
away,
I don't
right
think
when you
he's a
found
Nazi.
out.
Well, hold
I
on.
think that he has
Hold
Right
on.
when you
Hold on.
find
So
out,
okay,
but-
so if you have a
judgment.
Nazi tattoo and you post like all sorts of anti-Jewish things on your thing, I would have to say I
I'd
probably
have
think
to see the anti-Jewish thing.
Yeah,
I
what's
didn't
the
see any of that.
anti-Jewish?
All right, yeah. Let me go here. There's a USA Today article about it, and there we go. And they have a whole bunch of stuff that I posted. Right?
I think to be fair, if maybe he didn't know it was when he first got it. However, you kind of can't just have that shit on you for 20 years.
and
I
then be
fully
saying
agree.
anti-Jew shit.
That's what is that?
They're like
I
talking
fully
about-
agree. I also think that he is better than Colin. So
What
Okay.
what am I looking for?
I feel like a Nazi
Um,
tattoo is like just you're too radioactive.
Yeah,
no,
it's
I'm
that.
with you. I'm with you. And if that's
crazy.
the justification, it's like let's just not have it. I didn't want him as the Democratic nominee, 100%. I think that it ruins credibility when we're trying to talk about fascism and we have people like Gibbs going like, "Don't you guys have a Democratic candidate right now with a Nazi tattoo?" And it ruins the whole argument, even though I don't think he's a Nazi. So it's like we just got to get rid of him.
Yeah,
So,
he's denied the Holocaust even. Like
wasn't there a
Where?
recent
Hold
story
on.
about like somebody
hold
who
on.
had like some woman had a swastika? Did I not hear
Hold
about that?
It looks like he praised Hamas for a sec.
no,
Not October 7th.
he also shared.
He praised Hamas on October
Okay,
7th.
here-
No,
on
no,
the
no,
day?
not on October
Here's a
7th.
quick AI
Oh, okay.
overview. It says, all right, in
He praised an
2026,
attack in 2014.
he also shared. He shared a post of Steve Pierce, a far right anti-Semitic commentator, stating that the Jews and the Holocaust never occurred, and then it criticized the U.S. Middle East, the U.S. as well in the Middle East for Israel. That sounds pretty pro-Nazi.
And
you
what'd
probably
you
can't
say?
do
Say it one more time.
He shared a post by like a Nazi, like a far right anti-Jew commentator that said the Holocaust never happened, and then he said it's at the same time he said the U.S. shouldn't be involved in the Middle
Why
East
isn't that
because
in
of
the
Israel.
fucking thing
Be-
that you sent me? Because I'm typing.
Well, I'm
searching
just
Holocaust right
a
now
quick
and I can't
post.
find it.
I
Can you just show me the thing?
Here, why don't I just share the screen? I'm just quick AI over you real quick,
Just-
and it's got okay, hold on.
Oh, and,
Do your own fucking research, Hunter.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
sorry.
sure. I mean, I just posted the U.S. thing.
I
They-
would be
they mentioned-
surprised that Plattner denied the Holocaust. That feels ideologically weird for him, but I'm willing to accept it because he seems like an insane person. I don't think he should be the senator, but I'll take him over Collins because unfortunately, lesser of two evils. But I think he's one of the worst Democratic candidates we have right now. So I
Wait,
don't
okay,
think I'm
this-
being that weird.
This thing.
So,
this lesser. Go ahead, Prime.
Okay, so back to the actual topic, just for a second. Okay. So we have the reason why I brought this up is because like
He didn't deny the
ship was
Holocaust, come on.
arriving.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
That's what? If you're sharing the guy saying that the Holocaust doesn't exist.
Show me a fucking link and then I'll change my
Well,
mind.
how am I supposed
Right,
to show you a
continue.
link for when they say he's deleted it and it's a post from a certain date? Like if I
Also-
hold on. If I post something, if I
Stop.
if I post
Are you
right,
are you
hold on.
retarded?
If
What
I
are you
post
talking
if I
about?
post
Show
right
me
now,
a fucking news article that says here is the
why would I
deleted
need to do
post.
that? Okay, how am I supposed to do that? Am I supposed to go like if I post I hate Hunter and then I delete it? You go show me a
How
link
would,
that
wait,
Jim
hold
said
on.
this.
Doesn't
How would-
someone know that? Did someone take a screenshot? How
Someone
would
just
we know
does
that?
a Wayback Machine, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
something like
how-
that.
Bro, I mean, you're expecting
There's
me to go
ways
find
to
their
hold on to that
sources.
information.
I'm
and
not
if
gonna go
it's
find
fully
that.
gone,
It's
then I
already in
just
the
can't
news.
believe it.
I didn't just find this out of the air. Just you go look in the
I'm
sources.
wondering where you found it. Show me where you found it. Everything that
Look,
you sent
look,
me is
here,
not
watch
in there.
You literally pulled it out of AI's ass.
Bro, and it's
like,
got
you
the
literally
link.
pulled it from
Bro,
thin
It just
air.
fucking
That's the
hallucinated it
issue.
because
That's
there's
the
so many
issue,
things that
Gibbs.
say
It's
Plattner
pulled
is
from
a
thin
Nazi, and they're
air.
like,
Well,
well,
I
he
literally
denied
pulled
the
it from a
Holocaust.
USA Today article who said
I looked in there. It's not
and they
in
said
there.
he had anti-Semitic posts. They didn't specify. So I go, what were they? And this is what they said.
Did you
Like,
type
they
in
ignored-
anti-Semitic?
I said what?
Hunter?
I said what was anti-Semitic post? And
And
it said,
AI
this is-
posted. AI told you that he denied the Holocaust.
And this is what the AI said. I mean, you can show it.
Stop fucking
In February
using-
2026.
Where is the source?
God
Give us
damn
the
it.
source.
Oh,
and then I'll
like
believe
it
it.
doesn't matter
Ask
what the
AI
source
for
is.
the source.
Okay,
Ask
let me
AI.
find the
What
source.
link
Today
should I
says
give my
it
friend
was-
Hunter, who feels
He's
a
an
little bit?
anti-Semite, but whatever. US Today didn't provide us.
No, this is like the
so,
double standard. If I post like a back search check for like a news source, like the USA Today, and they say something like this, and then you go, Gibbs, you need to find what their
You
source
said
was.
he denied the Holocaust, and that's not in
Okay.
the fucking
Yeah,
article.
we're looking for the source. Like,
Okay.
the
If
actual
I
quote.
give this to you, I'm gonna
That's-
stop giving sources again because I get held to the most
I don't
ridiculous
care.
standards
Oh,
compared to
yeah.
all of
We're
them.
looking
Every
at-
time,
Shut the
every
fuck
time,
up.
you'll
Gibbs, I
never
hate
provide
you.
sources, and I'm the only one that
Yeah.
ever does. And then it's crazy.
we're just
It's
asking-
never good
It's
enough.
not
Asking
in
for
here.
a
Hold
quote.
on. I agree that he has said some anti-Semitic
I
things.
tried to move away from the conversation, but you keep
No,
dragging
no,
back.
I'm gonna
like,
find it, and when
okay,
I
we're
find
good.
it, once again, we're gonna spend 20 minutes where Gibbs finds source and it's proven correct
don't
again.
care.
I know you don't care because
Go ahead,
fact
do
checking
that.
Gibbs is a national pastime here. Because
Stop.
guess what?
No,
he
because
always
here's
ends
how
up
you
being
fact
right.
check. You send 10 sources, none of which have your claim, and then you have AI hallucinate it. That's
Oh, yeah.
how you do research.
That's not how I do research. Just because I click one and I read you something, thinking, okay, we can take it at face value. But here we go. Set for linking
You're just
interview.
bad
Bad
if it's a
faith,
lie.
Hunter. You're
Here
bad
you go.
faith.
Here,
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what?
gonna- I'm
Here's
gonna
the one.
step in and
Here's
protect my
from
friend
Jewish
Gibbs.
Insider. Here you go.
Um,
I got it. They're gonna quote it. I
Did
know
he?
that's a source you'll trust.
Can you send
Jewish
me a source?
insider.
Yeah, there you go. That's a
Okay.
source
No,
you
he
can
didn't
trust
say it.
right there.
Okay, awesome.
But
Now,
I'm sure he's been
but
anti-Semitic.
why
and he
would you not
supported
support
Hamas.
Collins? Probably the most, I think the most
Here's how about
moderate
Boston
Republican
Spirit magazine.
of ever right now.
No, I think she still votes like 95% with Trump.
No, she's very much. She is. So
She's,
by the way,
she is of the moderate Republicans, she is moderate, but
She's
also
the
the,
most
Republican
moderate.
is very ideologically like.
Hold on, I don't know about that. I've read the USA article, the USA
Hold
Today article, and it
I've
pointed
said
out
this-
that Collins voted to confirm the Democratic justices.
Okay.
Collins is like voted
let me
to
clarify,
keep the
let me
ACA.
clarify. And
Collins
I
is-
hold on. This is going to sound like I will show you tweets where I've said this before this conversation. There is a marginal difference between Collins and Plattner. It's almost a coin toss, but I would go with Plattner.
So wouldn't it be better though if you're like pushing an image to like want to work with moderate Republicans against the
I'm
threat
with
of
you.
Trump?
I'm with you. That's why
Support
it's like
Collins.
there's a lot of good reasons to support Collins over Plattner.
Okay.
And like
They can't do it
if
right
you
now.
do
like,
that,
so I'd vote
if
blue
you
no
do
matter
it,
who
I would
is
go.
the-
I don't like
Liberals, man.
if you vote for Collins, I don't
These
blame you.
fucking liberals.
Shut
These
God
fucking
damn it.
Even voting for Nazis is better than
I'm
voting
saying
for
fucking
I
Republicans.
can't
liberals.
have a
Maybe it's because they are
rhetorical-
Nazis.
I can't have a rhetorical conversation
Fucking
with any
liberals.
Republican when we are not being properly vetting our candidates and they have Nazi tattoos. That's just shit we can't have. That's not being a moderate. It's just shit
These
we can't
fucking
have.
Liberals. They're fucking liberals.
You're betraying the vote blue
Um,
no matter who. See, you are different than Josiah. Josiah,
No. I do think Josiah would agree with me here and say that there is a
you think Josiah would
yeah,
vote for
because they
Republican
don't
over
know-
Democrat?
Yeah,
I would
I
vote
would-
for Plattner, but I wouldn't necessarily. I think that this is the closest election currently. By
Then why would you vote for Plattner?
what?
Why would you vote for Plattner?
Because vote blue no matter
Because
who.
no, because I do think that that his specific policies are more. In
It's a
line
post
with
from the
my
Detroit
ideology.
News covering him. Here you go. Perfect. This one's got it.
Which ideology?
Oh my
Because
God.
you know we don't know.
From what he's claiming, I can only take his word for it. But his word isn't worth much. I agree. I don't know.
Okay.
But also, fucking Collins sucks too.
Why is the Detroit News doing an article on?
Yeah, I'm
Greg
trying
Tanner?
to. I tried to get into a Jewish Insider friend, Gibbs. I did like it's just like it won't verify me. It's like
They have him
verify and, like
blocked.
be doing
They
it.
got
That's
you on
why
the
they
list.
got
It's
me blocked.
Machad, bro.
Jewish Insider's got
Well,
me
don't
blocked.
worry. The
I
Detroit
tried the other
News,
link, though.
the
I didn't
Detroit
even-
News has got you, baby.
I'm
That's why you can't
disappointed you
find it.
even sent
I'll
me
try
that
Detroit
link.
News. I'm sorry.
I'm disappointed
Go
you
ahead.
even sent me that link, Gibbs. I'm not gonna click that. Have Mossad infest my computer right now.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
now
gonna
you got the Detroit
search.
News.
I'm gonna search for the word Holocaust. Am I gonna find something?
No, you have to search anti-Semitic.
Well, I agree. He's
I
probably.
didn't
made some
search. I didn't
anti-Semitic
search
comments.
I mean, I did anti-Semitic and said.
The
okay,
question
this
was,
is why.
did he deny the Holocaust?
Yeah, he shared fucking far right people that would deny
Did
the
Trump
Holocaust.
even? Or sorry, did Gibbs even say that? I don't remember Gibbs. Let's
Okay.
move
He
on
said
to
he
something
And
else.
why
retweeted-
doesn't
he said he
concede that?
retweeted
Why
a
didn't he
far
say,
right
"Oh,
guy
he
who was
doesn't say
denying
that"?
the Holocaust.
Yeah,
That's
if
what
you're
he-
if you're saying like anti like
Let's move on to something
if
else.
you're saying I think it's pretty clear. If you have a Nazi tattoo and you're pro Hamas killing the Jews, and then you're over here sharing posts by hold on in context maybe that's fine, but when you're pro that and then you're also posting statuses where a guy outright denies the Holocaust, yeah, you're probably a Nazi. I like, and you had the tattoo for 20 years. You probably found out if you didn't know right off the bat, and then you go, hey, what? This tattoo aligns with what I believe. So like crazy. You know, it's not like the
Okay,
guy's covered in other tattoos.
Personally, I think that the anti-Semitic left is not pro the SS. I think that that's a pretty fair brush to.
Yeah, they just want to use the like national government to enforce their rights and enforce everything they want on top of people that don't want it, and then by
Where'd
gunpoint.
Prime
My
go?
prime.
And the Mossad really did get him.
He got sick of us.
Hunter, I gotta
True.
ask you. I gotta
Yeah.
ask you something. The vote blue no matter who crowd.
Yeah.
This is it's something that's annoying me.
Go
Something
ahead.
That's annoying me.
Mhm.
Something that's annoying me. When the Democrats win this round of elections and potentially the presidency,
Win the Senate.
the Senate,
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, I'm the crazy
the
one.
Senate
Remember, he
and
said
the
vote for
president-
the
wondering,
Nazi
is
guy.
that-
I
is
have the
that the
crazy. You're
No,
not
no,
the
the
crazy.
Senate,
guy.
entertaining.
the Senate
Well,
and the
it's
presidency.
kind of close. We're
What
winning
I'm
the
telling
House
you,
for
Kind
sure.
of.
this blue wave that you guys see coming, that I think is predictably true. Right, I see
Okay.
it too.
For the House, yeah. 100%.
I have an
Maybe.
I have an
It's
issue with
changing.
the way it's being portrayed
Oh, yeah, maybe.
because
Okay.
I don't think it's because Democrats have like a strong like base. I think it's all anti-MAGA, anti-Republican. You have an anti-party right now.
Uh-huh.
So my issue is that you guys are voting whoever the fuck in because vote blue no matter who, right? At least the liberal
Okay.
crowd, right? So you vote, but then
I would say
there's
vote blue no matter
there's-
who. That's something
Yeah,
I'll say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll-
But then you're voting in whoever. You're voting in people you probably disagree with, right? Which I think is going to turn off all the anti MAGA voters because they're not going to get the things that they want, right? They're going to see the Democrats get in, and we're not
on, what-
necessarily.
What Democrat are we voting in that isn't anti-MAGA?
No. Not you're not voting in a Democrat that isn't anti MAGA. I'm saying the anti MAGA voters are going to
Okay.
be are the ones that are voting in the are vote blue no matter who right now. I don't think
Right.
people are amped to vote in Democrats. I think they're amped to vote anti-Republican right now.
Right. I agree.
Fair.
Yes, of course.
So then right now when the Democrats get in, it's all going to
Uh-huh.
be working against whatever MAGA or whatever did. So I feel like Democrats aren't going to really get many things done.
Wait, why are you
Which-
saying that? If we have a supermajority, we have the Senate, we have the House and the presidency. We have a supermajority in them, and we
Mhm.
won't get shit done. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think you
fundamentally disagree with that. We had a supermajority.
So-
The only way, hold on. The only time that the Democrats have ever had a supermajority in all three, I forget what it's called, the triumvirate or something.
Mhm.
I forget what it's called. Was 88 days. And you know what we did in those 88 days?
Mm-mm.
We passed Obamacare. That's
Mhm.
that's what we did. Is we established a universal health care for or maybe
Well,
not
if you want to go
universal
back
healthcare.
further, you guys had it on for longer than that.
Yeah,
With
back in
NPR.
Clinton,
Yeah.
sure, but over the last
So
20 years.
that's kind of the point I'm going to make, Lactoid, is that this is a little bit of an issue that I see
Yeah.
with the Democrats is
Okay.
and once again, MAGA voted in Trump for the things that they wanted. Now they get everything they wanted in the way that they wanted it? No. But like guy came in and said, I'm gonna do this for you, and he kind of did some shit for them, and then he kind of backed off on some
Some
shit
of
and
it.
so on and so forth.
Uh-huh.
Democrats don't do that. Democrats come in and they are pragmatic, right? It's performative. They're coming in. They're like, oh no, we have to.
I mean, I
work
disagree
within,
with your framing for sure.
we have to work within the system. Well, I mean, everyone looks
Here's
at
the-
the
here's-
Democrats
wait,
as
can
like
I-
feeble, right?
can
That's
I
kind of
pause-
the issue.
can I pause here?
Go ahead.
I do think the big frustration that I have with conversations like this is it
Yes.
feels like we reify this idea of something like the Democratic Party. We treat something as an abstract label and we treat it as something like concrete. Like Laxwood was like, okay, well, what about back in Clinton? That personally wasn't the Democratic Party. That had the label Democratic Party. We are a fundamentally different party than what existed in
Sure.
the 90s. Clinton is fucking different. When you talk about like the feebleness, you're referring
Yeah.
really to Biden. And largely speaking, most of the Democrats in power right
No,
now
that is not
disagree
what
with
they're
that
doing.
feebleness.
No, I'm
Nobody's
not referring.
Who
I'm
are you
not referring
referring
to
to?
Biden's an
well,
example of it.
So as a Democrat voter, right, of the past, and someone who is who like is I only got into politics through you guys through the panel thing. I wasn't really a big fan. I see no one. The only person I see that anyone's talking about is Gavin Newsom. And as far as I've seen of Gavin Newsom, there's really nothing that I'm like, ooh, this guy is gonna be doing anything revolutionary or like, when I say revolution, I don't mean a revolution. I mean like he's not gonna do it. I think he's just gonna be a
He's gonna revolutionize
No,
Fine.
no. Wait, hold on.
He's gonna be a run-of-the-mill guy.
Are you telling me?
What?
Because here's the confusion. We don't even need to.
We don't
do
need
this.
water.
We can just look at. Hold on. Shut the fuck up, Gibbs.
Go ahead, Hunter.
We
Yeah.
could just look at.
Revolutionizing firefighting by letting it all burn down.
We could just look at triumvirate, hard blue states and see what they've accomplished. Largely speaking, they have the most pro-trans legislation in the entire world. Largely speaking, they have the most pro-choice legislation in the entire world.
Because trans people don't
Speaking,
feel feeble.
They have the
Unlimited
most-
abortions all the way up until birth.
Yeah, but
Like,
hold on.
genuinely,
Hold
and
on,
I'm
Hunter.
against that.
Hold on, Hunter. Like, just objectively, do you
Wait.
think that, hold on. Like, do you think that makes you less feeble? Like, no offense to my
No, Gibbs, I was
trans-
doing something.
Yeah.
I'm doing this whole thing. So like,
Sure, go ahead,
so
you got
like
it.
the
Yeah,
states
Gibbs,
have
come on,
it.
you
The,
stay-
the,
butt out,
the
all right?
states
I got it,
have
I
it, right? No. The states have it, but
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, it's a lot more things go into like the following election, right? This election matters right now. But you have to think about the next ones that come up. And so like unfortunately for me, who is the vibes voter, who is the what's I think the majority of people, all we're thinking is, well, yeah, the Democrats are going to come in because Trump was like fucking rough and people want the change.
Yeah.
Then right when the Democrats come in, nothing much is going to be
You keep
accomplished.
saying
Versus when
that, but,
Trump
like,
because
have
this is
no-
how it feels. And I'm trying to tell you that you guys are not demonstrating a difference.
And
'Cause Trump
here's my
comes in
issue:
and
we
Roe
don't
v.
have the
Wade
ability
goes away.
to because we don't have
And
the
this-
numbers.
yeah.
We've never had the numbers.
well, this
it's
is-
always a fucking.
You don't
it's,
have the aura, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's what
and
I'm
you
saying.
don't
That's what I was
have
commenting on right there. Like,
Pathetic.
hold on, but
aura in
Hunter.
the Democratic
So all
fucking
these-
party.
Oralist.
All the aura right now
Oralist.
is anti
Soy jacks.
You
No,
have
no,
you have an anti-party, and the issue is there's no one to get behind. There isn't
It's
anyone.
so
Well, and look at the issue with all-
No,
and then you guys.
I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk.
No, but
We
hold
are
on,
driving
hold
the
on,
conversation.
Hunter,
Sorry,
Hunter,
here's the
so what
issue I
you
have
say-
with this,
and
Ali.
then
Here's the issue I have with this,
you
Ali.
guys spend all your
You-
time. You guys spend all your time shitting on leftists, which I understand why you do
You're
to an
so-
extent.
this
How
is so
fucking
pathetic.
ever?
No, but
How fucking ever? Just like for MAGA, just like for Trump, at least for the leftists, right? They want to vote people in that they believe will kind of walk in, kick the fucking doors down, and
Here's-
get shit
But no,
done.
but
why-
Hunter,
Which
before you
is
go,
the
but Hunter,
problem
real
with the
quick.
This is
Democratic
a
Party. There's no one that
conversation
kicks the
with
door
me.
down.
But I want you
Hold
should
on.
understand
Shut the
something.
fuck up. It's my turn.
I want to ask you a
It's my
question,
turn.
Hunter. With
Here's
what
my
they say.
issue. Gibbs, shut the fuck up.
No, I'm talking now. You're gonna respond in a second, man. Just 10 seconds. You just mentioned all these policies, by the way, right? And you're like, you were proud of those. You're like, this makes us look less feeble. And like, Ali is trying to communicate something to you. The things that you're proud of make you look like a bunch of bitches. Like that's not the things you are accomplishing makes you look
not so much.
But it doesn't make you look strong. Like wow,
Yeah,
like wow, we want to put men in women's sports. That's not like well, yeah, we're really like no. I mean,
Gibbs, you're fully arguing as a conservative.
no,
and this
I'm just saying like
conversation's
no
not
as a
about
vibes thing. No, I'm just saying like do you think that to an average
you. The vibe
person,
isn't for you. You
Well,
are
no, so-
fundamentally
but
opposed
he's-
to what we stand for.
I should understand that, but even for the things that the Dems, the party is pushing, that's not what the average Dem wants. Like they're like, going here going, oh, buddy. Yeah,
Hold on.
Ollie's
Shut the
telling
fuck
you-
up. I'm going
Ollie's
to talk to
telling you
Ollie.
this, and you're like going, oh,
Shut the fuck
you're
up,
telling
Gibbs.
him he's
You
pathetic
don't know this
for what he's
conversation.
saying.
You are ideologically opposed to everything
You're
I
just not-
believe
you're
in.
just
Of
doing-
course, I'm going to sound like a
But
pussy
you
to you.
refuse to listen to what Ollie's telling you, and then you just turn around and say some shit that you're proud of, and he's like, I'm like going, bro, that's not selling it for these
Bro,
people.
don't you just fucking let's murder people at the fucking border. Let's shoot them down. Alligator
Pretty
Alcatraz. That's
manly.
how we show fucking.
That's manly shit.
Bro,
right
that's
there.
how we show aura. Exactly.
It is aura.
You're okay.
Sharks and
Ollie,
laser beams, baby.
Here's why.
Yo.
Here's why I can't stand. Here's why I really can't stand. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna be a little aggressive. People like
Do you think?
I'm gonna
man?
be
Do you
honest.
think?
Here's the thing. I can't fucking stand people like you because
Yeah, I'm down.
you are the
We're
entire
right. We're
country
correct.
is full of people with you.
We're
Okay.
correct.
You-
Yes,
there is-
people like me
there's-
are right.
Fuck, sorry, my camera's off. I don't know what the hell's
Yeah,
going on.
It's
here.
fine.
got
We
him,
can
Ollie.
hear you.
Right when you were getting on a roll,
I'm
too.
still talking. Here's the issue.
Yeah,
Here's
we
the
can
issue
hear
that
you.
I have. Here's the issue that I have. Like 40% of Democrats are people like you who are like, man, we have to like stop being the anti-Trump party. We got to be the pro something. Why are the
Mhm.
Democrats so feckless? You say this over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know who disagrees with you? You know who is listening to you? The Democrats. And you still don't fucking care. How many interviews, how many times have they talked about, man, we got to start pushing for these policies. Here's the things that we care about. Here's the shit that we need to talk about. We can't keep talking about Trump. We can't leverage Trump. We can't make the politics about Trump. In 2 years, he's going to be gone from politics. We can't focus on this. And they
Yeah.
talk about this ad infinitum because you keep saying, no, we're going to change our mind as long as the Democrats change. They change and you still don't care.
So as far as I know, what's like Newsom, right? Newsom's the guy for president that everyone
Yep.
wants, right?
He's the
That's-
governor of
that's-
California.
Governor of
I
California.
think he's
So
leading
like,
right now.
when he becomes president, right? When he
Yeah.
becomes the Democratic president,
Mhm.
the fucking the leader of the free world is what they call this position, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. What are we gonna get? What do we get out of it?
Universal
Out-
health care
outside-
immediately.
We're gonna immediately get universal
Hold
health.
on. If we have,
Whoa.
Within
hold
4
on.
years?
If we have a super majority in the House, Senate,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
presidency,
No.
absolutely fucking I will
So,
bet
yeah,
money
yeah.
on that.
So
Absolutely.
see, Lactoid, right now, you're giving
What,
him
you think
aura,
we can't-
right?
You maybe not
You're giving
Medicare for all, but certainly a public option. You think we could do a public option
Oh,
immediately?
you just went. You already just dropped a notch.
You're already
already
backing
I
dropped
up.
did. I said
You're
universal
already-
health care.
And then
You're
dropped a
backing
notch.
it up.
I mean,
Here's
maybe
your,
a public
shit. You don't
option.
even know what universal health care is. I say, oh, this specific type, and you go, see, already you're backing up. You don't even fucking believe it, shit.
There is
I-
a public option already. It's called Medicaid.
Also, I'm just
That's
for
the
chat.
Am I wrong?
Just for chat,
Yes.
I posted the.
You're
Why am
Detroit
I
News
wrong?
source.
Because
Is
it's
that not
not
public?
public. It's for
There you
poor
go.
people.
I thought we
Are
had
poor people
Obamacare.
not a part of the public?
No, but I'm part of the public, and I don't have access to it.
Yeah, because so you just said it's going to be a public option as opposed to universal, right?
No, not opposed to. Universal public option is a type of universal
You think that there's going to be a public option if the Democrats win the House, Senate, and the presidency?
presidency
You think-
in 2028. Absolutely.
There's
100%.
no
What
way.
else? Okay, what
There's
else?
no
I want
way.
to know what
Why do
else
you
we're
wait? Hold
getting.
on.
I want to know what
why
else
would that
we're
not
getting.
happen? Lactoid, why would that not happen?
Because among Democrats, that's a fucking like marquee issue. You think
What
we're
the
going to get
giving
enough
fuck are you
Democrats?
loans?
talking about?
You think you're going to hold on? You think that Democrats are universally in favor of a public option?
Name one. Name one.
Fetterman, get fucked.
You're such a bitch. You're such a bitch.
Am I wrong?
Richard. Oh,
You said
Richard.
name one.
Oh,
You said name
cinema.
one.
Oh, fuck.
Name two. Name
God.
two, Lactoid.
Name
no,
two.
but okay. What else are we getting,
Such
Hunter?
a bitch.
Hold on. Do you think it's Gavin Newsom? Maybe you can educate me here. Do you think Gavin Newsom actually supports a public option for the whole country? You think so?
Yes. Unquestionably. Let's look it up right now.
I'm looking at it right now.
I mean,
I'll
that's,
eat crow if
definitely,
that's
that's
wrong.
definitely the guy you should let run it. I
Holy
mean, we can
What
see
the
how
fuck
well
are you
we can see
talking
how
about?
well projects are run in
No, wait, hold
California.
on. Were we alive in 2020? In 2020 during the fuck, what was it called? Not the generals, the primaries for president. Because do you know who got shit on so fucking hard? Joe Biden. Do you know why Joe Biden got shit on so hard by the entire party?
It's all
It's
Olympics.
because he was such a bitch. He didn't support Medicare for all. He supported a public option,
Mm.
and they all
And then
went.
he won.
You fucking loser.
And then he won.
And we didn't have the house.
Can I read this? Hold on. Can I read this AI
I'm
summary
gonna
for you real quick?
fucking lose it. We don't
No,
have the
no,
house.
we need the
never had
source.
the house.
Hold on. No. Let me read this. This is
Oh,
an
well,
AI
we have
summary.
a president, so we
The
can
AI
say
summary.
we do whatever we
Hold
want.
up.
I mean,
As of May
Republicans
20
get a triumvirate, and then we're like,
Are you ready? Hold on. As of May
I'm
2026,
losing my
Governor Gavin
shit.
Newsom's healthcare policy focuses on universal access through incremental expansions of Medi-Cal rather than a single-payer system, covering 94% of California residents.
Okay,
But
you
Key
are being
incentives include
retarded right
expand.
now. That's what I just described. That's a
Key-
public option.
Hold on,
I mean, that's not a
Medi-Cal
public.
is there.
That's not a public option.
Yes,
No,
it is.
universal-
What are
It's
we
income.
talking about?
It's income tested.
See how dishonest the Dims are? See this?
It's not a public
This is what I'm
option.
talking
You
about.
said it was gradually.
Ali is right.
decided-
He can't even
decided
admit
on
Ali
single
was right.
payer, right? Like
Crazy.
there's an article on it right here, right? Like
Let's
Gavin
show-
Newsom
show
wrote
me
single
this
payer
shit.
health
By the way, I
care.
need to see those sources, Lactoid. I need to see all the sources specifically for the bills that he's proposed.
See,
down
Hunter,
to the
no
letter.
aura is
Yeah,
kind
because
of the
y'all
point.
would ask
I
me the sources.
hate
It is Google
everyone
that is
here.
fine.
I hate everyone. I hate Ali for being a little bitch and for Democrats listening to people like Ali.
I'm a little
No,
bit, but I'm
they
a
would
little bit
change their
too
He
mind.
right.
walked
I hate-
back
I'm a
from
little
universal.
bit too
He
right,
walked
and
back
that's what
from
matters.
single
Where
payer.
are
Well,
the
that
sources,
means that I'm
Lactoid?
correct.
Where are the sources for
Hold
the
on.
Googling I
Is this
said?
him as a? Is this him as a president, or is this him specifically as a governor?
As
Has he?
governor.
Over this
As a
seat.
governor, has he
hasn't
released
been
his presidential
president.
platform yet?
Wait, hold
Yeah,
on.
he hasn't been-
Hold on. Doing so within a state is very
Oh.
difficult to maximize the amount of risk, and largely speaking, it is
In a
more
blue
effective
state?
nationally.
And a blue state.
He couldn't even get it done in
You
You guys don't know how
California.
healthcare works. You guys don't know
just
how
said, like,
fucking healthcare works, and it
he
pisses
just
me
has to
off.
have
I will bet $1 million.
triumvirate, right? He has to
I will
have
bet
both
$1 million
houses. He has
if
that.
Newsom wins the presidency, we have the House, we have the Senate, we have the
Definitely.
supermajority to
Newsom
do it.
was,
We
who
will have.
backed away from,
we will
from
have-
progressive stances before. Newsom who talks about
No,
how
you know what?
Republicans
You know what I'm
have a
saying?
good
We would have
point.
Medicare for all.
Newsom
We
was
would
like
have that.
my son's favorite podcaster.
You guys are such bitches.
Right? Like,
you have no idea how
Newsom-
healthcare
Okay, so
works.
Hunter,
You have
what
no
else would
idea.
we
There's
have?
no fucking
What else would we
Newsom
have?
Who doesn't have who believes in nothing? Who,
He promised to do it in California and then walked it back. Just to be clear.
I just want to know what else we would have. Like, show me give me the aura. What
Um,
else would we have?
So okay, here's the thing. If you're looking for aura, here's
I mean-
the issue. Here's the issue. We are
Yeah.
right. And so we don't just get to make shit up and
No,
have
yeah,
that
I
Hey,
like give
they're right. They're
I mean-
right. Hold
I
on.
mean-
Hold on.
I
You know
mean-
what's
I mean,
funny?
shut the
Once
fuck
you
up.
said,
You said
once
Medicare for
again,
all.
hold on. Once
I'm
again,
answering the question.
I'm curious.
what else
to
do we
be-
get?
Hold on.
I
Hold
would
on.
say-
Once
I would
again,
say- I would
I
say
said
how about
I
this?
make shit up, and I provide. Hold on. Once again, I just want to point out the double standard
Get
here again.
shut the
No,
fuck
I'm not
up.
shutting you
That's
up.
a
You
plethora of
invoke
links.
my name again. I'm gonna just bring up a point. This is what's funny. Oh, you're the one who's right, morally right. You're right or whatever. And then yet I say, hey, y'all are Nazis, and y'all gonna give source, prove it, and y'all literally run a candidate who I can provide now. I provided sources. The AI does, who's got a Nazi fucking tattoo.
No one
says-
said he didn't
hold
have
on,
a
hold on,
Nazi
shh.
tattoo.
Now you be quiet now. I've been waiting. You've been saying, y'all say these things.
I'm not gonna nod
hold
and listen to you.
hold on. And I've said for months, years, they're actually Nazi socialists in disguise. Then you'll run a candidate. He's leading by 30 points, who has Nazi imagery and has a checkered history.
Okay.
With I'm not done. Social
We're not
media.
even talking-
I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. Thank you. And so when he posts these things, and I say that,
Such a
and I
bitch.
hold on, no, and I say this.
white
out-
man's talking. Listen and
you're
learn.
a real
I
listener.
apologize.
It's a Mexican man, first of all. Secondly, I'm going to say this because I say this, and y'all go get source. And so I go, AI said this, and you'll go source from there. So I go find the sources, and I post it, and then I'm told Gibbs is crazy, Gibbs is wrong, and this happens over and over and over again. And
you're wrong all the time.
no, and I keep every time I end up provide. You say that, and yet every time I actually provide the sources, and I end up being right. Brian got mad at me one time.
You
and I-
haven't.
stop
I still haven't
talking.
had to find the
I'm not
sources
done.
that he denied the
Hold on.
Holocaust happened.
I literally posted it in there and I posted it in chat. Thank you. And
You hear that? When he's saying that he
Hold
denied
on.
the Holocaust, not that he made anti-Semitic
Oh,
responses.
hold on.
not that he's a Nazi,
Even
but
more,
he
even
didn't
more,
fight the Holocaust.
even more so. Bro, if you make anti-Semitic posts like, yay, kill the Jews, and then, hey, share a fucking post about a guy saying, hey, this guy's got some good takes. What about a guy that says, deny the Holocaust? That's deny the Holocaust,
More
man.
reviews and
Hold on.
plus 30 is crazy.
And you have a Nazi tattoo for 20 years. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Hold on. You say you're right. Hold on. I'm not done. I want to make my point. I'm trying, but I keep getting off. Here's the thing. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Is you keep saying I'm a bitch because you're mad
I
because
do.
I'm actually saying
I am
factual.
mad.
I'm saying
I fucking
factual.
hate- I hate
factual.
people like you.
I'm saying factual statements
hate
backed
my
up by
country.
things. You're
Because I
mad. No,
really
you hate the
manipulated by
country.
people
Although
like you.
I'm going to finish my point. You're mad because I say things that are factual, and it's not the uniform talking points of the uniparty that you prescribe to. And so when I actually go read things and see
Whoa,
news and post
you're
it, as opposed to eat the dick of my betters and sit and promise to say their talking points like you do, I'm sorry, it might sound shocking and crazy to you, but unlike you, I actually do the research, and then when I post this shit, I know how to find the source. Although, unlike you, I've never once seen you post a source in your period. So get fucked and get wrecked. That's called debate. You lost. It's sad times. That's
Okay.
Get
That's
good
not
score.
debate. He defined it and he declared it. All right.
I'm gonna ignore all that because you're a little bitch. I'm gonna talk to Ali instead. Ali, what were you saying? What else are we gonna get? Okay, how about this?
No, hold on. Before we move off to healthcare for a second, I'm
Yeah.
going to challenge you on this.
Me?
Yeah, I'm going to challenge you on this.
Do it.
You said Gavin Newsom would 100% President Gavin Newsom would do it.
I would bet as
Here's
much
the
money
problem.
as I have.
Sure, sure. Here's my problem.
Child.
Yes.
I got a
Why?
stack on it.
Okay. Why? So just a little bit of history here
Yes.
that I've been reading on after we brought up Gavin Newsom, right after
Yes.
I owned you with John Fetterman. Gavin Newsom.
All right. Fetterman probably. Yeah. Fetterman's a good example. He's the one you found. The one.
No, Gavin
And I
Newsom.
asked for one.
When he
to be
ran,
fair.
you did. When Gavin Newsom ran, he said that he was going to get universal health care in California.
Mhm.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
And then he became governor
Mhm.
this last time around.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that because
Correct.
he cited that it'd be too expensive, that it would
Mhm.
cost too much money.
Because you
Now, let
can't
me ask
minimize
you-
risk nationally.
You're saying, you're using that word, minimize risk nationally.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit confused as to what that means.
Mhm.
What do you mean by that? And why would that stop California, which is overwhelmingly wealthier, overwhelmingly healthier, and
Mm.
overwhelmingly more liberal? Why is this risk pool all of a sudden harder to insure than an entire country, which includes much poorer areas and much more politically difficult areas to get support from, and areas that are more unhealthy? Explain that.
You know what? That's a great question.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. So then so
You know,
then,
I
yeah,
think
so-
you're right. I think you're right that the risk pool would be it would be better in California than nationally. I think that's
So
true.
no, so no
Because-
universal health care. So what are we getting? What else are we getting with? So Lacto just shut you down on that one. What else am I getting? Why? Okay, this is my point. This is my.
I would
point.
have
This is
to
my
wait.
point.
Hold on. I would have to
This is
look
my
into.
point. No.
I also,
This
wait, hold
is
on. Hold on.
this
hold
is
on,
really
hold
my
on.
point.
Just,
This
can
is
I
let me-
clarify?
no.
I conceded. Let me
Let him
add a
clarify.
caveat.
Let him clarify.
Let me
Go
add
ahead.
a caveat.
That's fair.
First
Yeah.
off, I genuinely don't know about Gavin Newsom's policy proposals specifically and what he has done with California, and I would like to look into that. Okay, I will concede I did get bitched. Okay, and I will own it like a man.
My- oh, oh,
But I want to
Mhm.
clarify.
yes.
I also do not think that Gavin Newsom is the ideal candidate or even close to that ideal candidate.
Which is the bigger
So
issue.
that's also
which is
so
the
that's
biggest
also
issue.
part of it. Yeah.
No, that's the biggest issue. Is that unfortunately
What?
the only thing that the Democrats have going for them and liberals have going for them is
Mhm.
an anti-Trump thing. No one is your ideal. No one is your ideal candidate.
that's pretty simple.
However, all you guys
No, I have
do-
ideal
Stone trap
candidates.
after the-
yeah, but
after
none
the
of them
trap.
that are viable
Yes,
But-
100%.
Or we
I
could
mean,
stab
like
in the
who?
opener. I don't really like
For
stabbing
Buttigieg
in
and
the opener,
AOC.
for president.
but it's fine.
Yes.
Who? I'm not gonna. I don't know who Buttigieg
You
is.
mean the knock on the
AOC,
cloud?
sure, but I don't think AOC is
What?
winning presidency.
No.
Okay, I think she's
Did
extremely
I
popular
did
in
I
the
do that to
Democratic
you?
Party right now.
I
I think
vote
that
dibs?
she is pretty
Oh,
viable. She's polling, I think, 4th or 5th, but like
Dun, 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 dun,
4th or
dun,
5th
dun,
sometimes
dun,
wins.
dun, 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 dun.
she's definitely got a
Maybe.
chance. She's definitely got a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. AOC has a chance. Yeah.
Has a
Holy
chance,
shit,
okay.
alright, here we go. This is a tutorial
My
on
issue with
what
AOC
not to
is that
do.
a lot of the liberals are gonna. She's too left for a lot of liberals,
Stopping.
right?
Okay, yeah.
And then you
we
guys
can
all
stop.
attack the people
barrier.
who want the most change
Trick to get the trap off.
because you need the most
After this should be
milk toast
blind,
person
it
to
breaks
win
to
because
the black
the
arrow, I
party
guess.
right now isn't
So I
there,
break the
there
stun
isn't
on the
enough
black arrow. We get the NS
like
clone,
coalition
that's it.
amongst the whole party to actually want one thing. So the only thing that everyone can agree on is
let's see what we do
anti-Trump,
after this.
which is why you're getting
Please
vote
don't
blue
stun
no
me
matter
right now.
who.
Okay, I
Which is
keep
why you're probably
saying
going to end up.
So
Which
there's
is
no
probably
yards,
which
we
is why
can't
you're
do
probably going to
anything
end up with a
about
Gavin Newsom, which then is going to turn off all. Which is what I was saying earlier is that you're just going to get some run of the mill guy, which is going to
Run of
turn
the
off
mill
all,
guy.
which is going
Uh-huh.
to turn off all the anti-Trump voters because
Uh-huh.
or they're already disillusioned now, but they just want to
Uh-huh.
get Trump and Republicans
Here's
out of office.
I heard you the first time.
Yeah, and
here's my issue.
Then
The
you tried to tell
Democrats
me
have
that we're going to get
responded
universal
to you.
health care with
They've
Gavin
listened
Newsom
to
day
you,
one.
and you
So like,
still don't care. How many?
no one. Oh my god. Oh my God! You just said they listened to me and no one cares, right? Me
Mhm.
personally, I'm a one voter guy. For me, it was Israel Palestine. So
Uh-huh.
I'm not. No one was gonna listen. No one's gonna listen to me on that one. So I moved
actually, I think
on.
the Democrats did a fucking way better job than the Republicans did.
No, they didn't at all.
In
Not at
terms
all.
of Gaza,
They literally brought
Ceasefire happened under Trump.
Bro. I'm from Dearborn, my guy. Like you guys brought Bill Clinton to come talk about Judea and Samaria to fucking Dearborn and Detroit, plugging your ears to Palestine. The DNC was plugging their ears to the. Listen, I don't want. I'm not gonna
Before we go on,
redo
sorry guys,
Yeah.
we at the end. Let's just end this
Sure.
here.
No, let's
I would
start
rather
the
not.
Israel-Palestine right now. I think
Yeah,
that's
we can end
the
it.
time.
Let's
I know what's
y'all
going on
get
my
an
camera. I'm
outro.
sorry.
You'll get an outro. And you can say whatever you like to say. All right. We know what Gibbs will be saying. The correct opinion is what Gibbs will be saying.
The correct centrist opinion.
But
That's right.
okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming here. Honestly, this was a lot of fun. We kind of meandered, but that's okay, right? Sometimes the topic keeps us the entire time, other times it doesn't. But I appreciate you guys coming through. And then, no matter what, we have a good conversation because we got a good group of individuals here. And you guys are reliably entertaining and engaging. So I'm very grateful to you, all of you, every single one of you guys. And yeah, so give you guys an outro. Before I do that, I wish I had this prepared previously. Fuck. I was saying I'm gonna put the link in the chat at some point. I'm working on that. So you guys go to check your status, right? Your registration status. It is hold on a second. Hold on. Yes. Hold on. One second. Okay. I got the link. We're gonna copy this link. Copy link. Oh my god. And then we're gonna go back here, right? And Prime's just gonna spam it in here. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. So there's the link. Yeah. Everyone, take a look at that. And yeah, make sure that you are signed up to vote, right?
No matter where you are in the world, no matter
where you, of course, no matter where you are in the world, make sure you're and to vote how many times you've won, right? Especially if you're a Democrat, right? Like like sending the secret message, right? But yeah, consider doing that, guys. Like no matter who you're gonna vote for, consider being so kind as to make sure that you're able to participate. Like we want everyone to participate. We want our Republican friends, we want our Democratic friends, we want everyone to be able to participate. So go and head out. Let's go to our friend Lactoid. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm Lactoid. You can find me at Lactoid TV on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Tomorrow, there's going to be a debate on Wick's channel between me and Hunter. We're going to debate why Hunter thinks Elliot Page is a woman.
True. We're not doing that, but we might.
That's it. That's all I have.
We will be on Wick.
Okay.
We will be on Wick's panel tomorrow. That's not the question. Yeah, the question is, what is a woman? We're gonna.
That was answered by Matt Walsh pretty clearly.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I'm ready to use my degree in philosophy of language to use.
No, thank you. But have fun with that one. But let's go to our friend Hunter. We wish you luck in that Lions Den.
For sure. I'm glad to come in to go into that Lions Den. I do want to say that looking into Gavin Newsom's policies when it comes to universal healthcare, it does look like he had a public option while he was mayor for San Francisco called Healthy San Francisco and extended care to all individuals, it seems, in 2006. So I do think, whatever, I'm gonna have to look into this more. But I will say, vote blue no matter who. Democrats are better than Republicans unless they are insane. I don't really mean no matter who, but what I'm saying is if you're a bad person, you'd probably just run as red. That's really what I'm saying. They are largely one of the reasons I like Gavin Newsom so much is because I think he hates Republicans just as much as I do. And I really appreciate that aggression and tenacity. And there's something about that really just gives me a kick, even though he's not my ideal candidate.
He's a friends across the aisle type of guy.
You're an idiot.
He's 100%.
You
that's
guys
100%.
don't genuinely
He's been going
don't listen to
He's been
Democratic
going
candidates.
on Republican podcasts, right? Like,
Oh,
trying to
he
get
had an interview with Charlie Kirk. Therefore,
It wasn't just Charlie Kirk.
Ben Shapiro.
He's been trying to
I
reach out to
know.
conservatives this entire time. The
Okay.
Republican. Okay, whatever. It's fine. It's okay.
He's a hand
I
washer,
don't-
man.
Yeah. I don't think.
You guys
He's a fucking
genuinely
liberal.
don't pay attention to politics. You have this like
Bull-
you have this
don't-
side
don't-
eye
don't
that's
say that
No,
to me.
Prime
Don't
does.
fucking say
I
that to
don't.
me. Don't
I
fucking say that
don't.
to me. I pay attention to politics. And fuck
Okay.
that. Gavin Newsom
Okay.
is a spineless worm who will betray every single a progressive principle that he'll pretend that he
Okay.
has
Me and
during the
Li-
campaign, right? As soon as he gets into office.
Let me plug for
Absolutely
your better
is that
half,
type of fucker.
Prime. I'm gonna plug for your better half, which is Wick, and say come to his show tomorrow.
That's racist.
Let's.
I'm sorry. I feel like that. I feel like that ticked you off. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's okay.
We
No,
are.
that's
We
fine.
will. Well, me and Lexwood are having a debate, so I think it's fair for me to promote that. Follow me at Hunter E. Kozak, basically everywhere. It's been a joy to have you here. It's been a joy for you to have me here. Thank you, Prime.
Mm.
Also, if you want to say, what are the sides of the
linguist.
debate?
Uh,
What are the?
That's what. Sorry.
It's
was-
probably
yeah,
what
yeah.
you think.
Okay. Okay,
We're gonna
continue.
get there. Yeah, let's go to our friend Ali. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming through. Much appreciated, friend.
Yeah. So I am someone who actually doesn't know much about politics. But to that point, I think most people, especially people who vote, are people like me who don't know much
agree.
about politics. So if I'm the person you're trying to convince to vote for you, I think, you would listen to me when I tell you, hey, this is what I need to vote for you. But, to the Prime's point, it's the liberals don't like to fucking listen. I tried to have the same conversation with Pisco and he just started yelling at me. Well, you're a vibes voter. You don't even know what's going on. Yeah, you're right. But I'm the person who wins you or loses you an election. So I don't know, fucking eat my ass or don't. I don't know. It's your loss.
I don't.
At
I'm
the
not
end of
going to
the
eat
day.
your ass.
And it's your and you'll continue to lose for
Yeah,
it.
you're not winning the
And you'll
elections, I
continue to
promise.
lose for it. So, with that being said, free Palestine, free Lebanon. Prime, thanks for having me, boys. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. It was a coin toss, right? We didn't know which way it would go, but Hunter surprisingly chose not to eat Holly's ass.
I did consider it. I
Well,
thought about
which
it.
is it's crazy because it
I
continues.
mean, you're
A
gonna
bit of a
need
nail
to.
biter.
Yeah,
You're
it
gonna need
it
to.
continues as anti everything gives like because I'd say it's 2026. It's time to eat ass, boys. I'm just saying, but listen,
Yeah.
it also continues with
Yeah.
all of the other things. I'm anti-Nazi. I don't like white supremacy. Hunter, he loves candidates. He says vote blue no matter what, even if they're Nazis. It's crazy that Klan.
I mean,
was the
Hunter's
party-
name is Hunter. What are you hunting?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Probably, crazy. But the point is, like, the Dems, they're the party of the Klan. They're the party of the Nazis. They're now the party of the Nazis because socialists are Nazis. They just never changed. And it continues to this day. And I've always been saying this, guys. It's crazy how people go on the Republican side. Don't go to these spaces and talk to the lefties. I say no. We should. We need to come argue with them and let them speak. Because the best thing we can do for our party is let them say all the crazy shit Hunter says, and then try to
Hell
tell
yeah.
you that we're the people that aren't normal. Yeah. So also, guys, as for how I'm going to promote all the stuff I got coming out, I just posted a link right now in the chat. Y'all can just go follow it. There's a schedule there. It's called X. Go check it out sometime. All right, and thank you so much for having me. As always.
Gibbs, I do want to say, you did bitch me. You bitched me again, and that's twice today.
You're welcome.
I respect it.
Corey, thanks so much. Thanks for being here, friend. Give your outro.
Oxycodone, that's what it was.
I think it's
Thank
worn
you
off.
for having me and inviting me. Always a pleasure. Always entertaining conversations. And yeah, you can find me on Twitch, Corey Campbell 84, Twitter, X, YouTube, Instagram, Substack, TikTok. It's Corey Campbell. Gibbs, Ali, Hunter, Lactoid, always a pleasure. And I'm glad that your surgery seems to have turned out well.
Thank you.
And I hope you continue to fly high in OxyContin for however long it lasts. And the
I'm gonna go take a
description
second
lasts.
one. I don't think I can, but I might.
And-
anyway.
And love you, Prime, who I think is frozen.
Absolutely. Oh, it's fine.
Oh, you're frozen
I
again,
had to
sad.
switch to another tab, and it does that.
Sucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna read a woman. We haven't read a woman in a while, and been too nice to.
What is a
men.
woman?
I read it Lactoid last time.
True.
Been on a little
yeah,
gay
what is a
streak
woman?
lately.
What is a woman? Hey, we don't know. We'll have to go. You have to go to.
On that note, you should
Thanks,
rate
Ethan, here.
Lactoid.
I approve of Ethan.
But off you guys go. All right, they're gone.
All right.
All right, later,
Much
guys.
love.
Boys.
Appreciate
That'll be
everyone.
good.
Later, friendos.
You well?
Bye, Lactoid TV.
All right, boys. We're going to be doing some more stuff. Don't worry. We're going to be doing more. give me a brief moment. I think that we're gonna go join this other panel, guys. If you like the stuff here on the channel, we're doing a lot of this stuff. YouTube, check it out. We're doing the Admiral Gives, so we need follows on the YouTube. So go to YouTube, follow there. We're gonna be doing some street stuff. Let's get on over to this other one. Give me a brief moment. But I'm gonna put a listen into what's happening over here. While I
No doubt.
I think posted all over social media and laugh. I'm trying to understand
wait,
how
it's
you
a-
can
it's a
square
sparky
that. Because let's say it's a kid who steals a candy bar and you own a store, you should be able to do that.
Okay, yeah. Children are different. I will there is a article you can read by Ian Hersing. It's a rational theory of the rights of children, right? So I would treat children the same way that you would treat mentally deficient, right? Which is to say that they need a guardian appointed to them and that guardian takes responsibility for the things that the child does. So if you have like a child trying to steal something or something like that, also, obviously I'm being pithy when I respond, but there is another theory within libertarianism, which is essentially
actually-
like the gentleness principle,
Okay.
right? So
Actually,
like if
chat, I
I'm
know
on
what
my
we're gonna
front
do.
yard, right?
I
And
know
then
what
like
we're
a
gonna do. Hold on,
grandma with a walker falls onto my property, right? Do I have the right to just be like, and anyways, I started blasting? It's like, no, like that's crazy, right? But what you do though is, there is a certain reasonable position.
Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do, chat. We're gonna raid. We're gonna raid somebody, and I'll tell you why. Because what we're gonna do, I have some back end stuff I need to do. I want y'all to know we're having a big show on Thursday to go over all the announcements. It's gonna be that's coming up. I got big stuff. We're gonna raid. Let's raid somebody here. We'll go raid. Let's raid Ganja. But we will be. We'll be having good times here. But guys, all right, be back tomorrow during the day. I think 2 o'clock for Halo. Come check it out. We'll be there tomorrow. See you tomorrow.